waved his hand. Let's not talk too much, let's sign the contract first. Su Yuan has seen many couples quarreling, and he is too lazy to persuade them. He just lets them do their business and then quarrel later. The couple then stopped. Hubby, didn't you say? It's not okay here. Zhao Qingsu, who was standing next to him, saw that Su Yuan seemed to really want to buy this place and asked nervously. This farm stay is not cheap. It costs 35 million. Even if Su Yuan made 70 million by selling Bitcoin, he shouldn't spend it recklessly. Why don't we just buy it and make some modifications? Didn't you tell me before that you wanted to live in a bigger place? Although our large flat is close to 300 square meters, we can't let you use it as much as you want. Su Yuan explained, but this farmhouse has 10 acres of land. When the time comes, I will buy it from you and plant some trees. As for the rest, it's up to you to decide. You can do whatever you want with it, okay? Really? When Zhao Qingsu heard Su Yuan say this, her eyes suddenly lit up. In fact, she had fantasized about buying a large piece of land, building a wooden house on it, planting flowers and trees, raising dogs, cats, rabbits, etc. But it was just a thought. After all, the land and housing prices in Shanghai are too fantastic. She used to think that if she and Su Yuan worked hard on their own, it would be great if they could buy a 3-bedroom, 1-living-room commercial apartment with a 70-year property right in Shanghai. How could she dare to dream of owning a piece of land in Shanghai? After all, here, the cheapest suburban land costs several million per acre. But unexpectedly, her little wish was still remembered by Su Yuan. Real? Su Yuan tapped her little nose and said, just wait for the blueprints to be drawn for this place. After that, he discussed the specific details of buying the farmhouse with the male owner, and about half an hour later, the contract was signed. Ding! Congratulations to the host for donating 35 million to his wife Zhao Qinghua and getting a tenfold rebate of 350 million. It has been deposited into your account balance. Please check it. After the payment is successful, the system will sound a prompt in your ear. Another 350 million has arrived. If this trend continues, he will probably never have to worry about money for the rest of his life. Come up tilde. After resolving the contract issue, Su Yuan was about to leave, so he squatted in front of Zhao Qingsu and motioned for her to get on his back. There was someone next to them, and Zhao Qingsu felt particularly embarrassed. But seeing that Su Yuan had already squatted down, she could only quickly climb onto Su Yuan's back. Let's go tilde. Su Yuan smiled at the couple, carried Zhao Qingsu on his back and went out to the car. The couple sent Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu to the door, watched them get in the car and leave, and then returned to the cabin. Hee, look at what other people's husbands are like, and then look at you. Thinking of Su Yuan's meticulous care for Zhao Qingsu just now, the hostess couldn't help but sneer at her husband. The male owner was not to be outdone. Then why don't you look at the wife? Not only is she beautiful, she also has a good figure. Most importantly, she doesn't interfere with her husband's thoughts. She lets her husband do whatever he wants. When did you start controlling her like a tigress? If you are reliable, I would be willing to take care of you. Even with me taking care of you, you let yourself go like this. If I didn't take care of you, you would be dead now. Long hair but short knowledge. Your penis is so short. The two of them had a quarrel with each other, glaring at each other, and finally turned silent and entered into a long, cold war. The woman left the cabin angrily. When she thought of how Su Yuan had carried Zhao Qingsu on his back just now, her heart was filled with sadness and envy. If she doesn't just say she's looking for someone who's nice to her and can put aside his pride and carry her on his back when her legs are tired, she also wants to find someone who won't say she's too long-haired and too short-sighted every day, right? After thinking for 5 minutes, she made up her mind. Divorce. Chapter 37. Sure enough, men are all pigs. Here, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were already in the car discussing how to plan the land use and renovate the newly purchased farmhouse, without realizing that their unintentional actions had separated a couple. Honey, I'll go draw a blueprint of the land we just discussed, and then we can find someone to start the renovation tilde. Just now in the car, the two of them discussed how to renovate the farmhouse. In general, they reached an agreement to set aside 5 acres of land for Su Yuan to plant trees, and the rest of the land would be planned according to Zhao Qingsu's preferences. As a fashion designer, drawing would definitely not be a problem for Zhao Qingsu, so the drawing task was left to her. Honey, I'm going upstairs for a minute. Seeing Zhao Qingsu went to draw, Su Yuan also took the key and went out to Li Hao. Why are you going? Something, Zhao Qingsu asked, and seeing that Su Yuan didn't say anything, she continued drawing her own picture. When Su Yuan came in, Li Hao was watching TV in his room with his bare chest. When he noticed Su Yuan coming over, he touched his stomach and complained. Where did you guys do today? You didn't even cook. How can you abuse your own child like this? I bought a farmhouse. Su Yuan sat down next to Li Hao and started taking out his phone contacts. Bought a farmhouse? Why did you buy this crap? It's not easy to run a farmhouse now. It's easy to lose money. Anyway, the farmhouses my family invested in didn't make any money. When Li Hao heard that Su Yuan actually ran over and bought a farmhouse, he was immediately shocked. There are actually such suckers nowadays. Su Yuan ignored him and sat on the sofa, concentrating on sending messages. What? Su Yuan didn't return home to sleep until after 11 o'clock in the evening. He went out early the next morning without telling Zhao Qingsu where he was going. Su Yuan has been like this these days. This made Zhao Qingsu a little depressed, but she didn't think much about it. She found a decoration company and contracted out the entire decoration of the farmhouse at a price of 1,000 yuan per square meter. In addition to her daily editing work, she would go to the farmhouse to watch the decoration companies do their work when she had nothing to do. Her life was quite fulfilling and leisurely. But on Saturday, when she saw Su Yuan going out early in the morning, she suddenly felt a little unhappy. Because today is her birthday. I had been planning to go to various tourist attractions in Shanghai with Su Yuan today. But who knew that he disappeared early in the morning and didn't even reply to my messages? She turned on her phone, but there was no message on it, only Chi Han asking her to go shopping. Originally, Zhao Qingsu wanted to wait for Su Yuan to come back at home. But when she thought about the fact that this big pig's hoof hadn't been seen for the past 2 days, she put on some makeup out of spite and went out. Why did you come out alone today? You two have such a good relationship, I thought Su Yuan would come out with you. The two agreed to meet at Wan Plaza, and Chi Han was dressed very beautifully today. When she saw that Zhao Qingsu came alone, she immediately asked curiously. Zhao Qingsu said gloomily, "He's been very busy recently, so I came out alone." Then don't you know what he's been busy with recently? He has his own things to do. How should I know? Hearing Chi Han's question, Zhao Qingsu felt a little depressed. She actually wanted to know what Su Yuan was doing recently, but Su Yuan simply didn't tell her. After saying that, he couldn't help but complain about Su Yuan a few words. Chi Han, who was standing next to her, dragged her shopping while pretending to be surprised and said, "Ah, is he so excessive? He didn't even accompany you on your birthday. It turns out that all men are pigs. They will become bad when they have money. Look, he is already on the road to becoming a bad person." Impossible. Complaints aside, Zhao Qingsu immediately stood up to defend Chi Han when he complained about Su Yuan. "He recently bought me a car and a house. He must have spent a lot of money. It's normal for him to go out and find something to do to make money. All men in the world will become bad, but he won't. Do you trust him so much?" Seeing Zhao Qingsu's silly look, Chi Han couldn't help but stretched out his finger and poked her head. "You idiot, then tell me, if he really makes money outside, why didn't he tell you? He must be doing something shameful." "That's impossible. If he doesn't say it, it must be because he's too tired from what he's doing, and he's afraid that I'll feel bad if he tells me." Zhao Qingsu answered seriously. "Oh, maybe he went out and tired his waist." Chi Han, okay, my little ancestor. At worst, I won't say anything bad about him." Seeing that Zhao Qingsu was on the verge of getting angry, Chi Han immediately shut up, took out a bag from somewhere, and handed it to her. "As your best friend, I have been preparing a birthday present for you a long time ago." Zhao Qingsu looked at the bag in her hand curiously. "What is this?" "Of course I'll pick out the clothes for you." "Oh, let's not talk too much. Just find a fitting room and try them on to see if they fit you." Chi Han pushed the bag, and Zhao Qingsu into the fitting room without saying a word. Helplessly, Zhao Qingsu opened the bag and found that there was a very gorgeous red dress inside, which was even thoughtfully matched with a pair of red high heels. "This dress is nice looking, but how can I wear it out now? Han, I really like this dress of yours, but can I try it on again at home?" "No, you have to try now." "But..." "No buts." Under Chi Han's strong request, Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to take off her clothes and put them aside, and then put on the dress with difficulty. What she didn't expect was that the size of the dress was just right. The heels are also a perfect size. It's like it was tailor-made for her. "Have you changed yet?" Zhao Qingsu had just put on her high heels when she heard Chi Han's urging voice at the door. Zhao Qingsu nodded. "I'm done changing, I'm about to come out." After saying that, he pushed open the door of the fitting room and went out to look in the mirror. But what she didn't expect was that the door of the fitting room was stuck and couldn't be opened no matter how hard she pushed. She was a little anxious. "What's wrong with the door of this fitting room? It seems to be broken." "Really? Then try pushing it from behind." Chi Han's voice came from the door. Zhao Qingsu hesitated for a moment and then tried to push the panel at the back of the fitting room as she said. She thought it would be difficult to push open, But who knew that with just a slight force, the panel at the back of the fitting room opened, revealing a dark passage. She didn't expect there was such a mechanism here and was very surprised. "Hanhin, did I really push it open? But I don't know where it leads to." "Just walk over there. You can get out of there by going around." "All right." Zhao Qingsu still trusted Chi-Han very much, so she just lifted her skirt and walked over. But as soon as she entered the aisle, the fitting room partition behind her suddenly closed automatically. Suddenly the passage was pitch black. Chapter 38, Birthday Surprise for My Wife. Ugh. The sudden darkness frightened Zhao Qingsu. She screamed subconsciously and wanted to go back and push open the baffle. But before she turned around, she suddenly felt her eyes light up. A beam of light shone down from the darkness above. Under the light, a huge 3-layer gold foil and red rose cake appeared. The red roses on the cake were blooming gorgeously, and the glittering gold foil was shining like tiny butterflies. "Happy birthday to you, Tilda Tilda." Suddenly, I remembered a clear and bright male voice singing a birthday song. As the voice sounded, a handsome and delicate face appeared from behind the cake. "Happy birthday to you, Tilda Tilda." When singing the second sentence, Su Yuan pushed the cake cart towards Zhao Qingsu, staring at Zhao Qingsu affectionately with his deep eyes. Zhao Qingsu was stunned by this scene. She stood there with her bright eyes wide open and her little mouth slightly opened, as tempting as cherries in August. "Happy birthday to you, Tilda Tilda." "Happy birthday to you, Tilda Tilda." When it came to the third and fourth sentences, it suddenly turned into a chorus, and when the birthday song ended, the lights in the whole room lit up one after another. Only then did Zhao Qingsu realize that the room was full of people. There was Chi-Han, her former colleague, and Li Hao. Everyone was holding gifts in their hands and smilingly shouted, "Qingsu, happy birthday, Tilda Tilda." I didn't expect that Su Yuan had been going out early and coming back late every day without saying a word these days, and he was actually planning a birthday for himself. Zhao Qingsu was so moved that she covered her mouth, leaving only a pair of sparkling eyes exposed. There is a bright light in the eyes that seems to be shaky. "Silly boy, I've spent so much time preparing for your birthday. You are not allowed to cry." Su Yuan knew Zhao Qingsu so well that when he saw the little girl's expression, he knew that she was going to cry, so he quickly walked over and held her little hand. "That's right, he's been staying at my place every day these past few days. I'm almost annoyed to death. If you cry now, it would be a shame for all the suffering I've endured these past few days." Li Hao also said with a smile beside him. "Yes, yes, Tilda Tilda." Several of Zhao Qingsu's colleagues also nodded. "Your husband contacted us several days ago and told us that I gave you a birthday surprise today. Thank you all for coming all the way here today." Several people were talking at the same time, which made Zhao Qingsu feel embarrassed and cry. She looked at the huge cake in front of her, picked up the special cake cutting knife next to her, carefully cut the cake into many pieces, and then asked everyone to eat the cake. This cake should be for the millennium, right? Everyone took a piece of cake from the small plate on the table and were about to eat it. But Ying suddenly discovered that the plate and small fork that came with the cake were very delicate. Not only were the materials special, but there was also a gold-plated logo printed on them. This is obviously not an ordinary cake. It really is the Millennium logo. Several other people also noticed something was wrong and quickly looked at the cake plates in their hands. As a girl, of course, I am more interested in cakes and the like. After all, Millennium's desserts are also very famous. Last time I went to the Millennium flagship store, an ordinary 16-inch cake cost several thousand. My goodness, such a big cake must cost at least hundreds of thousands, right? I just checked on my phone. This cake is one of Kaiengxi's flagship products. Can you guess how much it costs? How much? Everyone looked at Ying. Their eyes widened with curiosity. Ying stretched out 2 fingers and shook them. "Oh my God, a cake like this costs 200,000. My annual salary is not even that much." 200,000. When Ying heard the number, she shook her head and sneered. "You think the flagship model of Millennium Cake is too cheap, don't you? This cake costs more than 2.2 million. More than 2 million. For a second-generation rich like Li Hao, a cake worth more than 2 million is considered a luxury, not to mention for white-collar workers like them who work for others. In their opinion, a cake worth more than 2 million only exists in luxurious high-class banquets and newspapers. However, they never imagined that a cake of this level would appear in their world. A cake worth 2 million yuan. If you cut a piece of it, it would cost tens of thousands of yuan. What kind of family does Qingsu's boyfriend belong to? Now Zhao Qingsu's former colleagues are all confused. When they were in the same office with Zhao Qingsu told them that she and her boyfriend were very poor and would work hard to save money to buy a house in Shanghai. And Zhao Qingsu was indeed not joking. She was usually very frugal in her food, clothing, and other daily expenses. But her poor boyfriend bought her a Porsche Cayenne, still driving Rafa, and bought her a 2 million cake on her birthday. Compared to these, the Tiffany diamond ring worth $220,000 that Zhao Qingsu showed off on her circle of friends seems inconspicuous. Could it be that Zhao Qingsu's husband concealed his identity as a rich second generation in order to test her? Yingying was eating cake while thinking. Isn't it said that many rich second generations are afraid that others will marry them for money? That's true now. If that's true, it's so romantic. Thank you for coming to my birthday party tilde tilde. When a few people were happily discussing, Zhao Qingsu came over with a smile on her face. Qingsu, you are so beautiful today tilde tilde. Zhao Qingsu is very beautiful. Even if she wears light makeup, she looks stunning. Today she changed into a red evening gown, which not only perfectly outlined her curvy figure, but also made her little face look very delicate, just like a blooming rose. Thank you tilde tilde. Being praised for her good looks, Zhao Qingsu nodded gracefully and pulled Qi Han next to her over. Let me introduce you all. This is my good friend Qi Han. This dress was given to me by her tilde tilde. After hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Yingying's expression suddenly changed, and she looked at Qi Han with surprise in her eyes. Qingsu, not only is your boyfriend rich, but your best friend is also so rich. Zhao Qingsu didn't understand what Yingying meant for a moment, and she looked at Yingying in confusion. Yingying pouted. Qingsu, stop pretending. We are all fashion designers. How can we not recognize how much the dress you are wearing is worth? Chapter 39, Kiss Her Quickly. This dress. Hearing Yingying say this, Zhao Qingsu lowered her head and looked at the dress she was wearing carefully. Because it was given by Qi Han, she felt it looked familiar when she put it on, but she didn't think much about it. In addition, the light in the fitting room was dim, so she didn't see what the dress looked like clearly. She just knew it was a red dress. But now that she looked at it, she realized that this red dress was actually the last work of the famous designer Wei Rui. Wei Rui could be considered one of the bigwigs in the industry, and her mentor had once helped her analyze his designs, so of course she knew him. But Wei Rui's works usually start at $1 million, and she never thought that she would be able to wear a dress designed by Wei Rui. And it is Wei Rui's last work. Although she didn't know how much the red dress cost, she knew with her toes that it was definitely not cheap. Han, why did you give me such expensive clothes? Zhao Qingsu's lips trembled when she spoke, and she looked at Qi Han beside her in disbelief. Qi Han covered his mouth and burst out laughing. What are you thinking? How can I afford such expensive clothes? This was bought for you by your Su Yuan, I just brought it to you. When Qi Han said this, he was still a little indignant. Let me tell you, your Su Yuan has been tormenting me a lot these past 2 days. He forced me to practice the scene of tricking you out at home several times. My old waist is almost broken from exhaustion. So that's how it is. Qingsu, what kind of godly husband did you find? Oh my God, my big pig's hoof has never prepared such a surprise for me. I'm dying of jealousy, Qingsu. After hearing Qi Han's words, Zhao Qingsu's colleagues suddenly felt that the cakes that cost tens of thousands of yuan each no longer tasted good. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they really wouldn't believe that there was such a wonderful man in the world. It's okay that he's rich, but he's also so good to his wife. I have to excuse myself for a moment. Amid the envy of several people, Zhao Qingsu quickly ran to find Su Yuan, who was sitting next to her and chatting with Li Hao. She pulled Su Yuan aside and said, Honey, how much did you spend on this birthday party for me? I was so moved just now that I forgot about this question. Now she calculated that this birthday party alone cost at least tens of millions. Su Yuan looked at Zhao Qingsu innocently. Wife, of course I want to give you the best. Zhao Qingsu didn't know what to say, but it's too expensive. Don't worry about it, your husband and I have plenty of money. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's confused face, Su Yuan couldn't help but pinch her cheek. Don't you really believe in your husband's ability to make money? Although I only made 70 million from Bitcoin, I made a lot of money with this 70 million investment. So that's how it is. Zhao Qingsu was originally afraid that Su Yuan would spend all his money, so he bought things for her and spent all the money he earned from Bitcoin on her. Now when she heard Su Yuan say that he had made money from his investment, she felt a lot more relieved. Well, so you can spend your husband's money without worry tilde tilde. Seeing that there was no one around, Su Yuan hugged his wife's slender waist and said, Wife, you look so beautiful today. I put a lot of thought into celebrating your birthday. Are you really not going to reward me? Su Yuan's deep eyes were so close that the seriousness and doting in them almost overflowed, and his warm breath also blew on her face, making Zhao Qingsu blush instantly. Her face suddenly turned red and she stammered, Reward? What is the reward? What do you think? I don't know. Hurry up and kiss him. The two were looking at each other affectionately when Li Hao's voice of disappointment suddenly rang out beside them. The voice frightened Zhao Qingsu so much that she pushed Su Yuan away. Li Hao, you don't want to live anymore, right? Seeing that the shy beauty was about to take the bait, but was interrupted by Li Hao, Su Yuan turned back and glared at Li Hao with gritted teeth. I didn't mean to do that. I was just too anxious. At this point, Li Hao suddenly covered his mouth and said, I didn't mean to peek at you, I just saw you accidentally. After saying that, Li Hao looked at Su Yuan innocently. You always interrupt me when I'm doing good things. Now you know you're wrong, right? I'll go get a glass of water first. Seeing the awkward atmosphere, Zhao Qingsu couldn't stay any longer and fled quickly. Wife, wait for me. Don't go. Li Hao pulled Su Yuan back and said, You have a beautiful woman in your arms, so don't you care about me? I think the girl who has a good relationship with my sister-in-law is my type. Can you give me her contact information, tilde tilde? Li Hao looked at Su Yuan and smiled in a flattering manner. Su Yuan shook off his hand without hesitation. I'm telling you, you can touch anyone, but don't touch Qi Han. As Zhao Qingsu's best friend, Zhao Qingsu values Qi Han very much. She doesn't want Li Hao to make Qi Han suffer. What if Zhao Qingsu gets sad too? No, I just want a contact method. Su Yuan was annoyed by him. Where is your Ryuan? Are you not pursuing her anymore? Li Hao looked at him in confusion. Can't I chase both of them at the same time? Roll. Su Yuan ignored him and turned to look for Zhao Qingsu. Looking at Su Yuan's leaving back, Li Hao curled his lips. If you don't want to give me the contact information, then don't give me the contact information. It's just a contact information, right? I can get it myself. After saying that, he picked up a glass of wine from somewhere and walked towards Qi Han. Qi Han was standing and chatting with several of Zhao Qingsu's colleagues and did not notice Li Hao coming over. When he turned around, he bumped into Li Hao. All the wine in Li Hao's hand spilled onto Qi Han's skirt. Oh, I'm so sorry. After apologizing hypocritically, Li Hao took out a silk handkerchief from his coat pocket and said, Wipe it off. Thanks. Although it was the first time they met, Qi Han knew that Li Hao was Su Yuan's friend, and the two seemed to have a good relationship. She actually had a good impression of Li Hao. Not only was he handsome, he also seemed very polite. Most importantly, in this day and age, he still used handkerchiefs. Isn't his life too refined? I'm so sorry that I stained your skirt. How about this? You leave me your contact information, and I'll treat you to a meal some other day to make amends. When Li Hao saw the fish took the bait, he quickly put more effort into it. Qi Han certainly couldn't find a reason to refuse. Okay. Chapter 40. Li Hao was tricked. It was my friend's birthday, so I went to attend it. I'm so lucky to have a rich second-generation husband, tilde tilde. Being able to attend such a luxurious birthday party, Ying Ying and her friends were of course not idle. They quickly took a photo of the Millennium cake they had just taken, added their own selfies, and posted it to their moments. Which of your friends is so awesome? He can actually afford such an expensive Millennium flagship cake. Hey, I have a former colleague who I'm very close to, and his husband is super rich, tilde tilde. Looking at the envious comments in the circle of friends, Ying Ying also feels proud. Even though I am poor, it is an honor to have an awesome friend. Ying Ying, stop looking at your circle of friends. Have you seen that guy named Li Hao? He's handsome, right? I see he's well-dressed and seems to have a good relationship with Qingsu's boyfriend. He must be a second-generation rich man, tilde tilde. In the office, only Ying Ying, Zhao Qingsu, and another older female colleague have boyfriends. The rest of the girls are single. Therefore, many of them also noticed Li Hao. This is a high-quality and wealthy son-in-law. Let me see. Her clothes are from Versace, her belt is from LV, and her watch is also a classic model from Philips, worth hundreds of thousands. She is indeed a genuine second-generation richer than my boyfriend. You singles should work harder. Ying Ying looked at Li Hao for a while and smiled at several colleagues. When several people heard Ying Ying's words, they were so excited. He really is a genuine second-generation rich man. My God, it looks like he is still single. Yes, come on. Maybe you will be the next one to clear the snow, tilde tilde. Then how do we get his contact information? Go ask Qingsu. Several people quickly touched up their makeup and went to Qingsu over there. Qingsu, your husband's friend is very interesting. We want to meet him. Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan were originally sitting on the rattan chair next to them chatting. After hearing what they said, Zhao Qingsu looked at Su Yuan hesitantly, not knowing how to answer. The main reason was that she was not very familiar with Li Hao and did not have his contact information. Another thing is, judging from Li Hao's previous behavior, he doesn't seem like a good man. If she gives her contact information to her colleagues, What will she do if Li Hao cheats on them? As soon as he received Zhao Qingsu's gaze, Su Yuan immediately understood what she meant. You want his contact information. I can give you that, but I suggest you just chat and don't get too close. Su Yuan looked at a few people hesitantly and gave them his contact information. When they first got the contact information, several people were very happy. They added Li Hao one by one and even secretly started to think about how to catch a rich husband faster than others. However, Su Yuan's eyes made them feel uncomfortable. After hesitating for a long time, they still asked Su Yuan what he meant by his words just now. Su Yuan looked very embarrassed. I don't really want to say it. Come on, is there anything you can't say? That's right, we want to know more about him. If it were someone else, I would definitely not say this, but you are Qingsu's colleagues and good friends. If I don't say this, it will definitely hurt you. So I will tell you that the reason why he doesn't have a girlfriend now is because he was more. Su Yuan sighed at this point, but didn't make his words clear. Anyway, you can chat, but don't get in close contact, especially high-risk contact. I don't even dare to get that close to him. So that's how it is. After hearing what Su Yuan said, several people were shocked and also a little skeptical. They always felt that how could someone like Li Hao have that kind of infectious disease? Seeing the skeptical looks on their faces, Su Yuan continued to push. Hey, you should be nicer to him. Chat with him more often. He was about to get engaged some time ago, but after the premarital checkup revealed this. You know, he just broke up not long ago. He's quite fragile. Oh, okay. We'll help. Seeing how earnestly Su Yuan spoke, the few people couldn't help but believe it, and their eyes were full of disappointment. Who would have thought that such a good and wealthy son-in-law would have such a disease? However, he is a rich second generation after all, so it is still possible to chat with him. What? Honey Li Hao, really? Thinking of what Su Yuan had just said, not only Ying and the others were shocked, but Zhao Qingsu was also shocked. Su Yuan nodded seriously. Really? I understand. I will care for him even more. Upon hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Su Yuan immediately hugged her slender waist and acted coquettishly. You said you only love me in this life, but now you say you love another man. What's going on? Have you changed? Can women become bad when they have money? SHH. Su Yuan's behavior made Zhao Qingsu so embarrassed that she covered Su Yuan's mouth and signaled him not to speak. But when he lowered his head, he met Su Yuan's aggrieved eyes. A 1.85-meter-tall guy with a handsome, fair face and innocent, big eyes looking aggrieved is something that any woman would not be able to stand. Zhao Qingsu smiled faintly and coaxed him softly. Don't worry, my love for him is the same as for my son. Not even my son. That's my grandson. Well, this is barely acceptable. After finally coaxing Su Yuan into calming down, Zhao Qingsu originally wanted to take him out to eat something. But when Su Yuan saw that Li Hao was gone, he had a bad feeling. Send a message to Qi Han and ask her if she is with Li Hao. What? You know a lot. You must come from a good family. Qi Han went to the bathroom to deal with her skirt and came back to find Li Hao still waiting for her at the door. So she naturally started chatting with him. The two of them left Zhao Qingsu's birthday party tacitly and found a romantic cafe nearby to sit down. As soon as he sat down, Li Hao talked about coffee, explaining the characteristics and differences of various types of coffee and how to drink them best. The knowledge he talked about was relatively unpopular, and he also used a lot of professional terms that Qi Han couldn't understand. Although Qi Han was confused, he felt that he had learned something. Looking at Qi Han's admiring eyes, Li Hao felt a sense of accomplishment. He picked up the coffee in front of him and took a sip slowly. He chuckled, his eyes tinged with melancholy. Everyone thinks I have a good family background, but in fact, what does it matter if I have a good family background? At most, I am slightly better than others in terms of material things. It's better to be an ordinary person. At least I can get complete love. Chapter 40, Your mission is to contribute to the country. Qi Han knew that many second-generation rich children from wealthy families were raised by nannies since childhood because their parents were busy with work and business. They seldom had the opportunity to see their parents, so they lacked love. Therefore, when Li Hao said this, she automatically put herself in his shoes, thinking about how little Li Hao would have to face an empty house and a nanny who was only employed when he came home from school every day, day after day. When he was cold, no one gave him more clothes. When he was hungry, he could only take the frozen food prepared in advance from the refrigerator. When he was wronged, he could only lick his wounds silently in the corner. Her heart softened immediately. It's okay. One day, someone will be willing to wait for you at home and give you complete love. Her voice was gentle, and she couldn't help but move closer to Li Hao as she spoke. Li Hao also leaned forward and looked at her lovingly, Do you think you could be that person? Buzz. Chi Han was about to answer, but the phone on the table suddenly vibrated and someone sent her a message. She picked it up impatiently and took a look at it, and found that it was sent by Zhao Qingsu, and there were several messages in a row. Han, where are you? Are you with Li Hao? He has that disease. You better be careful. With the handsome guy around and the atmosphere tense, Chi Han glanced at the words in front of him and decided to silence his phone and leave it alone. But who knows if she read the last sentence? That disease? Which disease is it? Feeling vaguely uneasy, Chi Han couldn't help but send a message and ask, "What's the disease?" In layman's terms, it's AIDS. Looking up at Li Hao, whose facial features seemed to be carved out by a knife and an axe under the light. He was so handsome that it enraged everyone. Chi Han, who was about to sink, was suddenly awakened by the two words, Zhao Qingsu. Is this true or false? Real? Chi Han knew that Zhao Qingsu would not lie to her, so when she heard Zhao Qingsu speak so seriously, she had no choice but to believe it even though she didn't want to. Putting down the phone in his hand, Chi Han picked up the coffee in front of him and took a sip with some discomfort. Are you done talking? Li Hao waited patiently for Chi Han to finish chatting, then continued his gentle offensive, looking at her lovingly. Chi Han nodded, a little afraid to look him in the eye. Yeah. Then can I continue to ask the question I asked earlier? Are you willing to wait for me to come home? Well, I have something else to do. Facing Li Hao's affectionate eyes, Chi Han stood up suddenly with an apologetic and somewhat fearful look on his face. I'm leaving first, we'll talk later. After saying that, she ran away, picking up her skirt. Li Hao looked at the coffee in front of him that he had just taken a few sips of, and several question marks slowly appeared above his head. He had no idea what was going on. What on earth is going on with Chi Han? Even if there is something wrong, you can't just leave him like that, right? Could it be that his charm is gone? Unconvinced, he went to the bathroom and looked at himself in the mirror for a long time. Li Hao felt that his handsome face was so handsome that it would be easy for him to date a woman of Chi Han's level. But it failed. After eating the cake, everyone went to a high-end KTV and booked a luxurious private room where they sang and had fun together. Everyone order whatever you want. It's my treat tonight. In order to let Zhao Qingsu's friends have fun, Su Yuan certainly wouldn't be stingy. However, he had no interest in singing, so he just hugged Zhao Qingsu and sat beside her, whispering to her. Zhao Qingsu also took out her phone and showed Su Yuan the pictures of the farmhouse's decoration. Well, it's basically done. However, I don't think the things you planted will grow in a short time. After the land was planned, Su Yuan directly gave the seeds to the people from the decoration company and asked them to plant the seeds. As for the rest of the places, the flowers, plants, and trees were directly transplanted from existing ones. So as long as those things were transplanted, the effects could be seen directly. But the few acres of land where he planted seeds looked bare. The most important thing is, no one knows what will grow from those things. This made Zhao Qingsu very worried that the final effect of the farm stay would not be good-looking. Do you believe me? Looking at Zhao Qingsu's worried eyes, Su Yuan raised the corners of his lips. No matter what those seeds grow into, I can sell them for gold. After all this trouble, Su Yuan is of course thinking about high returns. However, he is not worried that the fruits he grows will not be sold. As long as the results are good, those beauty-loving girls will definitely line up to buy them from him. Tusk just bragged tilde. Zhao Qingsu didn't believe what he said. Is it not appropriate to go out today? While the two were talking, Li Hao sat down next to them with a worried look on his face. He didn't know what happened today. Chi Han, the girl he liked, treated him very strangely. When he went to find her, she said she was busy and had something to do. As soon as he left, she turned around and started singing happily. Not only that, the same goes for Zhao Qingsu's colleagues. He clearly received their friend requests an hour ago, and it was obvious that they were interested in him. But no matter how lively the conversation was on VX, as soon as he said he wanted to sing with them, they would avoid him, as if he were some kind of pathogen. Now he even doubts whether he is too ugly, but his facial features are obviously very beautiful. Could it be that he was too tanned, making him look like a black man under the colorful lights of the KTV? What's wrong? Seeing Li Hao like this, Su Yuan asked knowingly, Did you fail today? Yes. Pulling his hair, Li Hao looked in Chi Han's direction in frustration. Is there something wrong with me today? Do you feel that the reason why your charm suddenly decreased is not because they don't like you anymore, but because the country is testing you? Su Yuan looked at Li Hao seriously. Li Hao raised his eyebrows a little confused. Testing me? Yes. Su Yuan nodded. You can read Chi Han 100 times and Chi Han still won't like you, but if you read the book 100 times carefully, you will be an awesome boss. Placing a heavy hand on Li Hao's shoulder and patting him, Su Yuan continued, "So, brother, don't waste your thoughts on women. Your mission is to contribute to the motherland. You—" Li Hao stared at Su Yuan's eyes for 3 seconds. "What are you talking about? I would rather die in a gentle place than read some crappy book." "No wonders." Seeing Li Hao's stubborn look, Zhao Qingsu sighed and suddenly realized. Her words puzzled Li Hao. "What do you mean, no wonder?" Chapter 42. Are you jealous of my handsomeness or my talent? No, nothing. Zhao Qingsu was too embarrassed to say such things to his face. She looked gentle and said softly, "I was just sighing casually. Don't take my words to heart and don't feel any psychological pressure." Got it. Psychological pressure? Her words made Li Hao even more confused. He felt that everyone was weird tonight. Su Yuan beside him coughed and said, "It's getting late. I think we can go home now." He patted Li Hao on the shoulder and said, "You should go back and have a rest too. Overindulgence is not good for you. Look at your two big blue eyes." Li Hao was furious. "Fuck, this is eyeshadow. What? Hello, sir. Your total spending this time is 12,600. Swipe the card." Su Yuan handed over the card, and soon he heard a system prompt. Ding! Congratulations to the host for spending 12,600 yuan on his wife Zhao Qinghua and getting a tenfold rebate of 126,000 yuan. It has been deposited into your account balance. Please check it. Ding! Congratulations to the host for spending 12,600 yuan on his wife Zhao Qinghua. This triggered the lucky rebate and won him 100 bags of super fast fertilizer. Please check it. After receiving the rebate, Su Yuan was ready to hug Zhao Qingsu and leave. He only spent more than 10,000 yuan this time, and he didn't expect any lucky rebate. Unexpectedly, he was given 100 bags of super fast fertilizer. He looked at the introduction of the ultra-fast fertilizer. This fertilizer can not only ensure the nutrition of plants at all stages of growth, but also accelerate the growth rate of plants by 100 times in 3 days. Good stuff. Thinking of the 5 acres of trees in the farmhouse, Su Yuan couldn't help but curl his lips. "What did you say, husband?" When Zhao Qingsu in his arms heard what he said, she raised her head with some confusion. Su Yuan lowered his head and whispered in Zhao Qingsu's ear, "I said, it's too late, go home quickly, I'll show you something good tilde. Screw you." While the two were talking, several of Yingying's colleagues came over to say goodbye to Zhao Qingsu, got in a taxi and left. "I envy you all for being in pairs. I'm leaving first." Qihan also came over and greeted Zhao Qingsu, then prepared to get up and drive away in his car. However, just as she reached the door of her car and before she had time to get in, a hand blocked her way. "Baby, it's dangerous for a girl to go home now. How about I take you home? How about being your driver?" Li Hao leaned against the side of Qihan's car, wiped his hair, and asked in a gentlemanly manner. His words scared Qihan so much that he stuttered, "Well, I can go back by myself, you don't need to send me off. You are a good friend of my brother's wife, so it is my duty to send you off. Don't be polite to me." "But we're not on the way. I told you I'd give it to you, so what does it matter if it's on the way or not?" Qihan took a deep breath and looked at Li Hao sincerely. "I know it's not your fault that you got that disease, and I don't discriminate against people with that disease, but at least you have some sense of the law, right? You were so close to me, I was scared." Fearing that Li Hao would take retaliatory actions after he said these words, Qihan subconsciously took a few steps back. But Li Hao was completely confused. "What are you talking about? What disease do I have? You don't have to pretend with me here. I already know." Seeing Li Hao like this, Qihan got angry. "Now that we've talked, can you promise to keep your distance from me? It's okay for normal interactions, but if you take it a step further, I can only apologize." Okay. Li Hao looked at Qihan's defensive look and took 2 steps back. "I can promise to keep my distance from you, but you have to tell me who told you this." "It doesn't matter who told me," Qihan said coldly. "I think I should have the right to know about this kind of thing." Taking a deep breath, Li Hao tried his best to calm himself down. Thinking about what Su Yuan said today, he thought he already knew the answer. Forcefully forcing a smile, Li Hao nodded towards Qihan. "Thank you." "What?" Su Yuan. Sitting on the sofa in Su Yuan's house, Li Hao glared at him with gritted teeth. "Tell me what's going on." Nothing happened." Su Yuan spread his hands innocently. "What do you want to say? Don't play dumb with me. I know everything. You told them everywhere that I have an infectious disease, right?" Li Hao's face was twisted with anger. "I always say that I am so charming. How could it suddenly lose its charm tonight? It turns out that you are behind this. Tell me clearly, are you jealous of my handsomeness or my talent?" I'm all jealous." Su Yuan looked at him sincerely. Humans are jealous creatures, me? It's normal for me to do something uncontrollable when driven by jealousy. I sincerely apologize to you here. Real? Li Hao looked at him suspiciously. Su Yuan continued to nod. It's more real than real gold. Forget it. Since you're saying you're jealous of me, I won't argue with you. After all, ordinary people can't even approach me with my conditions, so it's normal to be jealous. Li Hao picked up a makeup mirror from the table, carefully looked at his handsome face, and then glanced at Su Yuan. But the death penalty can be avoided, but the living crime cannot be escaped. Hurry up and think of how to compensate me. I'll take you to a barbecue tomorrow. That's it. Su Yuan was helpless. Then what else do you want? Ask Ryuan to come out as well. After ceding land and paying compensation, Li Hao went upstairs to sleep contentedly. Zhao Qingsu pushed open the bedroom door. She came out in pink bunny pajamas with smooth black hair, skin whiter than snow, and a pair of bright eyes. Is he gone? I'm leaving. Finally, he left. You are such a fool. How can you joke about such a thing? I really thought he. Walking over and nestling in Su Yuan's arms comfortably, Zhao Qingsu couldn't help but scold Su Yuan a few words. Su Yuan didn't think it was a big deal. If I didn't say this, do you believe that one of your colleagues or best friends would be in trouble? That's true. I see you are smiling so happily. Is there something good going on? Su Yuan looked at Zhao Qingsu with a smile. After hearing what he said, Zhao Qingsu happily raised her phone in front of him. Did you see that? The number of likes on the makeup collection I posted has exceeded 100,000. Zhao Qingsu has posted a lot of short makeup videos before, but most of them only got a few hundred or thousands of likes, and the best one got just over 10,000 likes. But the number of likes for the makeup collection she posted this time exceeded 100,000. Chapter 43, Harmony and Harmony. Let me see, it really has exceeded 100,000. My wife is amazing, don't say more. As a reward, how about going to a farmhouse with me for a barbecue tomorrow? Zhao Qingsu pretended to be angry. You are trying to trick me again. You are going to the barbecue tomorrow to make amends to Li Hao. Bringing him along is just a side job. Taking my wife along is the main point. If you don't want him to go with you, I won't let him go tomorrow, tilde. Hey, you said you'd take him with you. Don't break your promise. What's it to break your promise for your wife? Su Yuan hugged Zhao Qingsu's slender waist tightly and buried his head in her soft chest. Brothers are like limbs, women are like clothes. Of course, my wife is more important. Zhao Qingsu was full of black lines on her head. Are you sure that the saying brothers are like limbs and women are like clothes is used to describe me as more important? Of course. Su Yuan remained calm and said seriously, brothers are like the limbs of a centipede and women are like winter clothes. Wife, you are my indispensable little cotton-padded jacket. Good. Zhao Qingsu couldn't help laughing at Su Yuan's words and put her phone in front of him. Look, this video went viral because of you. Not many people like to watch her previous makeup videos. But as soon as she released a compilation of the male lead doing her makeup, a group of girls screamed, "My God, husband. Zuer, please delete this video immediately. If I had a husband like this, I would definitely keep it a secret from anyone else. If I have a husband like this, can I just lie in bed and be a piece of shit in the morning? It's not enough that she has such beautiful hands, but her makeup skills are even better than a woman like me. Isn't this too unfair? They are in harmony with each other. I'm so envious." The comments below were mostly praising Su Yuan, which made Zhao Qingsu happy but also a little jealous. As a popular beauty blogger, isn't this too embarrassing for her? There's actually a request for advertising cooperation here. After the video became popular, she received a lot of private messages, most of which were praising her beauty or asking for some makeup tips. Zhao Qingsu replied to them one by one, and unexpectedly found a private message among the pile of private messages asking for advertising cooperation. Su Yuan came over and took a look. Yufeng Cosmetics Co. Limited. Although I haven't heard of it, the compensation is quite generous. Do you want to take it? It was clearly stated there that as long as Zhao Qingsu made a short video using the beauty products provided by Yufeng and praised Yufeng's products, she would be paid 10,000 yuan. For a small beauty blogger, this is already a very good treatment. I don't really want to answer it. Zhao Qingsu frowned when she saw the private message regarding advertising cooperation. Why, wife? Because I know this brand. Their products are really not good to use. Do you remember that I had acne for a month after trying new cosmetics? I used their products. Zhao Qingsu said reluctantly, but this is my first advertising job, and the pay is 10,000. No matter what happens, the first time always has a special meaning to people. Moreover, 10,000 yuan is already a very good reward for her. After all, her previous job only paid 8,000 yuan a month, and this amount of money was equivalent to more than a month's salary for her, so it was hard for her not to be tempted. No. While Zhao Qingsu was hesitating, Su Yuan had already made a decision for her quickly. Since you are not really willing to take the job, why do you want to take it? Your husband is not unable to support you. When you become a big beauty blogger one day, you will definitely get better ads. Hubby, thank you, tilde tilde. Hearing Su Yuan say this, Zhao Qingsu felt a little sad. She hugged his waist and said softly, Chapter 40, For my husband said he bought it for me to plant flowers. Because they had agreed to go to a farmhouse for a barbecue the next night, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu took Li Hao to the vegetable market to buy vegetables in the afternoon. Originally, Li Hao thought that Ruan would also go with him to buy groceries. But after they went out, he found out that Ruan would go directly to the farmhouse, which immediately made Li Hao lose interest, and he had a sullen face while buying groceries. You must buy some lamb skewers. How can you have a barbecue without lamb skewers, tilde tilde? Su Yuan pushed a large shopping cart, and Zhao Qingsu put things into the cart one by one, and soon the cart was full. Li Hao next to him came over and said, Is it a you? I won't eat ram's kebabs. Su Yuan turned around and smiled at him. You don't have to eat if you don't want to. Hey, are you still a human being? You screwed me so much yesterday and left me alone in an empty room all night. You said you would compensate me today, but this is your attitude. Upon hearing Su Yuan's words, Li Hao immediately started yelling in annoyance. When the people around heard his words, they looked at him, then looked at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu with meaningful looks in their eyes. Li Hao didn't feel that he had said anything wrong. Do you know how miserable I was when I slept alone last night? Although I am an adult, I am afraid of the dark. You sleep soundly with your wife, but you understand how lonely I feel when I sleep alone at night, and you don't sleep with me. Su Yuan was really afraid that if Li Hao continued to yell, the three of them would be on the news the next day. So he quickly told him to shut up and checked out of the supermarket. We drove all the way from the city to the farmhouse, and it was exactly 8 o'clock. A red Land Rover had already been parked at the entrance of the farmhouse. As soon as I saw this Land Rover, I knew there must be a beauty sitting in it. Li Haoli jumped down from the back seat excitedly and ran to Ruan to show his courtesy. Ruan, why are you here so early? I guess you've been waiting for a long time. I usually arrive 10 minutes early, so I didn't have to wait long. Today, Ruan changed into casual clothes and tied her hair into a high ponytail. She looked very energetic and was completely different from the one she had seen in the dress shop before. After Su Yuan greeted her, he introduced Zhao Qingsu to her. Ruan, this is my wife, tilde tilde. Sister-in-law is so beautiful. As soon as she saw Zhao Qingsu, Ruan tilted her head and smiled. When I saw your photo before, I knew you must be a great beauty. I didn't expect you to be even more beautiful in person than in the photo. Zhao Qingsu felt embarrassed by Ruan's praise. No, I'm just an ordinary person. Sister-in-law, if you were an ordinary person, how would you embarrass me? Ruan, you are beautiful too. Li Hao next to him interjected, and she looks good in anything she wears. Oh, I think you look best when I take off my clothes. As an expert in love affairs, Ruan looked as if she had seen through Li Hao a long time ago, and said with a half smile. Li Hao was seen through for his true nature as a scumbag, but he didn't blush at all. He smiled and said, I think you may have some misunderstandings about me, but it doesn't matter. I will soon change your opinion of me. Do you have anything? I'll help you move it in. Seeing his attentive look, Su Yuan grabbed his collar and pulled him to the trunk of the Porsche Cayenne. This is where you should move your things. Go. Li Hao slapped Su Yuan's hand away and said, Don't pull me like that. If you don't pay attention to your image, I have to pay attention to it. What? The decoration of the farmhouse is almost completed. As soon as you walk in, you will be filled with lush forests, bamboos, and abundant vegetation, which makes you feel very happy. Su Yuan moved the grill that had been prepared long ago out of the cabin, took out the ingredients and packed them up one by one. Zhao Qingsu and Ruan also helped, and they were busy and happy. Only Li Hao took a look around the farmhouse and was quite dissatisfied with it. Brother Yuan, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but this place is too shabby, isn't it? What are you planting in those bare plots of land? There's not even a hair. You know shit. Tusk, I don't understand. You don't understand. Li Hao curled his lips in disdain. There weren't many trees planted in the farmhouse. Where could people go to have sex outdoors? There was no fun at all. Of course, he didn't say this. Ruan, are you eating? I'll help you tilde tilde. Okay. Ruan placed a bowl directly in front of him and said, Skewer all these vegetables. Okay, I'm happy to serve you, beautiful lady tilde tilde. After taking a look at Li Hao, Ryuan ignored him and spoke to Zhao Kingsu next to her. Kingsu, how much did you spend to buy this farmhouse? It seems to be more than 30 million. My husband bought it, but I don't think you guys are going to open a farm stay. The decoration of the farmhouse has been almost completed, but there are no promotional leaflets, no online promotion, and no promotion in WeChat moments. How can this be the rhythm of opening a store? Those who really want to do business will start promoting the farmhouse before the decoration begins. Yes, my husband said that running a farm stay is not profitable now, so he bought it mainly for me to grow flowers tilde tilde. Zhao Kingsu was a little embarrassed. Of course, we'll see how things turn out and open a farm stay to supplement our household income. I'm so jealous tilde tilde. Ryuan looked at Zhao Kingsu with starry eyes. When your husband came to buy a dress before, I knew he loved you very much. I didn't expect that he would treat you better than I thought. I also want a husband who treats me well. I will treat you well tilde tilde. Li Hao leaned over from the side and said, you say one thing and I won't say two. Then you can say three. Ryuan curled her lips and said slowly while stringing vegetables, there are so many people chasing me. I know who they are, so I won't be fooled. Zhao Kingsu looked at Ryuan curiously. How did you tell the difference? Eyes. After thinking for a while, Ryuan said, when Master Yuan looks at you, his eyes are particularly focused and gentle, and there is nothing impure about them because he loves you from the bottom of his heart. But my suitors either look like they are trying to please me or have impure intentions. Anyway, I can tell the difference. Is it that amazing? Zhao Kingsu really admired Ryuan's move. She pointed at Li Hao next to her and asked, what do you think his look is? Zhao Kingsu always felt that Li Hao's eyes looked sincere and innocent, the kind that when he lied to you, you always felt that he would never lie. Yeah, where are my eyes? Li Hao also came closer to Ryuan and looked at her expectantly. Ryuan smiled and said, your eyes are the eyes of looking at prey. You can see this. Li Hao insisted, I don't believe it, you must be making it up. Chapter 45, I believe my husband is almighty. A few people chatted, ate barbecue, played music, and watched the sky gradually filled with stars. It would be nice if there was fish. I forgot to buy fish today, because it was too embarrassing to take Li Hao shopping. They were in a hurry when leaving the supermarket, and Zhao Kingsu forgot to buy a fish. Su Yuan put down the half-eaten mutton skewer and moved closer to Zhao Kingsu. If you kiss me, I will conjure up a fish for you tilde tilde. Zhao Kingsu looked at him with sparkling eyes. Really? Husband? Of course it's fake. He's just trying to trick you into kissing him. Don't be fooled, sister-in-law. Li Hao next to him said coldly, no, I believe my husband is omnipotent. Zhao Kingsu ignored Li Hao and leaned over to give Su Yuan a light kiss on the corner of his mouth. Tusk, if you don't listen to the old man, you will suffer the consequences. Faced with the dog food spread by the two, Li Hao was almost vomiting. He said unhappily, and then held Ryuan's hand affectionately. Baby, if you are willing to kiss me, I can do anything for you. Stop talking nonsense. Before Ryuan could answer, Su Yuan had already brought over 2 fishing rods and a bucket from somewhere, and then forced a fishing rod into Li Hao's hand. There used to be a small pond of half an acre in the farmhouse, but the previous owner didn't take good care of it, and there was a pool of smelly, stagnant water in it. But after the improvement, the water in the pond has been replaced with living water. Su Yuan not only planted the lotus given by the system, but also bought a lot of fish and threw them in. Most of them are fry, and a small number are grown-up big fish. Therefore, it is really possible to catch fish now. Looking at the fishing rod in his hand and Su Yuan's explanation, Li Hao looked extremely worried. Brother Yuan, the fish would have gone to sleep so late. How about fishing tomorrow? Then let's go fishing for those fish that stay up late tilde tilde. Su Yuan grabbed his collar and left. I don't care, my wife wants to eat fish anyway, you have to go. Li Hao, who was sitting next to the pond, sighed to the sky. What a sin. Buzz. The cleaned, plump sea bass were marinated, skewered, and grilled until the skin was crispy and the meat was tender. They were then sprinkled with seasonings. The crackling of the charcoal fire immediately filled the air with the aroma of fish, and several people couldn't help but drool quickly. Seeing her cell phone ringing, Zhao Kingsu asked Su Yuan to divide the grilled fish into 4 parts and picked up her cell phone to check. Lin Jian. Looking at the person who sent the message, Zhao Kingsu was dazed for a moment. Then she remembered that this person was her high school classmate. At that time, she had good academic performance and easily got into a domestic top university. However, Lin Jian's performance was only average, but his family conditions were quite good, so on the eve of the college entrance examination, he was sent abroad by his parents. I heard that he studied in a good school. After going abroad, Lin Jian contacted her several times, but she was very busy and responded to messages very slowly, so he rarely contacted her afterwards. She thought that there would be no more interactions between the two of them, but she didn't expect that Lin Jian would come to her again. Out of politeness, she still replied, "What's the matter? Kingsu, why haven't you slept yet so late?" The message came back quickly. "I don't have anything to talk to you about. I just returned to China and I have some free time. I want to treat my old classmate to dinner." "Is that so? Who else is there? Aren't there only a few people in the Magic City right now? Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai will come." When Zhao Qingsu heard that Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were also there, she immediately became interested. When she was in high school, she had a good relationship with Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai. Unfortunately, they both went abroad and had no contact since then. Therefore, when Zhao Qingsu heard that they were there this time, she really wanted to go over. "Well, I'm free tomorrow, so let's have dinner together." Zhao Qingsu also agreed readily. Because Zhao Qingsu never liked to participate in group activities and was rather introverted, Lin Jian originally thought that he would have to say nice things to Zhao Qingsu before she would agree to attend the class reunion. He didn't expect that she would agree so readily, which immediately made him very happy. He typed a long string of words, thought about it, and deleted it. "I'm very happy that you agreed to come." Zhao Qingsu did not reply. Chapter 46. Single or not doesn't matter, what matters is being pretty. "Honey, who are you chatting with?" After Su Yuan divided the grilled fish into 4 portions, Ryuan and Li Hao thought the fish smelled delicious, and they were already eating till their mouths were drooling. He couldn't help but take a big bite, then turned around and found that Zhao Qingsu not only didn't move, but was happily chatting on her phone, so he moved closer. Zhao Qingsu did not hide it. "I was chatting with my high school classmate. He said he would treat me to a meal tomorrow. Male or female?" Hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Su Yuan curled his lips and said, "Forget it. Whether it's a man or a woman, I will go with you." "Okay." Zhao Qingsu smiled and nodded. Since no one said that family members could not be brought along, she just happened to bring her husband along to introduce them to everyone. "Let's eat grilled fish, tilde. Seeing that Zhao Qingsu agreed readily, Su Yuan handed the grilled fish with the bones removed to her. "My husband is the best, tilde. Class reunion." Li Hao, who was eating grilled fish nearby, also moved his ears and took in the 2 words, but he glanced at Ryuan next to him and didn't say anything. After everyone had eaten and drunk their fill, they returned to their rooms to sleep. The next day, because Ryuan had other things to do, she drove away early in the morning. As a free man, Li Hao originally wanted to stick with Ryuan to go together, but was rejected by the girl. Su Yuanzheng hired several migrant workers from the farmhouse to apply fertilizer to the trees. When he saw Li Hao like this, he raised his eyebrows and said, "I thought you had already won her over with your charm. It seems that you haven't succeeded yet." According to Su Yuan's observation, Li Hao is a typical scumbag who will immediately change his face once he succeeds. Commonly known as ruthless. Looking at how sticky he is, he definitely hasn't succeeded. Li Hao became alert when he saw Su Yuan's gloating expression. "Tell me the truth. Did you say bad things about me in front of Ryuan again?" Su Yuan raised his hand. "I swear to God I didn't say anything this time." "Then why is Ryuan so rude to me? It's unscientific." "I don't care whether it's scientific or not." Su Yuan directly threw a set of old clothes to Li Hao. "Hurry up and change your clothes so that you can help me with the work. Do you feel ashamed to eat and drink for free every day?" Looking at the old clothes in his hand, a question mark appeared on Li Hao's head. "You won't let me go with you to fertilize your bare land, right?" Bingo tilde. Depend on. Although he was very reluctant, after all he was living in someone else's house and eating someone else's food, Li Hao had to change his clothes and run over to paddle in the water, treating it as exercise. "I don't know what's planted in this piece of broken land. I can't tell at all." While working, Li Hao kept talking. "Fertilizing. Let me fertilize. Do these rotten seeds have the blessing to bear the fertilizer I fertilize? By then, no hair will grow." After finally finishing a day's work, Li Hao was as tired as a dead dog and was taken directly back to the large flat to rest. He went back upstairs, took a shower, changed his clothes, and then he remembered that he hadn't eaten yet. As soon as he thought of food, he ran downstairs and knocked on the door. "What?" Su Yuan looked at Li Hao at the door and asked, "Are you here to eat for free?" "What? I worked for you all day, and you don't even pay me, but you're not going to take care of my meals." Li Hao walked into the living room like an old man and sat down on the sofa. "I want to eat squirrel fish today. We're going to a class reunion, so we're not cooking today." Zhao Qingsu had just changed into a yellow floral dress, and was about to go out with a light green bag on her back. Li Hao jumped up when he heard the word class reunion. I love attending class reunions the most. Otherwise, take me with you. It's just a matter of having more pairs of chopsticks. I can't eat much. This. Zhao Qingsu was a little embarrassed. There were only 4 people at this small class reunion. It was understandable for her to take Su Yuan with her, but what about taking Li Hao with her? My dear sister-in-law, my dear mother, please take me with you tilde. Seeing Zhao Qingsu hesitate, Li Hao shamelessly ran over and grabbed her sleeve. Look, I'm all alone, I don't have much money, I can't even afford to eat, and no one is with me. I'm so pitiful. If you don't care about me, I might as well die. Go. Su Yuan pulled away Li Hao's hand that was holding Zhao Qingsu's sleeve and asked, Who told you to touch my wife? I just asked you if you would take me with you. Zhao Qingsu looked at Li Hao helplessly. Okay, then you can go with us. At worst, she can just treat the class reunion. Okay, then I'll go down and be your driver tilde. When Su Yuan heard that Zhao Qingsu agreed to attend the class reunion, he was very happy. He took the car keys of the Porsche Cayenne from the coffee table and went downstairs. He was calculating, sister-in-law, are there many female classmates coming to your class reunion this time? Are they single? It doesn't really matter whether they are single or not, as long as they are pretty. Sister-in-law, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking this because I want to do something to them. You know what I mean. There's a saying that beauty is a feast to the eyes. I feel delicious when I see beautiful women eating. Sister-in-law, do you know why I always like to come downstairs to eat? Because I can smell the delicious food just by watching you eat. Buff. Zhao Qingsu didn't want to pay attention to Li Hao at first, but in the end she was amused by him and couldn't help laughing. Arriving at the garage, Li Hao opened the car door with the car key in a cool manner. He was originally planning to turn around and ask Zhao Qingsu for the photo of her high school female classmate, but he didn't expect that when he turned around, he saw Su Yuan had already pulled Zhao Qingsu into the Ferrari LaFerrari. Hey, is there anyone who values women over friends like you? Li Hao stamped his feet in anger, but the only answer he got was the exhaust fumes from Lafayette's car as it drove away. If it weren't for the beautiful woman, Li Hao really wanted to turn around and leave. After finally arriving at Jiujiangnan, they threw the car keys to the parking attendant at the door, and the 3 of them walked into Jiujiangnan. Looking at the decoration of the old Jiangnan, Li Hao sighed. Sister-in-law, are your classmates all rich? They actually have dinner in such a high-end place for their class reunion. Chapter 47. This is Su Yuan, my husband. Brother Jian, you have changed so much in the past 2 years. I almost can't recognize you tilde. Yes, Zhizhai is right, Brother Jian. You have really changed a lot. Not only that, if I remember correctly, you should be the most educated among us now, right? In a private room on the 2nd floor of Jiujiangnan, Lin Jian was wearing a neat Armani suit. His hair was combed meticulously, and he wore a pair of gold-rimmed glasses, looking like a pedant. The 2 beautifully dressed women, sitting on his left and right, were Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai. Although Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai's family conditions were not bad, and their families sent them abroad, they only got a diploma from a university. After getting a diploma, I gilded myself and returned to China as a sea turtle. I found a senior management job and had quite some free time sitting in the office every day. But compared to Lin Jian, who has a master's degree from a famous American university, he is far behind. I'm just a master's degree holder. I can't say that I have a high degree. The seniors in my school have much higher degrees than me. Lin Jian pushed his glasses up, looked towards the door and turned the topic to Zhao Qingsu. Why hasn't Qingsu come yet? Brother Jian, it seems like you invited us to dinner for other reasons than drinking. When they heard Lin Jian mention Zhao Qingsu, Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai immediately covered their mouths and laughed. In fact, they had a group of overseas returnees and chatted a lot in the group. When Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai knew that Lin Jian had obtained a master's degree, they became more friendly and fawning towards him. After chatting a few times, they asked Lin Jian if he had a girlfriend. Only then did Lin Jian tell them that the person he liked was Zhao Qingsu. Although they had no chance, the 2 were not that disappointed and were happy to act as matchmakers. Yes, you know I have liked her for many years. I used to think I was immature, so I didn't want to confess to her. But I came back this time just to be with her, and I need your help. Seeing Lin Jian's determined look, Zhu Zhizhai hesitated for a moment and said, Brother Jian, but I saw a Tiffany ring on her moments a few days ago. She must be engaged or married. So what if you're engaged or married? Lin Jian shrugged. I'm not a very conservative person. On the contrary, I'm very open-minded. As long as she wants to be with me, I don't care what her past was like. Brother Jian, you are so affectionate tilde. When the two heard that Lin Jian didn't care about anything, they admired him very much. Bang, bang, bangs. Lin Jian was about to say something when there was a knock on the door. He immediately signaled Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai to shut up and went to open the door. As soon as he opened the door, he saw the person he had been thinking about day and night standing in front of him. Time seems to be particularly kind to Zhao Qingsu. Apart from her slightly more mature facial features, she has not changed much compared to high school. Her skin is still as smooth as a baby's, and her eyes are still as bright and attractive. Just standing there is a sight that is impossible not to look away from. However, Lin Jian was only stunned for a moment when he saw the look on Zhao Qingsu's face. He soon discovered that there were two men standing next to Zhao Qingsu. He is about 1.85 meters tall, handsome and introverted, with a great temperament. The other one was wearing all branded clothes and was tanned, but his handsome features couldn't be concealed. You can tell these two people are definitely not bad just by looking at their appearance. Lin Jian, long time no see tilde tilde. Zhao Qingsu greeted Lin Jian first, then seeing Lin Jian's puzzled expression, she quickly introduced, "This is Su Yuan, my husband." She hesitated for a moment and pointed at Li Hao. "This is my brother. We happen to be shopping nearby, so we came together. You shouldn't mind, right?" "Oh, hello, I certainly don't mind that kind of thing." Lin Jian greeted Su Yuan and Li Hao lightly and invited the three of them in. "Hurry up and take a seat." Because Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were also in the room, Zhao Qingsu introduced them to them again. After everyone introduced themselves to each other, they started ordering food. Lin Jian handed the menu to Zhao Qingsu. "Qingsu, just order whatever you want to eat. It's my treat today." "Oh, okay." Lin Jian's eyes and attitude made Zhao Qingsu feel very uncomfortable, but his actions were not too out of line, so she didn't say anything. After ordering the dishes, they started chatting. Bo Ling asked first, "Qingsu, it's only been a year since you graduated from college. You won't tell me that you're already married, right?" Talking about her marriage, Zhao Qingsu was very happy. She held Su Yuan's hand under the table and said, "Yes, I got married some time ago." "Qingsu, you are so mean. You didn't even invite us to the wedding. Aren't we worthy of being your bridesmaids?" Zhu Zhizhai also looked at her with some anger. Zhao Qingsu smiled and said, "We just got the marriage certificate, but we haven't held the wedding yet." "Oh, nowadays, people usually get married first and then get the marriage certificate. How can you get the marriage certificate first and not have a wedding?" Upon hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Bo Ling immediately gave Lin Jian a look that said, "Look at me," and then pretended to be innocent and asked, "Is it because you don't have enough money for the wedding?" "Well, if you are getting married, you must have a wedding. Even if you don't have enough money, you can borrow it from us. When the time comes, won't you pay us back after collecting the gift money?" Zhu Zhizhai also quickly added fuel to the fire. "Yes, women get married without a wedding. This is too disrespectful to women." The two had already observed this when Zhao Qingsu introduced Su Yuan as her husband. Although what Su Yuan wore were not cheap goods worth dozens of yuan, they were just cheap casual brands from China, and each piece of clothing did not cost more than 1,000 yuan. "I wore this kind of clothes when attending a class reunion with my wife. There was definitely nothing better to wear." In addition, the bag in Zhao Qingsu's hand was an unknown brand, and it definitely didn't cost more than 500 yuan. The two of them definitely didn't live a very comfortable life. No matter how naive Zhao Qingsu was, she could hear the unfriendly tone towards Su Yuan in Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai's words. She was about to frown and say something, but Li Hao next to her spoke first. "You two don't have boyfriends yet, right?" "That's right, we are still single and haven't met anyone suitable." Compared to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, Li Hao was dressed much more decently and was also considered a handsome guy. Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai had a good impression of him. When they heard Li Hao asking them if they had boyfriends, they both rushed to answer no. Chapter 48. Wearing clothes worth hundreds of dollars and buying a watch worth hundreds of thousands of dollars for my brother-in-law. "You're already this old, but you don't even have a boyfriend. Aren't you women such a failure?" But Li Hao's next words made the two people's faces change drastically. However, Li Hao seemed to not notice their expressions and continued, "I tell you, the older a woman gets, the less valuable she is. Look, my sister is so beautiful, but she was married to my brother-in-law at a very early age. What are you waiting for? Do you want to wait until you are 30 or 40 years old and become an old woman to find a boyfriend? Then you can only find an old widower." How can you talk like that?" Bo Ling was so angry that he slammed the table and stood up, his chest heaving violently with anger. Lin Jian, who was standing next to her, saw that something was wrong and quickly pulled her to sit down. "Isn't he Qingsu's brother? He is still young and doesn't know much. You shouldn't bother with him. You are young. Just because you are young, you can say whatever you want." Although he sat back down, Bo Ling was still very angry, but Li Hao didn't care at all. I was wondering why you and my sister are classmates, but you look several years older than her. It turns out you just like to get angry. You. Seeing that, Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai stood up and were about to hit someone. Zhao Qingsu over there quickly stood up to stop Li Hao from talking nonsense. She glared at Li Hao and said, "Just sit there and eat your meal. Why are you talking so much?" "Yes, sister tilde tilde." In order to get a free meal, Li Hao kept his mouth shut out of Zhao Qingsu's face. Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai over there also calmed down after being comforted by Lin Jian. However, although they were calm, they had no intention of stopping. They directly transferred the anger they had just received from Li Hao to Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan over there, who made them, as an elder sister and brother-in-law, fail to discipline their younger brother properly. "Qingsu, you were the best student in our class back then, so you should be doing well now, right?" Bo Ling smiled and said, "People like me and Zhizhai who are not good at studying can only go to a university abroad. Now there are many overseas returnees. We don't have much future, so we can only be white-collar workers." "I don't have a job right now," Zhao Qingsu answered calmly. Looking at Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai, she felt they were very strange. They were completely different from what she remembered. When she was in high school, she rarely heard the two of them talking so harshly, but now. "You don't have a job, then you're a housewife tilde tilde." Zhu Zhizhai took over the conversation. "Is your husband very capable? Where does he work?" "I worked for a small company and was fired a while ago." Su Yuan didn't have a good impression of Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai, so he said indifferently. Before the two of them could start to mock him, he stretched out his voice again. "So now I can only make investments. Fortunately, there are returns." Puff tilde tilde. After hearing what Su Yuan said, Bai Ling laughed exaggeratedly. "Qingsu, is your husband good at bragging? How many people who invest nowadays are making money? I think you should quickly persuade him to go out and find a job." Zhu Zhizhai also nodded. "Yes, it's more reliable to find a job. Speaking of work, I really envy Brother Jian. You don't know how popular Brother Jian is now. Several Fortune 500 companies have extended olive branches to him and asked him to be a project manager. As long as he agrees to a company, he will get 500,000 a year." "Don't say that. I feel embarrassed. 500,000 is not a lot." When Lin Jian heard what Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai said, he pushed up his glasses and said modestly, "Speaking of work, I have been working on starting a business recently. Didn't I make 2 million by investing when I was studying in the United States? Now we plan to invest all of the 2 million into the project that I think is the most promising at the moment. If the returns are good, it will be no problem to make several million a year." "Several million a year? Brother Jian, you are too good, aren't you?" Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai really didn't know about this, so when they heard him say this, they admired him so much. "Brother Jian, why don't you take us with you? We also want to earn some pocket money." "No problem, we are all classmates. I will help you make connections when the time comes." Lin Jian nodded with a smile and looked at Zhao Qingsu. "Qingsu, didn't your husband just say that he was also investing? Why don't you join me? I guarantee that this is a project that will only make money and not lose money." "How can I do that? I'd better not do that." Zhao Qingsu shook her head and held Su Yuan's hand even closer. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's straightforward refusal, Bo Ling sneered. "What are you pretending for? You're not happy when others take you with them. You're really good at pretending." "Yes, I have seen what it means to be so stubborn that you would rather suffer than accept the money that falls from the sky." Zhu Zhizhai continued to join in the conversation. After the two of them sang the same tune for a long time, Bai Ling seemed to suddenly understand something. She looked at Zhao Qingsu and said, "Qingsu, you just said that you and your husband are unemployed now, right? Is the reason why you don't invest because you don't have money?" Lin Jian also felt that what Bai Ling said made sense. He still smiled and looked at Zhao Qingsu. "Qingsu, if your husband doesn't have money to invest, it doesn't matter. I will definitely be short of people in the company by then. You can ask him to come to work then. We are all old classmates and I won't treat him unfairly." These words almost make Su Yuan worthless. Even someone as good-tempered as Zhao Qingsu wanted to slam the table and curse. But after all, they were old classmates, so she really couldn't bring herself to do it. Su Yuan didn't really care about this kind of thing. He just said calmly, "I appreciate your kindness, but the money I invested is enough for me to spend, so I don't need to go to work for the time being." "Brother-in-law, don't say that." However, just as Su Yuan finished speaking, Li Hao, who had been eating silently beside him, suddenly spoke up. Su Yuan raised his eyebrows and looked at him. Li Hao was not a quiet person. If he opened his mouth, Lin Jian and the other two would probably be wiped out. Under Su Yuan's gaze, Li Hao calmly rolled up his sleeves, revealing the 18K rose gold classic watch on his wrist. I don't like the watch you bought me last month. How about you buy me a new one? I like the mechanical watch in the Sports Elegance series. It's not expensive, just over 700,000. Did your brother-in-law buy this for you? Looking at the Patek Philippe 18K rose gold classic watch on Su Yuan's wrist, Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were both very surprised. This watch starts at least 200,000, wearing clothes worth hundreds of dollars, and buying such an expensive watch for your younger brother. Chapter 49, Brother-in-Law, Don't Break Your Promise. In fact, Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were really wronging Su Yuan by always looking at him with clothes. First of all, he doesn't have much pursuit for the brand of clothes. He just thinks that what he wears is comfortable. Although these domestic casual brands are not expensive, with each piece costing around 500 yuan, they are made of solid materials, have exquisite workmanship, good styles, and are very comfortable to wear. Secondly, this dress was bought by him when he cleared the shopping cart for Zhao Qingsu some time ago. It can be considered as clothes bought by his wife, and it is also a gift from Zhao Qingsu. Although people will definitely engage in retaliatory consumption behaviors once they have money, for Su Yuan, his only retaliatory consumption behaviors were all spent on Zhao Qingsu, and he did not have much pursuit for himself. When Su Yuan saw Li Hao pretending to be stupid, he could only cooperate and said, "Okay, I'll buy it for you later." Brother-in-law, don't break your promise, tilde. Li Hao was in a particularly good mood when he saw that he had received the watch from Su Yuan. After saying that, he turned his head and looked at Lin Jian over there. "Didn't you ask my brother-in-law to go to work? I actually think my brother-in-law is too idle at home. When he's idle, he tends to spend money recklessly. Just last week, he spent tens of millions to buy a farmhouse for my sister. He doesn't do business, and the two of them eat barbecue in the farmhouse. Don't you think he's a spendthrift?" After he finished speaking, he began to complain to Su Yuan. "Brother-in-law, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but can you save some money? Do you know that the money you spend will take someone else more than 10 years to earn back by running a company?" Li Hao's words made Lin Jian look very embarrassed, and he could only smile awkwardly. But at the same time, he was very confused in his heart. Is this true or false? And you too, being white-collar workers in a company is so boring. You have to do repetitive work and sit in front of a computer every day. It's easy to get old and fat, and you don't make much money. Li Hao stuffed a scallop into his mouth and said to Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai in a vague voice, "Why don't you go to the farmhouse my brother-in-law bought and farm for him? I'll pay you 15,000 yuan a month, 2 days off a week, no overtime, full holiday benefits, bereavement leave, and maternity leave. Isn't this a good treatment?" Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai looked at each other with unpleasant expressions, and their faces had become extremely ugly. Hiccup tilde. Seeing that they were almost done eating, Li Hao stood up and said, "Sister, brother-in-law, I'm full. Are you full?" "I'm full, let's go." The purpose of the class reunion was to reminisce about the past, but Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were speaking in sarcastic terms, and Lin Jian had ulterior motives, so Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan no longer had the heart to eat here. When they heard what Li Hao said, they stood up and prepared to leave. "I'll take you there." After being scolded by Li Hao, Lin Jian, Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai all looked very ugly. Seeing that Zhao Qingsu and the other two were about to leave, Lin Jian suddenly stood up as well. Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai, like the worms in his stomach, immediately understood what he meant and stood up as well. Isn't it very simple to see whether what Li Hao said just now is true or false? Just follow and see what car Su Yuan and the others are driving and you'll know. If he came here by taxi or was driving a junky car worth tens of thousands of dollars, then there was no doubt that what Li Hao said just now was just bragging. The Patek Philippe watch on his hand is probably fake too. However, if it was a luxury car worth millions, then what he said might really be true. I think you don't need to send it. After leaving old Jiangnan, Su Yuan looked at the suspicious eyes of Lin Jian and the others. He was too lazy to argue with them. "I plan to buy a bag for my wife before I go back." "Buying a bag? That's great. Take us with you. We can help you with some advice." Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai couldn't wait to prove that what Li Hao said just now was bragging. Originally, they were a little nervous when they followed Su Yuan out of old Jiangnan, fearing that Su Yuan was really awesome and could drive a luxury car worth millions. But they didn't expect that he would suddenly propose to buy a bag for Zhao Qingsu. This is simply seeing through their thoughts. They are looking for an excuse to run away. How could they let Su Yuan get away? You want to leave just because you're pretending to be cool? No way. You have to follow me when you buy a bag. Are you sick? Su Yuan looked at Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai with a bit of sarcasm in his eyes. He also roughly guessed what Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were thinking, but he really just wanted to buy a bag for Zhao Qingsu. Although he had emptied the shopping cart for Zhao Qingsu before, there were several bags in the cart, but they were only worth a few thousand or a few hundred yuan, nothing particularly expensive. Seeing that Bai Ling was carrying Chanel bags, he felt that he should buy a better bag for Zhao Qingsu. What's wrong? Are you going to change your mind and not buy the bag? Seeing Su Yuan hesitated for a moment, Zhu Zhizhai next to him quickly said sarcastically, "You are just pretending. Let's go." Ignoring Zhu Zhizhai, Su Yuan directly took Zhao Qingsu to the nearby Hermes store. "Welcome, what would you like to order?" I saw a group of people walking in, all dressed quite decently, and immediately several shop assistants came over to greet them with a smile. Zhao Qingsu, who came to look at the bags, hadn't even spoken yet, but Bo Ling said, "My classmate wants to buy a few bags tilde. After saying that, he pointed at Zhao Qingsu. "Is that so?" The clerk also looked towards Zhao Qingsu and asked gently, "Miss, do you have any styles you like? I can show them to you." Let me just take a look first." Zhao Qingsu looked at the expensive bags in the cupboard. Although she knew that Su Yuan was rich, she still couldn't bring herself to buy anything. She also felt that there was no need to pick out an expensive bag just to show off in front of her classmates. That would be too childish. What's so good about it? All the bags here are beautiful, just take whichever one you like. Anyway, your husband is so rich that he can buy you a lot of bags at will. Can't he afford a few bags? Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai on the side saw Zhao Qingsu hesitating and covered their mouths and laughed. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's hesitation, Lin Jian seemed to understand something. He pushed his gold-rimmed glasses on the bridge of his nose and said to Zhao Qingsu, "Qingsu, it's okay. If you like any bag, I'll buy it for you. Brother Jian, we want it too tilde." Seeing Lin Jian being so generous, Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai couldn't help but speak up even though they knew it was impossible. A celebrity once said, "I know more than one woman who would kill for a Birkin bag. If it's a crocodile Birkin, it's enough to start a massacre." As the top luxury item among bags, some people would even kill for an Hermes bag, not to mention just being shameless. Chapter 50, I bought them all and went home to pick them slowly. Then I'll give each of you a picotin lock. Both Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai spoke. If it were a normal situation, Lin Jian would just laugh it off. But now in front of Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan, he didn't want to lose face, so he generously picked out 2 bags to give to Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai. "Really, that's great tilde. Brother Jian is so generous." The two of them didn't expect that Lin Jian was really willing to give them bags. They were immediately filled with joy, as if they had won some prize. But in fact, Picotin Lock, as a bucket bag of Hermes, is just a basic entry-level model of Hermes, and its price is just over 10,000 yuan. Even if you give one to 2 people, it will only be more than 20,000 yuan. However, they usually couldn't afford to buy this entry-level bag, so they were extremely happy after getting it and started to flatter Lin Jian. Lin Jian felt very comfortable being flattered by the two, and he looked at Zhao Qingsu elegantly. "Qingsu, don't hesitate, pick one too." "But I really don't know which one to buy." Zhao Qingsu was a little hesitant and wanted to leave, mainly because she felt that shopping was a very happy thing. In today's atmosphere, she was in no mood to buy anything. Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai, who had just received the Picotin lock, held the bags and gestured at themselves, mockingly said, "Qingsu, don't act like an unworldly person, okay? It's normal for rich people to give each other bags casually. Don't feel embarrassed. Brother Jian said he bought them for you, so just pick one." The meaning of their words was very clear. They were saying that Zhao Qingsu couldn't afford it but was still pretending. "You really don't know which one to buy." Su Yuan looked at Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai with some disgust and went straight to the counter with his arm around Zhao Qingsu's waist. The clerk at the counter was very enthusiastic. "Hello, how can I help you?" "Oh, my wife doesn't know which one to choose. Please give me one of the bags in your store. I'll let her go back and choose slowly." Forehead. Probably because it was the first time she heard such a request, the clerk was shocked by Su Yuan's words. She didn't believe what she heard and repeated it again to confirm. "Did you just say that you want one of all the bags in the store?" Su Yuan nodded. "Yes, if some bags have many colors, then I need one for all the colors." "Ah, okay, but it will take some time. Can you and yours wait over there for a while?" When the clerk heard that what Su Yuan said was true, he quickly lowered his head and asked the other clerks to start packing. Then he stood at the counter and settled the bill. "This is an important customer. We must not neglect him." The store suddenly became busy. On the other side, looking at this scene, Bai Ling, Zhu Zhizhai, and Lin Jian were all stunned. Lin Jian widened his eyes and looked in disbelief at Su Yuan, who was sitting on a soft stool with his arms around Zhao Qingsu to rest. He couldn't believe that what he heard was true. "Want one of every bag in the store. Hermes bags are luxury goods among bags. Even the basic entry-level Picotin lock costs 10,000 yuan each, not to mention the crocodile Birkin that costs hundreds of thousands or even millions of yuan. If you want a loaf of bread like in the store, wouldn't it cost several million? Millions just to buy a bag? Bo Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were even more ashamed. Zhao Qingsu's husband bought her a bag and bought one of every bag in the store without blinking an eye. But what about them? They were so happy for a basic entry-level Picotin lock. This not only shows that they are very unworldly, but also that they are very poor. When I thought of what they had just said to Zhao Qingsu, I felt a burning pain on my face. Not only that, they now feel crazy envious and jealous in their hearts. If you want to buy all the Hermes bags, you would have to buy hundreds of bags. What's the difference between that and buying the entire store? It's the dream of almost every woman to have so many bags, and to be able to buy any one of them and carry it any day. It's okay to always see the daughters of wealthy people sharing their wardrobes on the platform. After all, who can blame them for being lucky enough to be born with a silver spoon in their mouth? But when they thought about how Zhao Qingsu, who started at a similar point to them, got this treatment, they were really jealous. However, they can only feel jealous and can't do anything. What? Hello, sir. There are a total of 112 bags here, with a total value of 25 million. It took about 20 minutes for the clerk there to pack all the bags. Upon hearing the price, Zhao Qingsu's heart ached so much that it felt like bleeding, but she couldn't say anything to avoid offending Su Yuan, so she could only accept it with reluctance. Su Yuan took out his bank card directly. Ding! Congratulations to the host for donating 25 million to his wife Zhao Qinghua and getting a tenfold rebate of 250 million. It has been deposited into your account balance. Please check it. Ding! Congratulations to the host for donating 25 million to his wife Zhao Qinghua, triggering a lucky rebate of 1 Venus building. Please check it out. Unexpectedly, this time the system directly gave a building, which also surprised Su Yuan. Venus Building, the name sounds so familiar. Because he didn't have time to read the introduction of the Venus Building carefully, Su Yuan didn't pay much attention to it. He turned around and told the clerk to deliver the bag directly to the large flat in the Delan residence in Pudong, and then he was about to turn around and leave. But when he turned around, he found that Li Hao had disappeared at some point. Also missing were his LaFerrari car keys. He was just wondering if Li Hao was driving his car to pick up beautiful girls on the street, when he heard a slight exclamation coming from the door. Wow, it's Rafa tilde. At the same time, Lin Jian and others standing nearby also noticed Rafa appearing at the door. For some reason, after they saw Rafa stopped at the door, they subconsciously looked towards Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Su Yuan didn't bother to pay attention to them and walked straight towards Rafa at the door. But Zhao Qingsu still politely turned around and said goodbye to a few people. Sorry, I've already bought the bags, so I'm leaving first. You guys take your time shopping. Seeing Li Hao jump down from the LaFerrari and give the car keys to Su Yuan, and then walk away with another car key, Bai Ling and Zhu Zhizhai were so shocked that they were frozen in place and could hardly think. Only Lin Jian's face looked as ugly as the bottom of a pot. He clenched his fists and looked at Rafa in shock. What exactly is Su Yuan's identity? How can I afford to drive a Lafayette? Chapter 51, those who don't like to watch can leave. My wife can say whatever she wants. The class reunion was just a small episode, although Zhao Qingsu lamented that the friendship between her former classmates had become worthless. But anyway, they are just old high school classmates, and there is a high probability that we will not have any interactions in the future, so I just forgot about it after I went home. Zuer, your beauty videos are very detailed. It would be even better if you could do a live broadcast and answer questions while you put on makeup. As soon as Zhao Qingsu opened Bilibili, she received countless videos urging her to update her works. Some of them even asked her to do live broadcasts. In fact, she really wants to try live streaming, but because she is introverted and doesn't know how to interact with the comments, she just thinks about it. Su Yuan could see what she was thinking and asked with a smile, "Are you really not going to try live streaming?" To be honest, Su Yuan felt that Zhao Qingsu's appearance was the type with good skin and bones, and she was very photogenic. And there is no blind spot at 360 degrees. Others have to fix their hairstyle and choose the angle before live streaming, but she can just start live streaming without putting on makeup after waking up. With such good conditions, it would be a shame not to do live broadcast. But I don't know how to interact with them. What if I say the wrong thing? It was fine to shoot videos, but Zhao Qingsu had no confidence in the live camera in front of her. Little fool, the live broadcast room is your home court. You can say whatever you want. Even if you say the wrong thing, it doesn't matter. If you don't like it, tell them to go away. My wife can say whatever she wants, tilde tilde. Then give it a try. After hesitating for a long time, Zhao Qingsu decided to give it a try under Su Yuan's encouragement. She quickly prepared the equipment for the live broadcast and sat upright on the sofa in the living room, as if she was going to carry out some mission, her face extremely serious. Su Yuan suppressed his laughter and said, "I'm going to start the live broadcast." "Don't." At the critical moment, Zhao Qingsu still got scared and reached out to grab the camera from Su Yuan's hand. But Su Yuan whispered, "I've already opened it tilde tilde. Hello everyone, my name is Zhao. I am Zuer. Welcome everyone to my live broadcast room to learn beauty tips. If you have any questions, remember to interact with me in the barrage in time. I will answer them one by one tilde tilde." When Zhao Qingsu heard that the camera was filming her, she seemed like a different person. Su Yuan made a cheering gesture to her. "I see that everyone is very interested in the Tang Dynasty makeup I did recently. Today I will teach you how to do a Tang Dynasty makeup that suits you tilde tilde." After all, it was her first live broadcast. Even though Zhao Qingsu had a lot of filming experience, she was still a little nervous in front of the camera. So she was a little flustered when putting on makeup, and sometimes she couldn't even find what she wanted. Su Yuan found it and handed it to her. "Wow, Zuer, you are even prettier when you are live than in the video tilde tilde. I feel that Zuer's looks are definitely in the top 3 in this little shabby station. Whose hand is this? I want to lick it." There are more and more people in the live broadcast room, and only a few ask about makeup tips. Instead, the majority of people lick Zhao Qingsu's face and covet Su Yuan's hands. This made Zhao Qingsu feel helpless. Hey, I'm a serious beauty makeup blogger. I know. Didn't I come here to learn from you how to grow 360 degrees without any blind spots? Brain, I know it, hands, bullshit. Zuer, stop wasting your youth in the live broadcast room. Make your debut, or I'll eat shit if you're not popular. As a new anchor, she has no conflicts of interest with others, so there are no haters in Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast room, and the atmosphere is still very harmonious. Zhao Qingsu also became more and more relaxed, chatting with the barrage while putting on makeup. Ding-donged. However, the doorbell suddenly rang. Su Yuan thought it was Li Hao coming down from the building again. When he opened the door, he found that it was a Hermes staff member. "Hello, Mr. Yuan. This is the bag you ordered in our store this afternoon tilde tilde." 7 or 8 staff members were standing at the door, each holding a cardboard box in their hands, looking at Su Yuan respectfully. Su Yuan stepped aside and pointed to the cloakroom. "Well, put all your bags in that room." "Okay, Mr. Yuan tilde tilde." Several people carefully put the cardboard boxes into the cloakroom one by one in an orderly manner. They moved them back and forth 3 times before they finished moving them. Because Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast camera was facing the cloakroom, the scene of the Hermes staff carrying the bags into the room was clearly seen by the fans in the live broadcast room. Many fans in the live broadcast room were very curious about what Zhao Qingsu bought. Zhao Qingsu hesitated for a moment. Actually, it's nothing, just some bags. A few large boxes of bags, that's all. Really, Versailles. Zuer, what bag did you buy? Show us tilde tilde. This. Originally, Zhao Qingsu didn't want to show it to the people in the live broadcast room, but she was easily influenced and couldn't stand the repeated requests from the people on the barrage. After hesitating for a long time, she reluctantly agreed. Holding the camera, I pushed open the door of the cloakroom. In the cloakroom of nearly 40 square meters, apart from 2 huge solid wooden wardrobes, there were various shelves. At the door, there was a box that Hermes had just delivered. "Zuer, is your family so rich? This cloakroom is as big as our living room." What the hell am I seeing right? There seems to be the Hermes logo on this cardboard box. Impossible. Zuer just said that the box contained a bag. If it was an Hermes bag, how much would it cost? Zhao Qingsu was reading the comments while opening the box. After seeing the comments, she paused, took out a Hermes platinum bag with outer packaging from the box, and introduced it in a low voice. The bags in here are indeed Hermes." "Oh my God, Zuer, what kind of family do you have? More than a dozen boxes of Hermes? Is this fake? Zuer, tell me if you are making fakes." Zuer turns out to be a wealthy woman. No wonder she doesn't usually accept advertisements. "It's not fake tilde tilde." Good-temperedly taking bags out of the cartons one by one and hanging them on the rack in the cloakroom, Zhao Qingsu said with a smile, "I am just an ordinary family." "Ordinary family? Zuer, when you say this, does your conscience hurt?" "Really?" Zhao Qingsu was very depressed when she saw that no one believed her. "I can't bear to buy such an expensive bag. My husband bought them for me. He wanted to buy me a bag, but I didn't know which one to buy, so he said he would buy me one of all the styles and told me to take my time to choose when I get home. Chapter 52. Buying this farmhouse is mainly for fun. Is it okay to buy them all and take them home to choose from? Please give me a dozen husbands like this, thank you. Refuse to trick dogs into coming here and killing them. Protecting animals is everyone's responsibility. Because she is a beauty makeup influencer, most of the people who watch Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast are girls. Looking at the dozen or so large boxes of bags in the camera, I was drooling with envy and wished I could become Zhao Qingsu on the spot. Although feminism is prevalent on the internet now and women are encouraged to be independent and strong, it is also a helpless move. If possible, who doesn't want to be spoiled like a little princess by her husband? Because of the Hermes bag, Zhao Qingsu gained a lot of fans during this live broadcast. The part where she put on Tang Dynasty makeup, an unboxed and Hermes bag was captured by someone and made into a short video, which received tens of thousands of likes. Although the reason for her popularity seemed to be off track, Zhao Qingsu was very happy to be able to interact with fans in the live broadcast room every day and see her fans increasing in number, directly breaking through 100,000. Come on, honey, let's go to the farmhouse and check out the trees. They should be almost grown. After calculating the time, the seeds given by the system should grow after being applied with accelerated fertilizers. It's only been a few days. It can't possibly grow tilde. Although she said that, seeing that Su Yuan was very expectant, Zhao Qingsu still obediently followed him to the farmhouse. Unexpected things happen all the time. Halfway through the journey, it suddenly started to rain heavily. When the two finally arrived at the entrance of the farmhouse, they found that there were already 3 cars parked at the door. Moreover, they are all luxury cars. They are Maybach S680, Rolls-Royce Ghost, and Land Rover. Although these 3 cars are not top luxury cars, they are also affordable for ordinary people. It seems like a group of rich second generations have come to the farmhouse. The owner of this farmhouse is really something. Why doesn't he just open it? No wonder the reviews on the app are so bad. While Su Yuan was looking at the few people, the 3 men and 3 women standing under the eaves of the farmhouse were constantly complaining. A few people came out to play in the suburbs this time, but who knew it would rain heavily halfway through the journey? The road condition was bad, the destination was a bit far away, and they were tired and hungry. They found a farmhouse nearby and came over, but they had no idea that the farmhouse was closed, so they made a wasted trip. Now they are standing at the door of the farmhouse, full of anger. Stop complaining. It seems we're not the only ones who are unlucky. Seeing a red Ferrari, LaFerrari, driving out of the rain, one of them also laughed. The other people also looked at the LaFerrari in surprise. A convertible LaFerrari. We in the demon world have never heard of one. Most people only know that LaFerrari is very expensive, with a price tag of tens of millions. Some know that there are only 499 units of LaFerrari worldwide, but only the rich second generation like them, who specialize in playing with cars, know how rare Su Yuan's convertible LaFerrari is. LaFerrari is Ferrari's flagship model. In addition to the regular model launched earlier, a soft convertible model was also launched later, but it is limited to 29 units worldwide. Only 3 places were allocated in the country, and they were all snatched away by a luxury car tycoon in the capital. They never expected that they would be able to see it here. And it's a Magic City license. The person who came here might be a super boss. One of the men dressed in hip-hop style muttered to himself. The girl next to him was still looking at Rafa. When she heard him say that, she immediately asked, "Mr. He, is it that exaggerated?" "You know shit." He Xiao glanced at the girl unhappily. "It's useless to tell you anyway, but you better remember this. When someone comes later, be polite to them and don't be rude. If you offend someone like this, I can't protect you." While they were talking, Rafa had already stopped at the door of the farmhouse. "Be careful, don't get wet in the rain, tilde. The car door opened. Su Yuan helped Zhao Qingsu get out of the car. Then he hugged her and came to the eaves at the entrance of the farmhouse. "What are you doing here, hiding from the rain?" Because He Xiao and the others did not expect that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu who came down from Rafa were so young and good-looking. They were stunned for a moment and forgot to say hello, which allowed Su Yuan to speak first. I guess. I wanted to stop by for a meal, but the store was closed." He Xiao was the first to answer Su Yuan's words. Su Yuan took out the key from his pocket and said, "Oh, I just bought this place not long ago and haven't had time to recruit staff yet, so there is no food, but the ingredients and kitchen utensils are complete. If you want to eat, you can cook it yourself." When they heard that Su Yuan was the owner of this farmhouse, they were shocked for a moment, then nodded happily. No problem, it's good to have a place to eat now. Then come in. Su Yuan opened the door and invited a few people in. Several people walked along the solid wooden corridor at the door all the way to the cabin. Along the way, they could see lush flowers and trees in the farmhouse, full of greenery and a very good environment. This made He Xiao stunned for a moment. He moved closer to Su Yuan and asked carefully, "What's your name, brother?" "Su Yuan. My name is He Yun. You are from Shanghai, right? I don't even know you. Nice to meet you, tilde tilde." It can be seen that He Yun is particularly interested in Su Yuan. He was very humble when speaking, as if he wanted to get to know Su Yuan. Su Yuan is also an easygoing person. "I am usually a low-key person, so it is normal that I don't know him. He, don't tell me, it's really true. Nowadays, the more powerful the boss is, the more low-key he is, tilde tilde." Seeing that Su Yuan spoke casually, but with a bit of nonchalance, He Yun became even more cautious in his attitude towards him. Among these people, He Yun was obviously the leader. Seeing He Yun's attitude, the others also became very respectful to Su Yuan. Su Yuan didn't think there was anything wrong and pointed in the direction of the kitchen. "If you want to eat, go over there and make it yourself. You can use whatever ingredients you want." "Okay, Master Yuan." He Yun asked the other people to cook, and he leaned in front of Su Yuan to talk. "Master Yuan, your place is simply a pearl covered in dust. Why don't you run such a good place well? You will definitely make a lot of money." "I don't care whether I make money or not. I bought this place just to plant some trees and stuff. I just want to have fun." Su Yuan tapped his fingers on the railing a few times, looking at the heavy rain with some worry. He didn't know if the trees given by the system would be affected by the rain. "P.S. Please give me a 5-star review. Please urge me to update more, and please give me a gift. Even a free gift is fine." Chapter 53. As long as you believe in me, I will be your almighty husband. Fortunately, the heavy rain came and went quickly. It only rained for an hour, and before He Yun's people had even finished their meal, the rain had stopped. Su Yuan pulled Zhao Qingsu over on the gravel road. He Yun and 2 other men and women who couldn't cook also followed them, saying that the environment here was good and they wanted to take a walk around. "Be careful or I'll carry you." The road was slippery due to the rain and it was a gravel road. Su Yuan was afraid that Zhao Qingsu would fall. He still felt uneasy holding her hand, so he squatted down and planned to carry her on his back. Seeing 3 pairs of eyes staring at her, Zhao Qingsu became too shy to let Su Yuan carry her on her back and pushed him several times. "Sister-in-law, young Master Yuan is so good to you, tilde tilde." The girl following He Yun looked less than 20 years old and was filled with envy when she saw this scene. Zhao Qingsu smiled and said, "It's not bad. Hey, sister-in-law, don't be so modest. This is the first time I've met such a considerate person. I thought such people only appeared in TV dramas." The girl approached Zhao Qingsu affectionately, blinked at her, and whispered, "If you have time later, sister-in-law, please teach me how to control my husband, tilde tilde." Zhao Qingsu was somewhat confused by the girl's words. What is the way to control a husband? That's right, how can we make a man like Master Yuan? Zhao Qingsu thought back on the details of her interactions with Su Yuan. It seemed like a very normal and natural thing, with the 2 of them joking and playing around together. There weren't any special techniques, right? The little girl is just a bunch of frivolous people who don't learn their lessons all the time. Su Yuan heard the conversation between the 2 and couldn't help but complain. "Do you think all men are fools? I can't tell what you are up to." "Oh, I'm just asking." The little girl felt quite aggrieved after being criticized. He Yun next to her frowned and looked at her. "How do you talk to Master Yuan?" He said, "Just accept it humbly. What's the attitude?" "I'm sorry, I was wrong." The little girl stuck out her tongue and quickly apologized. "Wow, this is an orchard." As they were talking, they had already walked to the side of the pond. The pond, which had just rained, was full of swaying lotus flowers in various postures. The lotus leaves were also very lush, and many lotus pods had their heads poking out. Behind the pond are various lush fruit trees, including apple, crabapple, hawthorn, and cherry. The green branches and leaves are full of fruits, which are particularly tempting after being washed by rain. He Yun also looked towards the fruit trees. To be honest, he had been to ecological parks or orchards where he could pick his own fruit. But the fruit trees here in Su Yuan are a little different. The fruits on the trees not only look very full, but also have brighter colors, especially the cherries, which look like rubies. He swallowed subconsciously, turned to Su Yuan and asked, "Master Yuan, can I pick the fruits here and eat them?" "Of course you can, but the price is not cheap, so you can decide for yourself. The fruits of these trees all have special effects, and Su Yuan does not intend to sell them at a low price." Hearing Su Yuan's words, He Yun immediately laughed. Master Yuan, don't worry, I will definitely not let you down with your money. Just tell me how much per pound it costs. 300 or 500 is no problem. He Yun had taken people to an orchard to pick cherries before. He remembered that they could eat them for free in the orchard, but if they wanted to take them out, it would cost about 90 yuan per pound. Therefore, he naturally thought that the things here in Su Yuan were not that expensive. Su Yuan shook his finger and said, I sell everything by piece, not by kilogram. Hey, that's interesting. How much is an apple? He Yun asked with a smile. He had already walked to the apple tree and started picking the apples he liked. Su Yuan stretched out 5 fingers. 51. It's a little expensive, but I can accept it. It's hard to tell what variety this apple is, but its price is almost as high as those imported high-end products. He Yun picked 2 and threw them to the man and woman next to him. You too, try the apples here. How do you think they taste? It's not 51, it's 50,001. However, just when He Yun reached out to pick the 3rd apple, Su Yuan's words almost made He Yun's hand cramp. He turned around, thinking he had misheard. Master Yuan, how much do you want for one? 50,000. A man and a woman who were eating apples nearby were also stunned. They were completely like frightened little hamsters. They forgot to chew the apples in their mouths and just held them in their mouths. They couldn't swallow them or spit them out. They were not hallucinating, so they heard it clearly that the apple was indeed 50,000 yuan each. Damn, even if it's a golden apple, it can't be sold so expensively. Isn't this a scam? Well, eating one of these apples can help you lose up to 10 pounds, depending on your individual situation. Su Yuan had already guessed that they would react in this way, and he remained calm. I know you don't believe it. He Yun and the other 2 looked at each other. Isn't this just nonsense? No matter who comes to you and tells you that you can lose 10 pounds by eating an apple, you won't believe it. I cannot charge you money for now, and you can pay me after you see the effect. Anyway, these people are all wealthy second generations, so Su Yuan is not afraid that they cannot afford the money. He Yun was stunned by this. He looked at Su Yuan suspiciously. What if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, just consider it as my treat for you guys. Okay. Seeing that Su Yuan was so confident, He Yun readily agreed. After all, it was not that he couldn't afford the 50,000 yuan apple, but he just didn't want to waste money. After all, no one is a fool. But if it really works, it would be money well spent. He Yun gritted his teeth and picked one from the tree to eat. His heart ached as he ate it. 3 apples for 150,000. Enough for him to spend a night in the best nightclub in Shanghai. What? Yuan, tell me seriously, when did you transplant so many fruit trees here without telling me? That's fine, but you can't cheat me. You're selling apples for 50,000. Looking at the apples being eaten by He Yun and the other 2, not only did they feel distressed, but Zhao Qingsu on this side couldn't bear to watch it anymore. However, she always gave Su Yuan face and would never expose anything to his face. She would always talk to Su Yuan in private. Su Yuan pinched the girl's smooth face and asked, Does your husband look like a liar? The tree grew on its own, and eating apples really can help you lose weight. Gently leaning close to Zhao Qingsu's ear, Su Yuan laughed softly. I tell you, as long as you believe in me, I will be your omnipotent treasure husband. Chapter 54. Don't allow others to take advantage of you. Early in the morning, a miserable scream was heard from the farmhouse's wooden house, scaring the surrounding birds so much that they flapped their wings and began to flee. Zhao Qingsu, who was making breakfast for Su Yuan in the kitchen, was so frightened that her hands were shaking, and the spatula almost fell to the ground. So she walked towards the source of the sound with the spatula in hand. When she arrived, she found that the sound came from He Yun's room. Several people had gathered at the door of the room. He Yun came out of the room with disheveled hair, wearing only a pair of shorts, revealing his white belly. Everyone thought something had happened to him and was getting nervous, but then he pinched his belly and started shouting, My belly is gone! My belly is gone! A few people were confused. Isn't your belly just sitting there nice and healthy? The little girl who had followed He Yun before stared at He Yun's belly in surprise. Oh my God, you've lost a lot of weight. After hearing the little girl's reminder, several people began to observe He Yun. Before, He Yun was a plump little boy, and because of years of drinking, he had a beer belly at a young age. When I stand there in a t-shirt, my belly stands out. But now He Yun has not only lost weight, but his belly has also disappeared. What's going on, Mr. He? Were you hungry yesterday? I saw you ate quite a bit yesterday. Could it be that this place is a little unclean, so a female ghost appeared and sucked you dry? Oh my God, ghost girl, I like it. Upon hearing the word female ghost, a thin man rubbed his hands. The looks that several people gave him suddenly became more profound. I lost 3.5 pounds. I lost 2 pounds too. It was obvious that He Yun had lost weight, so the two of them who had eaten apples yesterday quickly weighed themselves. Since they were both thin to begin with, the effect was not very obvious. However, the thinner you are, the harder it is to lose weight. For a thin person, losing 2 kilograms is almost the same as for a fat person losing 10 kilograms. This apple is so amazing, 50,000 is worth it. For a rich second generation like He Yun who is lazy, likes to spend money on wine and women, and doesn't exercise, eating an apple to lose weight is a good deal, right? Even if it's 500,000 each, he doesn't think it's expensive. After all, to lose weight now you either have to exercise seriously and eat grass every day, or go for liposuction or something extreme, and it's painful no matter what you do. What do you mean 50,000 yuan for an apple? What are you talking about, Mr. He? Only 3 people knew about what happened with the apples yesterday, while the other 3 who were cooking in the kitchen were completely confused. He Yun also explained what happened yesterday. After hearing what He Yun said, several people immediately ran to the orchard. Even if they didn't want to eat such amazing apples, they still wanted to take a good look at them. It's effective, right? Su Yuan walked in yawning in his pajamas, and subconsciously walked behind Zhao Qingsu and put his arms around her waist. Yes, yes, yes. Master Yuan, your apples are really great. I want to buy a few more. No, I'll buy all the apples from the whole tree. After all, his family is in business, and He Yun's brain makes money quickly. Such an amazing apple, even if the price increases tenfold, there will always be people who want it. If he buys up all the apples from Su Yuan and then sells them, he could make a net profit of at least tens of millions, or even hundreds of millions. Although this may be a bit unethical, it is a fact that all businessmen are dishonest. You wish. Su Yuan saw through his thoughts at a glance. I forgot to tell you, you are not allowed to take the fruits from my orchard out to eat. Although the speed of making money from selling fruit was much slower than buying things for his wife, Su Yuan didn't expect to earn much money from it. But he also wouldn't let others take advantage of him. Ah, Master Yuan, don't be so cruel. The price is negotiable. 100,000 per piece is fine. How about 150,000? 200,000 is not out of the question. No matter how much price He Yun offered, Su Yuan had only one thing to say: I won't sell it. He could only hope to eat more here with resentment. What? These cherries look so tempting. Apples can help you lose weight, but what can cherries do? What species are these? Why have I never seen them before? A group of people gathered in the orchard, looking at the magical fruits on the trees with curiosity and shock. Although they know that with the continuous development of science and technology, there have been many innovations in the fruit field, and many new varieties have been hybridized. They were not people who had never seen the world. The fruits they ate every day were either imported or new domestic famous varieties. However, they had never seen anything like the ones in Su Yuan's orchard. Apples help you lose weight, cherries help you whiten your skin, crabapples help you stay young, hawthorns help you improve your eyesight, and lotus seeds help you get rid of freckles. Seeing several people gathered together, Su Yuan also walked over with his arm around Zhao Qingsu. So many effects. At first everyone thought that only apples had special effects, but they didn't expect that other fruits also had them. It's amazing. Can I take a picture and send it to Pic? Of course I have to take a picture of such a rare thing to show off. Otherwise it would be a waste of time. Su Yuan did not stop this. He made a gesture of invitation and went for a walk with Zhao Qingsu. An apple costs 50,000 yuan. A cherry costs 10,000 yuan. How can there be such expensive fruits? Are you being ripped off? I do believe that eating apples can help you lose weight, but those things like cherries for whitening, crabapples for skin rejuvenation, and lotus seeds for removing freckles are just too ridiculous, right? I think what you ate wasn't fruit, but Nanyun's mushrooms, right? You're hallucinating after eating so much. I originally thought I could show off by posting it on my moments, but I didn't expect that instead of showing off, I was ridiculed. This made a few people feel a little depressed, especially He Yun. He just can't stand being angry, especially when this group of people mock him in a roundabout way. You are eating mushrooms. Your whole family eats mushrooms. He took a picture of his belly and posted it. See, I lost weight by eating apples. It only took me one night. Please tell me what photo editing software you used, Mr. He. Yes, this software has edited everything without leaving any traces. He Yun took a deep breath and was so angry that he almost cursed, but he finally held back. Fuck, the chance to become thinner, prettier, and whiter is right in front of you. You only need 100,000 or 200,000 yuan to change happily. If you don't cherish it now, you probably won't be able to buy this opportunity even with 2 million yuan in the future. Just treat this circle of friends as a FLGA. Come back and read it in a few months. I'll wait for you to call me daddy. After sending the message, He Yun turned off his phone. What He Yun doesn't know now is that he is still wrong. He originally thought that it would take several months for these fruits to become known to everyone, but just 1 week later, he had hundreds more. Chapter 55, The Customer is God. Su Yuan, then should you go to heaven? Crack, crack. What's that sound? Holding Zhao Qingsu's little hand, the two of them took a leisurely stroll under the fruit trees. In addition to the fruit trees laden with fruits that were pleasing to the eyes, the air was also mixed with the sweet scent of berries. Seeing that there was no one around, Su Yuan originally planned to press Zhao Qingsu under the tree and take a few bites of her. But then he heard the sound of chewing fruit. He thought someone was breaking the rules and daring to eat here secretly. But when he walked towards the sound, he saw a large, dirty, yellow, hairy animal among the dead leaves at the base of the wall, chewing an apple. Is this a dog? If it weren't for the golden retriever's iconic shape and golden hair that were so easy to recognize, Zhao Qingsu wouldn't have dared to confirm that the thing in front of her was a dog, mainly because it's too dirty. The hair all over its body was tangled and stuck together, mixed with leaves, grass roots, and other things, making it look like a little monster. After discovering the two people, the golden retriever looked at them vigilantly, turned around and went to the back without looking back. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu then discovered that a hole had appeared next to the wall at some point. Judging from the freshness of the soil, it must have been dug by the dog. Awu awu. However, this golden retriever probably came in hungry, and its body became bigger after eating. As a result, when it tried to get out, its head went over, but its body was stuck in the middle of the hole. It cried anxiously, and its hind legs kept flapping there, looking pitiful. Zhao Qingsu actually likes pets very much. When she was in college, she told Su Yuan that she would get a cat or a dog after graduation. However, since both of them were busy with work after graduation and had no time to keep pets, the plan to keep pets had to be put on hold for the time being. Now that she saw the dog, she was also tempted. Don't be afraid, we won't hurt you, Tilda. Zhao Qingsu has some understanding of dogs like golden retrievers. They have a gentle personality and are not aggressive. Seeing that the big golden retriever was still struggling in the cave, she spoke softly. In fact, she just said this subconsciously and didn't expect the golden retriever to understand. Even though the golden retriever is ranked high in the IQ ranking of dogs, it is still just a dog. Many dogs that can understand their owners are not really smart, but just have a tacit understanding developed after being together for a long time. However, after hearing Zhao Qingsu's voice, the big golden retriever really stopped struggling. The originally anxious howling sound turned into a soft humming, sounding aggrieved. Su Yuan thought it was interesting. After hesitating for a moment, he asked Zhao Qingsu to stay where she was. He walked behind the dog, grabbed its legs, and pulled them back. I'll pull it out for you. HMPH tilde tilde HMPH tilde tilde. Soon, Su Yuan pulled out a dirty big dog with fresh soil like pulling a carrot. After it was pulled out, it lay down on the ground carefully, humming, and opened its big black and white eyes to observe the expressions of Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan. When he found that the two people didn't seem to dislike it, he began to swing his golden tail wildly like fallen leaves in the wind. Husband tilde tilde, keep. Before Zhao Qingsu could speak, Su Yuan stopped her and said, but you can't touch it now, it's too dirty. I'll take it to the pet store and clean it before giving it to you. Mua tilde tilde. Zhao Qingsu rarely took the initiative to hug Su Yuan's neck and nibble on it. My husband is so nice tilde tilde. Let's go. Su Yuan pulled Zhao Qingsu outside and waved to the golden retriever. Little monster, follow me. Awu. When the golden retriever saw that Su Yuan was willing to take it with him, it immediately followed happily. However, it seemed to know that it was too dirty, so it did not follow very closely. It always kept a certain distance and followed slowly behind the two of them. Zhao Qingsu kept looking back at it and liked it more and more. Honey, what should we name it? Since I found it, let's call it Jianjian. Isn't that too hasty? Zhao Qingsu pouted and tapped her head with her slender white fingers. Since it loves to eat fruit so much, why not call it Li Guo? Okay, I'll listen to my wife. Li Guo, come here quickly, tilde tilde. After walking to the cabin with Li Guo, a group of rich second generations were shocked when they saw such a dirty dog. Fortunately, Li Guo was very sensible. He didn't run or jump around, and he didn't even go in. He just lay quietly in the corner, his round eyes rolling around. Thinking about how Li Guo was so hungry that he was eating an apple today, Su Yuan thought for a moment, took a piece of steak from the refrigerator to thaw, and put it in a bowl for him. Li Guo probably hadn't eaten meat for a long time after wandering for so long. Looking at the meat in the bowl in front of him, his saliva was flowing all over the floor. However, to Su Yuan's surprise, It did not eat the meat in the bowl immediately, but kept using its nose to push the bowl towards Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, looking at them expectantly. Awu. Seeing that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu didn't move, he wagged his tail again. Zhao Qingsu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She squatted down and touched the big dog's head. Eat it yourself, we are full. Ouch tilde. As if he understood what Zhao Qingsu said, Li Gu lowered his head and began to eat the beef in the bowl in big mouthfuls. Hey, this dog is so smart. It doesn't look like a stray dog at all. The people around were all amazed after seeing Li Gu's behavior. A big dog like a golden retriever would turn red-eyed when seeing meat after being hungry for a few days. After all, no matter how docile it is, it cannot escape its biological instincts. But isn't this one too good? Master Yuan, how about letting me raise this dog? Seeing Li Gu's expression, He Yun came over and said, I'll buy it for 5,000. Go, 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 pack up and go home. I have to take the dog to the pet store now. I don't have time to run the farm stay. Su Yuan ignored He Yun, waved his hand and started to chase him away. He Yun and the others were all dumbfounded. Master Yuan, you are too willful, aren't you? You can just kick people out if you want to. Don't you know that customers are God? Then should you go to heaven? Having money and resources gives you the capital to be willful. Seeing Su Yuan like this, He Yun knew that he couldn't afford to offend him, so he could only tell people to pack up and leave. Su Yuan's pullover couldn't hold Li Gu, so he took Li Gu to a nearby pet shop. After a few interactions, they became familiar with each other and exchanged contact information. Before He Yun left, he waved enthusiastically to Su Yuan in the car. Master Yuan, I'll introduce you to guests when I have time. No, I'm not necessarily in the mood to open a store. Chapter 56, I am really Zuer's husband. After sending Li Gu to the pet shop and ordering a bath, deworming, vaccinations, and other services, Su Yuan asked the pet shop staff to send it back when the time came, and he drove back home. Zuer, it's time to show off your husband. Oh no, it's time for live broadcast. Play it fast, play it fast, play it fast. Zuer, can you do a daily makeup today? As soon as she got home, before she had time to start doing anything else, all kinds of urging messages kept ringing on Zhao Qingsu's phone. She had no choice but to prepare her things and start the live broadcast. Su Yuan had nothing to do, so he washed a basin of fruit he picked from the orchard and sat opposite her to eat it. He opened his mobile phone and went to Bilibili, registered an account, and followed Zhao Qingsu. Welcome Zuer's husband to the live broadcast room. This message quickly appeared in the lower left corner of the screen, and several people who saw it called it shameless. Ah, someone registered first. Stop it. I'll change my name to Zuer's husband number 2. I'll change Zuer's wife. Here you go, Zuer's wife's ID is mine. Originally, Su Yuan registered such an account simply because he wanted to go to the live broadcast room to watch, but he didn't expect that it would cause a turmoil in the ID scramble. Even Zhao Qingsu herself was a little amused. Okay, I am just a husband, not a wife. Everyone stop arguing. Let's start today's daily makeup tutorial tilde. Zhao Qingsu over there was facing the mirror and starting to teach step by step from the foundation application. But the dispute over the ID of Cher's husband was becoming more and more intense in the barrage. I am Zuer's husband number 29. Damn it, then I'm number 99. Hello everyone, I am Zuer's husband number 521. What? Su Yuan did not expect that his wife had so many husbands for no apparent reason. He had originally planned to be an unknown person and lurk around here, but seeing that Zuer's husbands were so numerous, he certainly couldn't tolerate it. As Zuer's legal husband, I hope you will respect me. Don't think that you are the real husband just because you are the first one to register this ID. Have some shame. I number 99 don't accept it. I am the real Cher's husband number 1314. Su Yuan, seeing that his position as the main wife was no longer secure, he directly recharged 5 million into his account. Ding! Congratulations to the host for donating 5 million to his wife Zhao Qinghua and getting a tenfold rebate of 50 million. It has been deposited into your account balance. Please check it. Zuer's husband gives the anchor Zuer a Dream Castle X1. Soon, a clear prompt popped up on the barrage, and the atmosphere instantly froze. The Dream Castle is one of the reward props on the station, and it costs 50,000 coins each, which is a full 5,000 RMB. Generally, as experienced broadcasters, anchors will use various methods to guide fans to give gifts, just like live broadcasts of beauty products. If you spend 99 RMB, Cactus will teach you an exclusive trick or something, or just act cute. But Zhao Qingsu doesn't often do such things. She just chats casually or teaches seriously. Although fans who come to the live broadcast room will give gifts, Most of them are free red flowers. Occasionally, they will give glow sticks worth a few dollars. The daily gift income is only a few dozen dollars. But today in the live broadcast room, someone gave away a dream castle worth 5,000. What is the concept? Although the economy is developing rapidly and everyone is striving for a well-off life, for ordinary people, 5,000 yuan is still not a small amount of money. After all, those monthly salaries of tens of thousands of yuan only exist in first-tier cities. In places like small 18-tier cities, the average salary is only a few thousand yuan a month. Some people may not even make 5,000 yuan a month. Therefore, the dream castle is a luxury item exclusively for the rich. Play is play, joke is joke, but don't joke with your wallet. You don't have to spend so much money just for an ID. You'll be starving next month. No way, no way, no way. In this day and age, there are still people who spend a fortune on someone else's wife, right? Seeing that Su Yuan's account was a new one, there was no consumption record and no sign of membership activation. Everyone thought he was just an ordinary citizen who was stimulated by everyone and recharged 5,000 yuan. Most people in the live broadcast room think that it's normal for everyone to joke around and talk nonsense for a while, but they can't afford to play it for real if they spend money on it. Dream Castle. Zhao Qingsu, who was live streaming in front of the camera, did not expect that she would receive such an expensive gift. She was stunned for a moment and almost drew her eyeliner crookedly. Thanks to this fan named Cher's husband for sending me the dream castle tilde. When saying this, Zhao Qingsu was still a little excited, because it was the first time she received such an expensive gift. She is not the kind of person who likes to force her fans to give gifts. She would be very happy if they gave her small gifts of dozens of dollars. However, there must be income from live streaming. After all, she is a full-time worker now and makes a living by shooting videos and live streaming. However, this person's ID is too. Afraid that Su Yuan would be jealous, Zhao Qingsu glanced at Su Yuan, who was sitting on the sofa opposite her. She saw him holding a cell phone and didn't know what he was doing. Honey, my coral lipstick is in the room. Can you help me find it tilde? As her daily makeup was about to reach the last step, Zhao Qingsu discovered that the coral lipstick she usually liked to wear was missing, and she quickly screamed. Okay. When he heard his wife calling him, Su Yuan stood up from the sofa, put his phone on the coffee table, and went to the room. Soon, he found out several coral-colored lipsticks. Honey, use this Lancome one. I think this color suits you best in the camera. When handing the lipstick to Zhao Qingsu, Su Yuan did not forget to give her some instructions. How do you know that I look good in Lancome on camera? Just now, Zhao Qingsu was concentrating on the live broadcast and reading the comments posted by everyone on her phone, so she didn't notice what was on the phone that Su Yuan placed on the coffee table. When she heard Su Yuan say this, she subconsciously glanced at Su Yuan's mobile phone on the coffee table. It seems to be her live broadcast room. Could it be that? Zhuer's husband, who was painting the dream castle just now, was Su Yuan. Zhuer, I just heard it. Your husband's voice is so nice, a male god's voice. She has nice hands and a nice voice, so she must be pretty. If he really is a handsome guy, I'd like to change my name to share Disney's Wild Prince on the Run. Chapter 57. Husband, do you want a second wife? Although Su Yuan didn't say anything, there was already a legend about him in the world, and the discussion about him was more heated than the discussion about his ID just now. Only then was Su Yuan satisfied. He picked up his phone and sat down on the sofa. I'm Zhuer's husband, so of course I have to look worthy of Zhuer. It's no exaggeration to say that I'm just a school idol. Su Yuan was not bragging when he said this. Although Su Yuan's father is not handsome, his mother is a great beauty. As the saying goes, a son resembles his mother and a daughter resembles her father. He has perfectly inherited his mother's beautiful genes. She has long eyebrows, deep eyes, an elegant nose bridge, and thin lips with beautiful shapes. She has a cool and delicate type. Before, there were quite a few girls chasing after him in school just because of his face. Unfortunately, he was too busy studying and playing games to have the interest in love in high school. When he entered college, he indulged himself during his freshman year and then met Zhao Qingsu in his sophomore year. Even so, he had been on the confession wall many times when he was in college. Don't brag without thinking. If there is no picture, just treat it as Lao Wang next door. How can a school hunk call himself the school hunk? Could it be that Caio Biluo herself has re-emerged from the world? Seeing the people on the barrage expressing their disbelief, Su Yuan smiled and said, Forget it if you don't believe me. I tell you, Zhuer is not as superficial as you. She loves my face and my soul. After saying that, a 10 consecutive dream castle was created. Boss, I am blind. Please accept my knee. Everyone, please make way for me. and give the ID of Zhuer's husband to the #1 guy on the list. It was just a fantasy castle just now. Although everyone was shocked, they didn't take it too seriously. But now it's a different story with 10 consecutive fantasy castles. One fantasy castle costs 5,000. 10 fantasy castles cost 50,000. This is not a small amount. Only wealthy people can do something like spending 50,000 yuan at once. They are going to witness the birth of the richest man. These 10 fantasy castles also made Zhao Qingsu a little confused. She had begun to suspect that Zhuer's husband was Su Yuan. Now, seeing the action of him tapping the screen opposite and the time when the castle's special effects appeared in the barrage, it was confirmed. Hubby, stop it. She also sighed helplessly, mainly because it was a loss for Su Yuan to give her gifts. He spent 50,000 yuan on gifts, but she actually had to share the profits with the platform. So when you calculate it this way, the money was reduced by more than half once it changed hands. Zhuer, what did you say? Everyone was laughing and joking in the live broadcast room, but Zhao Qingsu didn't expect him to say this directly, which also stunned the fans in the room. Husband, stop making trouble. In other words, Cher's husband is really in the live broadcast room. Thinking of the video in which Cher's husband bought her more than a dozen big boxes of Hermes, the fans in the live broadcast room all fixed their eyes on the ID Cher's husband. The person who casually drew 10 dream castles. Is he really Cher's husband? Zhuer, husband, you are not the real one, are you? Oh my God, it's really the deity coming. Hubby, do you want a second wife? I don't make noises or make trouble, and I don't have a sense of existence. I will definitely not destroy the relationship between you and Zhuer. As long as you buy me and Herm's bag, you deserve a second wife like me. Everyone finally reacted at this moment. The person who had just been fighting with them in the live broadcast room was actually Zhuer's husband. Don't talk about a second wife, I only want Zhuer. Looking at the comments on the screen, Su Yuan snapped. You guys are fake copies of Zhuer's husband. I hope you can respect the original version. What the rich man said is true. I will now become Zhuer's husband's second wife. People have said that they only want Zhuer, so do you have some shame in front of me? I'm the third wife. Get out of the way. I'm going to take Zhuer and her husband away. I'll keep them in my little house and I'll ship them to each other every day. Seeing the joyful atmosphere in the live broadcast room, Su Yuan wanted to continue bragging in the room, but then he saw a phone call coming in. He stood up, turned off the live broadcast, and went to the balcony to answer the phone. Hello? Hello, Mr. Yuan. I'm Jing Kai, the person in charge of the Venus building. This month's financial report is out. Would you like me to send it to you? Jing Kai spoke very cautiously when he said this. He has been working in the leasing department of the Venus building, responsible for managing the leasing and monthly financial report statistics of the Venus building for almost 5 or 6 years, and everything has been peaceful in the past few years. Who would have known that just last month, the Venus building was suddenly acquired by a mysterious person and its owner was changed? By the time he realized it, his boss had been replaced by a young man named Su Yuan. Jing Kai didn't know why he had such a huge fortune at such a young age, but he only knew that new business owners were generally difficult to serve. No need, I'll come over by myself. If Jing Kai hadn't called, Su Yuan would have forgotten that he actually had a Venus building. As a landmark skyscraper in Shanghai, it covers an area of nearly 30,000 square meters, with a total construction area of 320,000 square meters and a height of 420 meters. It is located in the financial and trade zone on the bank of the Huangpu River and is a landmark building here. Su Yuan had passed by this place several times before when he was looking for a job, but he never had the chance to go in and take a look. Now that the whole building is his own, he naturally had to go over and take a look. Who told you to give gifts? I just hung up the phone, and Zhao Qingsu on the other end had finished her live broadcast and came to cause trouble for Su Yuan. She was domineering for once, and pressed Su Yuan against the balcony railing, raised her head and said fiercely, "Do you know that it is very difficult for me to do my job like this? I am here to make money, and if you give me money, doesn't that mean I will lose money doing live broadcasts? Zhuer, it's time to tell you." Su Yuan looked at Zhao Qingsu seriously. Say what? Our family's assets. He took out his phone and pointed out the location of the Venus building to Zhao Qingsu. This building is also there, so don't worry. Even if I give you millions every month, I won't make our family poor. Venus building. Looking at the coordinates displayed on Su Yuan's phone, Zhao Qingsu was stunned for a moment, and her brain felt like it was freezing. Isn't the Venus building a very cool commercial building? That is a landmark super building. There are only a few of them in the whole Magic City. Is it also Su Yuan's asset? Come on, honey. I'll take you to see our country tilde. Before Zhao Qingsu could react, Su Yuan had already pulled her downstairs to the parking lot. Chapter 58. Is my husband the young master of a certain family? Hurry up and tidy up your workstations. The boss is coming over today, so don't make any mistakes. Where's the cleaning supervisor? Hurry up and mop the floor again and wipe the windows. Xiao Zhang, why are the flowers on your table all wilted? I didn't expect that. I just called the boss, and he actually said he wanted to come over and take a look. But it was already 4 or 5 in the afternoon, leaving him no time to prepare. He had no choice but to ask people to put aside the work at hand and deal with the boss's inspection first. The rental department of the Venus building was in a panic because of Jing Kai. When Xiao Zhang heard that her flowers had wilted, she nodded in panic. Oh, okay, then I'll call my boyfriend and ask him to send me a new bouquet. Jing Kai was stunned for a moment, feeling that something was wrong, but nodded. Ah, okay. After everything was almost ready, he quickly brought his people to the door of the rental department and waited. Let me tell you something. Today, when I went into our boss' office to look for some documents, I saw a picture of our new boss. Oh my God, he's so handsome, just like the handsome young men on TV. Seeing Jing Kai nervously going to the toilet, the people standing at the door became bored and started chatting secretly. What one of the women said actually aroused everyone's interest. They had more or less heard some rumors about the new boss, but they had no idea what the specific situation was. But in their imagination, they always think that the boss who can directly acquire such a large building must be an old man or a middle-aged man with a big belly. After all, this is in line with the boss's personality. But now some people actually say that the boss looks like a young, handsome guy. You added a money filter, didn't you? Look at Brother Dong. He looks like a plain passerby in a crowd. But when you think of him as the head of Jingdong, don't you think he looks very elegant holding a glass of red wine? Wake up, sister. Now is not the time to dream. Basically, no one believed what the woman said. She was about to open her mouth to defend herself, but Jing Kai came back from the bathroom, so she had to shut up. This is it. Su Yuan drove La Ferrari and brought Zhao Qingsu to the leasing department of the Venus building. From a distance, he saw more than a dozen people standing at the door of the leasing department. Zhao Qingsu was completely confused. Husband, don't tell me that this building was also bought with your 70 million bitcoins. For some reason, she always felt that Su Yuan was hiding something from her. It doesn't make sense that he suddenly became so rich even if it was Bitcoin. Could it be that he was the young master of some family? But he clearly told me that they were an ordinary family. Hey, of course not. Looking at Zhao Qingsu's eyes rolling around, Su Yuan knew what she was thinking. But he didn't plan to tell her about the system yet, so he patted her head and said, "It's just what you think." Zhao Qingsu originally wanted to say something, but the car had already stopped at the door of the rental department, and Jing Kai came up with a large group of people. We welcome the boss to take some time out of his busy schedule to inspect our work. The people from the leasing department bowed deeply, and Zhao Qingsu shuddered with fear at the neat words he heard. Su Yuan didn't expect that he just came to take a look, but he actually made such a grand scene. He immediately felt that he was careless. If he had known earlier, he should have told him in advance to keep a low profile. Master Yuan, hello, madam. The boss had come to inspect the rental department a long time ago, but he would call a few days in advance to tell him what time he would come and how many people would come, so that he could be mentally prepared. But it would have been fine if the young boss just said he wanted to come over without saying a word, but he actually brought an equally young lady with him. He was a little confused for a moment. After observing for a while, he carefully called Madam. Well, take me in to have a look. Su Yuan didn't waste any words. He put his arm around Zhao Qingsu's waist and walked towards the leasing department of the Venus building. Hurry, hurry, keep up. Seeing that he had not called the wrong person, Jing Kai quickly waved his hand and asked the people behind to come in. After instructing everyone to work hard, Jing Kai brought Su Yuan to the office. Master Yuan, this is our financial report for this month. Please take a look. He called 2 fair-skinned, beautiful and long-legged female employees in to pour tea, and Jing Kai also gave the financial statements to Su Yuan. Su Yuan picked up the financial report, moved closer to Zhao Qingsu, and opened it to read it. You won't know until you see it. It's really shocking. Although it is also a building, the rent of the Venus building is really not cheap, reaching the highest 15 yuan per square meter per day. Although 15 yuan may not sound like a lot, the minimum rental area of the building is 450 square meters, and the minimum rental period is 3 months. In other words, even if you rent the smallest house here, you will have to prepare at least more than 600,000 yuan for the rent alone. This does not include the deposit that needs to be paid for subsequent decoration. The total rental area here is 320,000 square meters. If calculated based on the current price, excluding the cost of this building, the daily gross profit reaches 4.8 million. A daily income of 5 million. That is really comfortable. It is equivalent to winning the first prize of the double color ball while lying down every day. Wife, didn't you want to be a landlady? You will be the one collecting the rent for this building from now on, okay? Su Yuan asked with a smile. In the past, when the girl was tired from work, she would lie on the bed every day and shout that she wanted to buy many houses in the future, preferably several buildings all together. Then at the end of every month, I would go out to collect rent with a small notebook and wearing slippers, and be a happy and carefree landlady. Zhao Qingsu was dazzled by the financial statements. No. Although she had mentioned collecting rent before, it wasn't this kind of thing. It is not easy to collect rent from this kind of building. You also have to manage the garbage sanitation, electricity usage, and water usage of the entire building every month. Anyway, there were too many fragments. She only took a glance at the financial report, and the densely packed numbers on it gave her a headache. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's shrinking expression, Su Yuan couldn't help but pat her on the head. What are you thinking? You don't think I asked you to collect rent just to do hard labor here, do you? The accountant will do the accounting, and you don't have to worry about anything else. Just come here every month to look at the financial statements and drink tea. Zhao Qingsu blinked her big eyes and shook her head like a rattle. Then I don't want to come either. If I don't charge you, what happiness would there be in being a landlady? Chapter 59, The Boss Lady of Venus Building. Boss, there's a Mr. Jin outside looking for you. Just when Jing Kai was accompanying Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu in the office looking at the financial statements, there was a knock on the office door, and the person outside said respectfully. Jing Kai waved his hand. Let him wait a while. Yes. The person at the door responded and went out. He quickly walked to the door and said apologetically to Jin Jiwen, I'm so sorry, Mr. Jin. Please come with me and wait for a while. Our boss is busy now and can't get away. It doesn't matter. Jin Jiwen was wearing a suit and tie. Although he was very anxious, he had no choice but to wait since others asked him to. Sitting in the VIP lounge, drinking a glass of water, he opened his mobile phone with some boredom and glanced at the chat interface. There were quite a lot of sisters who sent him messages to ask about his well-being, but he just swiped past them and finally clicked on Zhao Qingsu's avatar. His conversation with Zhao Qingsu was still from several days ago. He originally thought that with his method of pursuing women, it would be easy to get someone like Zhao Qingsu who was beautiful but came from an ordinary family, but who knew that all the effort he put in was like punching cotton, all in vain. No matter the tricks he played behind her back or the courtesy he showed in front of Zhao Qingsu, none of them worked. A few days ago, he wanted to put some pressure on her company and try again, but who knew that not only did it not work, but it also got rid of the person. Originally, he wanted to make further efforts, but his father told him that he wanted to open a branch and asked him to solve the venue fee issue. He had no choice but to put this matter aside and sort out the venue issue first. This Venus building was the best place he chose, after comparing the surrounding properties. It is close to the subway entrance, has a good environment and good management. Compared with the prices of surrounding office buildings, it is not high. But there were too many people renting here, so he had several meals with the person in charge here before he got the spot he wanted. Qingsu, wait for me. I'll come to you after I sign the contract today. Muttering to himself, Jin Jiwen changed his posture and leaned his back on the sofa. However, while changing his posture, he suddenly caught a glimpse of a slender figure flashing by. Qingsu! He suddenly stood up and chased after her. He thought he had seen it wrong, but when the person he had been thinking about day and night turned around, it was really her. Zhao Qingsu had just gone to the restroom and was planning to return to the office, but who knew she would be stopped by a familiar voice. When she turned around, she saw Jin Jiwen, whose eyes were full of surprise. What's up, Mr. Jin? After all, he was an old customer, so Zhao Qingsu couldn't pretend not to know him and could only deal with him coldly. Why are you here? I haven't seen you for several days. I was talking about you to your manager before. You. I'm sorry, Mr. Jin. I have something else to do and don't have time to catch up with you. Before, Jin Jiwen was a big client of her company, and she had to deal with him in order to make a living, but now the two of them have nothing to do with each other. Zhao Qingsu was too lazy to listen to his nonsense and turned around to leave. Qingsu! Jin Jiwen was about to chase after him, but was stopped by the woman following Zhao Qingsu. Why are you stopping me? Jin Jiwen was a little unhappy and was about to walk around the woman, but he was shocked by what she said next. I'm sorry, Mr. Jin. Our boss lady said she has something to do and doesn't have time to receive you. Please bear with me. If you really have something to do, please call and make an appointment in advance. What did you say, Madam Boss? Seeing Zhao Qingsu had already entered the office, Jin Zhuan stood there as if struck by thunder. He asked again in disbelief, which boss lady is it? The woman thought Jin Zhuan's question was really strange. This was the leasing department of the Venus Building, so the proprietress must be the proprietress of the Venus Building. Who else could it be? Who is your boss? Jin Zhuan asked another question that made the woman even more confused. Mr. Jin, I know you are anxious, but please be patient. Our manager is talking to the boss and will come to you when he is done. Not wanting to answer Jin Zhuan's irrelevant questions, the woman prepared to leave after she finished speaking. However, he chased after her. Wait, tell me about your boss first. He originally wanted to ask who the owner of this building was, but before he could finish his words, the office door opened. Zhao Qingsu walked out holding Su Yuan's arm, talking and laughing, and behind them followed Jing Kai, who was very respectful. Mr. Jin, why are you here? Don't worry, go over there and take a rest first. When Jing Kai saw Jin Zhuan, he was stunned for a moment, then became a little displeased. Why is this guy so impatient? Isn't it just a matter of signing a contract? Can't you just wait? Looking at Jing Kai's appearance, the identities of Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu are self-evident. Jin Zhuan looked at Su Yuan and was so shocked that he didn't have time to pay attention to Jing Kai for a moment. Instead, he stared at Su Yuan with wide eyes as if he had seen a ghost. Because he had investigated Su Yuan's background, he knew that Su Yuan's family was ordinary. As for the LaFerrari he was driving that day, he initially wondered if he had found out something wrong. But then I thought, damn, didn't Su Yuan get fired? Most likely he went to work as a driver for someone else. Just use other people's cars to show off. It was also because he didn't have time to deal with him. Otherwise, he would report the fact that Su Yuan drove the boss's car to show off, and he would be skinned alive if he didn't die. But who knows, Su Yuan is really the big boss. Although his father claims to be worth hundreds of millions, that is the result of the valuation of his own house and company. He also owes a huge debt to the bank. I don't know how much of the hundreds of millions is watered down, but Su Yuan's Venus Building is different. Not to mention how much the Venus Building itself is worth with the current land and housing prices in Shanghai. The annual rent alone is over 1 billion. Haha, what a coincidence. He smiled awkwardly at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Now Jin Zhuan knew that the expression on his face must be uglier than crying. You look familiar. Su Yuan also recognized Jin Zhuan. Isn't he the one who was doing tricks behind Zhao Qingsu's back in order to pursue her? I'm sorry, Master Yuan. Jin Zhuan quickly put away his pride as a rich second-generation kid and acted as honest as a quail, hunching his shoulders and lowering his head to apologize to Su Yuan. Now he didn't even dare to look at Zhao Qingsu. God knows what he has done before. He is simply on the brink of death. Chapter 60, I gave you a son. But Jin Zhuan changed his mind and thought. He even dared to covet the woman of a big boss whose worth was unknown. If he told others about it, he could still brag about it. But this is just what Jin Zhuan thought. If he really had to go out and tell this kind of thing, he still wouldn't dare to do such a thing. You're right, a gentleman is always looking for a good match for a beautiful lady. No, I won't dare to do it again. I am just a stupid idiot. How can I compare with you? I was bewitched before. Su Yuan's words made Jin Zhuangxin frightened, fearing that he would cause trouble for him. Now he wishes time could go back. If he had known Su Yuan's identity earlier, he would never have had any thoughts about Zhao Qingsu even if he was beaten to death. Okay, I don't have time to talk to you. Just go do what you need to do. In fact, Su Yuan came here on a whim today, and running into Jin Zhuan was purely a coincidence. He was too lazy to pursue what happened before. The main reason is that there is no need to do so. In his eyes, Jin Zhuan is really nothing. It would be a waste of time to argue with him. Yes, thank you for your generosity and your broad mind. My admiration for you is like the endless torrent of water. Jin Zhuan flattered them all the way and sent Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu to the car with Jing Kai. He only breathed a sigh of relief after the exhaust fumes from Su Yuan's LaFerrari disappeared. Jing Kai next to him glared at him. Mr. Jin, if you hadn't shown me this skill today, I wouldn't have known you were so good at flattering people. Although Jin Zhuan had treated him to many meals in order to rent a good location in the Venus Building and negotiate some rent, and had always flattered him, he was definitely not as fawning as he was today. He was standing next to Jin Zhuan just now and was a little confused. He suddenly thought that Jin Zhuan was Su Yuan's subordinate. Jin Zhuan waved his hand. Don't mention it, I don't want to either. Isn't it because of the pressure of life? Awesome, let's go sign the contract. Perhaps because they had seen each other at their most servile and fawning, The distance between them was invisibly shortened a lot, and they went back to the office to sign the contract. After the two entered the office, everyone who had been working seriously with their heads down suddenly raised their heads and spoke in uncontrollable excitement. "Did you see that? The boss is so young and handsome. Damn, isn't he the male protagonist in a CEO novel? Don't you see that the boss's wife is pretty too? Oh my God, I envy her so much for being able to be with the boss. Yeah, I feel like if I were the boss's wife, I would faint from happiness every day when I opened my eyes and saw the boss sleeping next to me. Although there are only a dozen people in the leasing department, more than half of them are women. It is simply a breeding ground for gossip. When it is not busy, there is a lot of gossip to talk about, from celebrity relationships to extramarital affairs of building staff. They know everything very thoroughly. What they do most is to get together and curse at scumbags, or discuss how good a handsome guy is on the so and so floor of the building. But no matter what it is, there are always disagreements. For example, can the good-looking couple on the third floor of the Venus building stay together? Some people think that good-looking people should be together forever, while others think that they will each cheat on each other. But when it comes to their opinions on Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, their unanimous opinion is simply Sai worthy a handsome man and a beautiful woman, and they will be together forever. What? Su Yuan, what kind of lousy dog did you buy? On the way back, Su Yuan glanced at his phone and found that Li Hao had sent him a voice message, so he clicked it. His roar of collapse was suddenly heard in the car. Just now, when he was looking at the financial statements, the people from the pet shop came to deliver the dog. Su Yuan didn't have time to go, so he asked Li Hao to pick up Li Guo. I have never seen such a dog. Do I have a grudge against him? I asked him to go with me, but he refused to leave. I dragged him home with great difficulty, but he actually tried to get out of the door. I didn't let him go out, but he peed on my leg. Li Hao's accusation was full of sadness and tears. He had never been bullied like this in his life, and in the end he was bullied by a dog. If this wasn't Su Yuan's dog, he would have thrown it into the pot and stewed it on the spot. Don't you think he dug the door so he could go out and pee? After parking the car in the garage, Su Yuan took Zhao Qingsu upstairs and saw Li Hao squatting at the door holding Li Guo. Compared with the gloomy Li Hao, Li Guo was extremely happy when he saw Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Li Hao couldn't stop him and dragged him towards Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, wagging his tail and rubbing against them crazily, humming to himself. Li Guo is really good tilde. After being washed, Li Guo seemed like a different dog compared to before, with bright eyes, smooth fur, and the fragrance of shower gel. He looked so well behaved as he sat there wagging his tail. Seeing that Li Guo was so happy, Su Yuan squatted down and touched his head, but Li Guo directly put the huge dog head into his palm. Originally, Su Yuan thought that Li Guo wanted to eat it, but who knew that he would spit out a bone-shaped dog biscuit in Su Yuan's palm? This must have been fed to him by the people at the pet store. After wrapping the dog biscuits in toilet paper and throwing them away, Su Yuan washed his hands and looked at Li Guo, who was playing around him, and Zhao Qingsu, with a helpless look on his face. Isn't it said that golden retrievers don't recognize their masters? This one seems a little different, doesn't it? You ungrateful bastard. I was the one who brought you back here, but you are really disrespecting me. Li Hao was so angry at Li Guo's behavior that he almost died. Why are you fussing over a dog? Su Yuan cut half an apple and held it in his hand, waving to Li Guo. Li Guo, eat the apple. Awu. Li Guo came over happily, opened his mouth happily, and ate half of the apple in one bite. Li Hao looked at Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan snuggling together on the sofa, then looked at the dog lying at their feet happily chewing an apple, and suddenly realized, wait, why is this dog called Li Guo, and not Su Guo or Zhao Guo? Oh, because you still don't have a girlfriend, and you won't have any children, so I specially gave you a son. Su Yuan touched Li Guo's head and nodded towards Li Hao. Li Guo, call me daddy. As if Li Guo understood what Su Yuan said, he turned around and bared his big white teeth at Li Hao. Woof. You fucking... Li Hao was so angry that he almost had a myocardial infarction. He stood up angrily and said, Who said I don't have a girlfriend? I have a lot of girlfriends, okay? And my ex-girlfriend wants to get back together with me. He glanced at his phone and found that an ex-girlfriend had sent him a message, so he directly opened the chat interface for both of them to see. See, this is one of my ex-girlfriends. Although she and I broke up for more than 3 years, she still sends me messages, which shows that she still can't forget me. P.S. Recommend this dog food article to my friends. Sweet dog food. I kissed my first love in front of the whole school. I have finished writing 5 chapters today. Please give me some gifts. I don't think too much is too much for free. I also want a blade to urge me to update. It would be nice to have an inspiration capsule. If you are a great god, I will add more chapters tomorrow. Chapter 61, 3,000 rivers, only 1 cup of water to drink. Oh. Seeing Li Hao bringing his phone closer, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu glanced at it casually, and then saw that the note he gave was number 21. What does this note mean? Zhao Qingsu looked at him curiously and pondered for a while. Are you planning to meet on the 21st? She's my 21st ex-girlfriend. Li Hao explained proudly, picking up the phone and replying as if it were a gift. I'm here, what's up? The other side quickly replied, if I'm fine, can't I come to you? Look, do you know what this means? It means you're just trying to make something to talk to me about. To be honest, I think this kind of chat is really boring. Normally, I won't reply to messages like this. While talking in a boastful tone, Li Hao replied, if you have nothing else to do, don't look for me. I'm very busy. No, I'm busy. Explain. Can you please click on my profile picture and vote for my son? It's the Sunflower Baby Photo Contest. Please tilde. Li Hao, who was broadcasting live to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, saw these words and his smile froze. He looked at Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan, who were trying not to laugh, and stammered, I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. After saying that, he ran away. There was no time to close the door. Li Guo followed him to the door, grumbled in dissatisfaction towards the corridor, curled his lips and closed the door. The two looked at each other and then burst into laughter. Although he didn't know what the two were laughing at, Li Guo could feel that they were very happy, so he started to spin around with them. Hello. Zhao Qingsu sat on Su Yuan's legs in a somewhat barbaric manner and pinched his face. I'm telling you, you're not allowed to learn from a scumbag like him. To be honest, Zhao Qingsu despised playboys like Li Hao. If he wasn't friends with Su Yuan, she would definitely avoid him when she saw him. Su Yuan hugged Zhao Qingsu's slender waist and said, he is unfaithful because he doesn't have a wife as good as you. Why would I be unfaithful when I have a wife as good as you? The 3,000 rivers, mountains, rivers, lakes, and seas combined are not as delicious as a scoop of water like you tilde. Tusk, you only know how to use sweet words. Although Zhao Qingsu said Su Yuan, her smiling eyes betrayed her happiness. Looking at the girl's soft arms around his neck and sitting astride him, her pink lips pouting tenderly, her cuteness full of charm, Su Yuan couldn't help himself. His hands started to become a little unruly. Zhao Qingsu immediately grabbed her collar and asked, what are you doing? Clothes are worn for outsiders to see. You are with me, but you cover yourself up so tightly. It's too much of a stretch after all. As soon as Su Yuan saw Zhao Qingsu's vigilant expression, he knew what she was thinking. She covered her chest with a broken heart. Okay, if you don't like it, I'll leave. After saying that, he stood up and left. But the next second, Zhao Qingsu hugged him. Don't go, That's it, tilde. Zhao Qingsu's action stunned Su Yuan. He thought she was playing some tricks. As a result, seeing his wife throwing her shirt aside, Su Yuan swallowed his saliva because he had never seen Zhao Qingsu so enthusiastic and proactive. Looking at the skin in front of me that was as delicate and cool as snow, my eyes widened. Zhao Qingsu lazily changed her posture and pointed her finger at Su Yuan's chest. Just asking if you like it. Her voice was naturally soft and gentle, and when she deliberately lowered and slowed it down, it was full of charm, especially when she called him husband. The tail tone was drawn out, which was very alluring. Breaths blend together, and lips and teeth entangled. What's this? However, what he touched the next second made Su Yuan suddenly sober up. Zhao Qingsu, who was hugging Su Yuan's neck, had an innocent look on her face and blinked her misty eyes. This is a sanitary napkin tilde. Looking up to the sky and sighing, Su Yuan, who was hugging Zhao Qingsu, really wanted to strangle the little devil in his arms to death. She was already having her period and still teasing him like this. What a little bad guy. But in the end, he went to the bathroom and took a cold shower. But Zhao Qingsu sat on the sofa heartlessly, chewing an apple and shouting with a smile, Hubby, do you want to come over and continue? Looking at the little goblin's appearance, Su Yuan's anger, which had just subsided, flared up again. He suddenly stared at Zhao Qingsu's mouth while she was chewing an apple, and smiled meaningfully. You chew apples very skillfully with your little mouth. Zhao Qingsu changed her posture and pointed at Li Guo on the ground. Husband, there are children here. It's not suitable for children. Originally, Su Yuan wanted to go over and give the girl a good beating, but unexpectedly his cell phone suddenly rang. He glanced at the caller ID and gestured to Zhao Qingsu. You're lucky. I'll let you go this time. After saying that, he walked to the balcony to answer the phone. A somewhat cautious voice came from the other end of the phone. Brother, have you been doing well recently? The person who called was Su Yuan's younger sister, Su Yao. The girl was 3 years younger than Su Yuan and was currently attending university in the capital. The two usually communicated by sending messages on VX and rarely called each other. He originally thought that the girl called him because she had something to ask, but he didn't expect her to ask such a question. This puzzled Su Yuan. Is this because the girl has grown up and knows how to care for her brother, or is she planning something bad? Brother, look at what you said. What are you plotting? I am your biological sister. What can I plot against you? No matter how good you are still my sister-in-law's person. Su Yao on the other side grumbled a few words in dissatisfaction, and then asked a question carefully. Mom just called me and said that you suddenly gave her 5 million. Is it quick money? Quick money is money that comes from illegal sources. In fact, it is no wonder that Su Yuan's mother would be suspicious of Su Yuan's behavior. The main reason is that she is very clear about her son's level. Although he has been a good student and smart since he was young, he suddenly made so much money just 1 year after graduation. She really can't believe that this money is his salary from work. Su Yao's words made Su Yuan laugh and cry, "What quick money? I made it from investing. You can let Mom rest assured. By the way, why didn't Mom tell me this herself?" "Oh, you don't know that person, Mom." Hearing Su Yuan's denial, Su Yao finally breathed a sigh of relief. She said that if she told you in person, you would definitely not tell the truth for fear of worrying her. We have a good relationship, so let me ask. Chapter 62, Su Yuan's Drama Mom. Okay, I'll call Mom back then. Su Yuan smiled and said, "You haven't asked me for money recently. Did you find a boyfriend to live with?" After the girl went to college, her family gave her 2,000 yuan a month for living expenses. Although it is not a small amount, anyone who has been to college knows that it is not enough. After all, you can save money on normal meals, but you have to spend money when you go out and socialize with your roommates and classmates, right? It costs money to buy small gifts, right? As a girl, it costs money to buy new dresses, new shoes and cosmetics every month, right? So Su Yao would ask Su Yuan for some money, and Su Yuan would give her a few hundred yuan every month. Seems like there's been no activity this month. Brother, how could I be that kind of person? Su Yao's voice was a little aggrieved. Mom said before that our family has to prepare money for you to marry a wife and prepare a dowry for me, so I should save some money and not always ask you for money. I also know about your relationship with my sister-in-law. Although Mom didn't tell me in detail, I can guess it. I know I was wrong before, so from now on, save all your money to marry your sister-in-law, and I will do a part-time job by myself. The brother and sister have a good relationship. It can be said that Su Yao was spoiled by Su Yuan when she grew up. It has become a habit for her to ask him for some pocket money. But this time, after her mother said this, Su Yao suddenly realized that although her brother is still her brother, he has grown up now, and she still always asks her brother for money. Hasn't the nature of the matter changed? Everyone else's family is Voldemort. Although her gender has been swapped, she is essentially a sister-supporting demon. So she felt a little guilty about what happened before. So she quickly went to school and found a part-time job as a clerk in a milk tea shop. Although the money is not much, it is enough for me every month. When I save a few thousand yuan, I can buy gifts for my family. Yayo. Su Yao loved crying and making trouble when she was a child, and she also had a somewhat unreasonable temper when she grew up. Su Yuan always coaxed her. He used to have a headache about what to do if no one could stand such a sister in the future. He didn't expect that as she grew older, she became so sensible. He also had a feeling that his daughter had grown up. Okay, I know you feel guilty, but don't worry. Marrying my sister-in-law is the most important thing. Don't worry about me. Seeing you and sister-in-law get married makes me happier than anything else. Su Yao's tone of voice was exactly the same as Su Yuan's mother's. This made Su Yuan laugh. That's enough, I won't talk to you anymore, just look at VX. What are you watching on VX? Su Yao was a little puzzled, but the other party had already hung up the phone. She cursed, stinky Su Yuan in annoyance, then opened VX. On the WeChat interface, there was a transfer notification. Su Yuan turned 3344 over. We'll be brother and sister for all eternity. What? You said that girl Yayo, how could she be so unreliable? I asked her to ask about her brother, but there is still no news after such a long time. If she doesn't ask, I will ask myself. In a convenience store in a residential area of Rongcheng, Su Yao's parents were watching over the store. As time passed, Su Yuan's mother became more and more anxious. Su Yuan had previously told his family that he had a girlfriend, and then said he would go visit her. Before leaving, he even called her to ask what he should prepare, and he looked very happy. But the next day, there was neither good news nor bad news, and no one even mentioned the matter again. She felt very disappointed, and she knew something had gone wrong. What could go wrong going to the woman's house? That must be because the girl's family doesn't agree. His son is tall and good-looking, so it must be that the girl despises their family because they are poor. Su Yuan didn't tell her about this because he was afraid that she would be sad. If you're worried, just call and ask yourself. Su Yuan's father, who was standing next to her, saw her turning around in front of the convenience store door and felt dizzy. It's not that I don't dare to ask. If I ask him about his relationship with Kingsu, it will definitely make him sad. If I ask him where the money comes from, he will definitely find an excuse to put me off. Sitting down on the reclining chair, Su Yuan's mother sighed. Raising a son is so hard. No, our son has been sensible since he was young. How can he be as difficult as you say? Tusk, what do you mean by sensible since childhood? Is that because I educated you well? As a trendy mom who considers herself to be at the forefront of fashion, Su Yuan's mother not only dresses herself up beautifully every day when taking care of her children, but also pays great attention to raising her children and buys many educational books for them to read. For example, respect the needs of children, respect the privacy of children, do not beat or scold children, and give children a good reason. Although what she learned from the books was not used, Su Yuan's mother felt that it must be because she finished reading those books that she had good genes, which made Su Yuan learn to be sensible while still in her belly. What did you teach? The book tells you to be a reasonable parent and guide your children's emotions during adolescence, but you advised your child to have an early love affair. Fortunately, my son didn't listen to you, otherwise he might not be able to get into a top university now. After glaring at Su Yuan's father, Su Yuan's mother took out her cell phone and planned to take action herself. But before she had the chance to make the call, Su Yuan called. How did he know I was going to call him? Could it be that because he did something bad, his family members, are also being monitored by his organization? Should I answer the call? Otherwise, I'll go to the police station right now and ask the police to answer the call. After all, the police are only a dozen steps away from here. Su Yuan's mother, who spends every day watching TV dramas, is possessed by the spirit of drama every minute while holding her mobile phone. That's not a police station you're talking about, that's a security booth. This made Su Yuan's father very helpless. He snatched the phone and answered the call. Hello, Yuan. Su Yuan was a little surprised. Dad, where's my mom? Why are you answering the phone? Oh, your mother suspects that she is being monitored by bad guys. She may need to please herself for a while before she returns to normal. Let's talk first. Didn't you transfer 5 million to your mother yesterday? Where did the money come from? Su Yuan's father was a straightforward person with no great ambitions. He was just a grassroots civil servant, working idle in the office every day. After get off work, he would accompany Su Yuan's mother to run and look after the store. Therefore, he asked directly. It was too late for Su Yuan's mother to stop it. She pinched the tender flesh on Su Yuan's father's arm, and then pricked up her ears. Oh, I used my New Year's money to buy some bitcoins, and now I've made tens of millions by selling them. So I'm rich now, and this 5 million is for you guys. Chapter 63, How About Having One? Oh, so that's how it is. You scared your mother to death. I thought you did something bad. Before Su Yuan's father could speak, Su Yuan's mother had already spoken. After she got the money yesterday, she thought a lot and always felt that the money was a time bomb. Instead of feeling the joy of getting the money, she was a little worried about whether her life would be in danger. Now, after hearing Su Yuan's explanation, she felt much more relieved. Mom, you and my dad are so honest. What bad things can I do? That's true. Hey, son, I really don't regret cultivating your talent in finance. It really is useful. Thinking that she had worked hard all her life but had not earned so much money, and that her son had surpassed her, Su Yuan's mother is now very proud. But her words made Su Yuan confused. Mom, when did you cultivate my talent in this area? You are such a forgetful kid. Have you forgotten that you always put a copy of Principles of Economics under your porridge bowl for breakfast in high school? After a moment of silence, Su Yuan praised. Mom, you are so foresighted. Your son admires you. So how's the situation between you and Kingsu going? After chatting for a while, Su Yuan's father brought the topic back to the main topic. Su Yuan's mother continued to prick up her ears. Kingsu and I are doing fine. We have already obtained our marriage certificate and plan to hold our wedding when the time is right. Su Yuan also hurried to make things clear in this regard, so that his mother wouldn't make up stories all day long and scare herself to death. Really? When Su Yuan and Kingsu got married, Su Yuan's mother's face was wrinkled with joy. She looked in the mirror happily and said, My genes are good. My son and daughter will take after me. Your genes are also good, and Kingsu's genes are also good. Then how beautiful will the children you give birth to in the future be? Su Yuan's father interrupted. Strictly speaking, children of the next generation are more likely to revert to their ancestors, and they are likely to take after me. You're the only one who talks too much. What? After finishing the call with his parents, Su Yuan also came to the sofa, put his arm around Zhao Qingsu's waist, put his chin on her shoulder, and said softly, "Now our parents agree it's mutually consensual and it's above board. How about having one child?" Awu. Before Zhao Qingsu could reply, Li Guo, who was standing next to her, heard what she said, and suddenly started spinning around in circles in joy, as if it was New Year's Day. "What are you so happy about, single guy?" Looking at Li Guo's expression, Su Yuan knocked him on the head in annoyance. Li Guo is a male dog, about 1.5 years old. He should have been a domestic dog before. Unfortunately, he has been sterilized and is now a little eunuch. Awu. As if hurt by Su Yuan's words, Li Guo lay on the carpet sadly, covered his eyes with his paws, and hummed. It seems like he understood. From the moment Zhao Qingsu saw Li Guo, she felt that it was extremely smart and human-like. However, she thought it was just a coincidence before, but now it seems that it really can understand human language. It doesn't matter whether they can understand or not. No matter how much they understand, they won't speak. What? Because they had to get up in the morning to take Li Guo to the toilet, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu got up early the next day. After bringing Li Guo back from downstairs, the two had a rich breakfast. Just as they were about to go to work after breakfast, Su Yuan received a WeChat call from He Yun. "Master Yuan, is your farmhouse open today?" Su Yuan thought there was nothing to do, so he nodded. "Are you guys coming today?" "No, I want to introduce my cousin to you. She's been having a hard time lately, so I want her to go to your place to relax." "Okay, let her come over." After a brief chat, Su Yuan hung up the phone and went out with Li Guo, taking Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast tool. Hey, where are you going?" As soon as he went out, he happened to meet Li Hao, who came down to eat for free. He was immediately shocked because he had no food to eat again. "Let's go to the farmhouse. Is there any food?" "Have. Then let's go." When Su Yuan heard that Li Hao wanted to follow, he directly handed the live broadcast equipment and Li Guo to him, and he and Zhao Qingsu drove the LaFerrari to live in their own world. Has my charm declined recently? Why do beautiful girls seem to be not interested in me? I haven't had a girl to sleep with for 2 days. After scolding Su Yuan for putting women before friends, Li Hao drove the Porsche Cayenne with a worried look on his face, dragging the live broadcast equipment behind him. With Li Guo sitting on the passenger seat, he followed Rafa with a resentful look on his face all the way. Li Guo hummed a few times proudly. "Forget it, you eunuch dog. How can you understand my sadness?" Shaking his head, Li Hao was just about to smoke a cigarette to relax, when a dog's paw stretched out from the side. "Pup!" His cigarette flew out of the window. Li Hao turned around in shock and met a pair of angry dog eyes. "Fuck you! I'm not even angry yet. Why are you angry?" You. Li Hao was so angry that he almost smoked. He found a roadside and stopped the car, intending to teach Li Guo a lesson. However, a gust of cold wind blew and he sobered up immediately. Why did he want to educate Li Guo? Su Yuan is such a scheming boy. No wonder he is asked to take care of a dog. They just want him to become more and more dog-like. He won't be fooled. An hour later, Rafa and the Porsche Cayenne stopped one after another at the door of the farmhouse. There was also a black RV parked at the door. The car was covered with anti-peeping film, and the whole car was tightly sealed, so nothing could be seen. Su Yuan helped Zhao Qingsu get out of the car and didn't care too much. He took the key and went to open the door of the farmhouse. "You two are going too far. It's fine if you bully me, but you raise a dog and bully me." Li Hao decided to complain to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu and let them teach Li Guo a lesson. He would never acknowledge the identity of Li Guo's father. Su Yuan raised his eyebrows. "My grandson is quite obedient. How did he bully you?" Li Hao turned around, pointed at Li Guo lying on the ground and said unhappily, "Do you know what he did? He knocked out one of my cigarettes." After saying that, he wanted to reenact the scene in the car just now. However, as soon as he took out a cigarette from his pocket, he was stunned. At some point, the door of the RV in front was opened, and a woman wearing a red suspender and floral dress walked out. The woman had a graceful and charming figure. As she walked towards this side slowly and gracefully, it felt like everything had become a backdrop, as if this was her home court. Fuck, am I seeing things? Jing Tian. Chapter 64, Let's Barbecue. Su Yuan was also surprised by Jing Tian's appearance. Looking at her, it was obvious that she was here for the farm stay. Could it be that she is He Yun's sister? De Tianxian. Zhao Qingsu, who was standing next to Su Yuan, was also very surprised to see Jing Tian. She had been following Jing Tian's new drama some time ago. Her Cheongsam look in it was particularly beautiful, which gave her a lot of design inspiration. I didn't expect to see Jing Tian in person today. Excuse me, are you the boss here? Jing Tian walked slowly in front of Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. A faint smile appeared on the corner of her mouth, and she asked politely. Su Yuan nodded, yes. Oh, it was my cousin He Yun who introduced me to come here to play. Sorry to bother you. Although Jing Tian's aura was very strong when she got off the car, which surprised everyone, she actually gave people a very friendly feeling when she spoke. Come in. Okay, I'll have my people move the stuff in. Because Jing Tian trusted the places introduced by He Yun, she chose this place for her rare vacation. She planned to stay here for 3 to 5 days, and naturally brought a lot of her own things with her, such as cosmetics and some underwear. Miss Jing, is there anything I can help you with? I'm happy to help. Although Li Hao had many ex-girlfriends, both beautiful and ugly, tall and short, fat and thin, this was the first time he had seen a big shot like Jing Tian. So after being stunned for a long time, he launched an attack immediately. Who are you? He Yun had already told Jing Tian about Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, so she knew them. But who was the person with the obscene look in her eyes? Let me introduce myself. My name is Li Hao, Musi Li, the Hao that means bright moon in the sky. You can just call me Hei Ahao. Don't pay attention to him. He's having his second-year disease again. Seeing Jing Tian looking at him with a puzzled look, Su Yuan felt helpless and glared at Li Hao. Zhao Qingsu next to him held Jing Tian's arm affectionately. Tian, don't be fooled by him. Li Hao's words are deceiving. Okay then. As a smart person, Jing Tian understood what Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu meant, so he smiled and nodded. After asking the staff to move their things, a few people walked into the farmhouse. Looking at the lush environment of flowers and trees in the farmhouse, Jing Tian was quite satisfied. She is usually very busy filming, attending announcements, and appearing on variety shows. It is rare for her to have time to rest, and she doesn't want to go too far. It would be great for her to have a place with a nice environment in the suburbs of Shanghai where she can have a few days of quiet time. Su originally came here to arrange for the staff there to put Jingshan's things away, but Li Hao was very eager to go, so he let him go. He and Zhao Qingsu took Jing Tian for a stroll in the farmhouse. Li Guo followed the three of them leisurely, catching and petting them from time to time, catching butterflies and having a lot of fun. The environment here is really nice, but I heard from my cousin that eating the apples here can help lose weight. After walking around twice, Jing Tian asked curiously. In fact, she had finally gotten some rest and had originally booked a room at a nearby hot spring hotel, but He Yun insisted that she go to a farm stay instead, where the environment was great. The owner was awesome, and there was also a magical orchard inside the farm stay. He strongly recommended that she come, so she had no choice but to come. But I don't have much hope for apples that can help lose weight, or cherries that can whiten the skin. As a star, in order to manage her figure, she not only has to spend 4 hours every week in the gym to lift weights, but also has to strictly control her diet, low in carbohydrates, and the rest is just a little protein and a moderate amount of vegetables and fruits. It can be said that she thinks she eats super healthy. Therefore, she feels that eating fruits is not very effective for losing weight, but it is good for maintaining a good figure. Yes, Su Yuan smiled slightly, but I believe you have heard about the price of the fruits here. This is natural, and as long as it works, the price is very reasonable. Although I don't quite believe that the apples in Su Yuan are really that magical. But since I'm here, of course I have to give it a try. Su Yuan also walked over and picked 3. One was handed to Zhao Qingsu, one was given to Jing Tian, and the last one was thrown to Li Guo, who was sitting on the ground and watching eagerly. Awu. Su Yuan took a bite of the apple and began to chew it in big mouthfuls. His mouth was full of apple juice, which looked particularly delicious. Jing Tian originally planned to eat a few bites and then throw it away, but in the end, he couldn't help but finish it. By the way, don't prepare dinner for me tonight. I'll just have some fruit. Although it's really a vacation, Jing Tian doesn't want to just stay here for a few days and relax. Otherwise, when she returns, her makeup artist and service designer will start to nag about her again, and the media will take pictures of her and publish articles about her being fat and strong. When Jing Tian thought of this, she completely lost her appetite. Are you losing weight? Zhao Qingsu was very surprised to hear her say this. But you are already very thin, you don't need to lose weight. It's my habit. Jing Tian smiled and said, to be honest, I have a physique that is prone to obesity. I will gain weight if I eat a little more. You can't not eat. Zhao Qingsu thought for a moment. How about you eat normally tonight and then eat an apple after you finish eating? I promise that you won't be fat when you wake up tomorrow morning. How about that? This, Jing Tian was a little embarrassed, but she couldn't refuse the kindness. So after Zhao Qingsu's repeated invitations, she finally agreed. But she also repeatedly stated, I only eat 3 pieces of meat, and then a little bit of vegetables. I won't eat more. I know. In fact, the reason why Zhao Qingsu pulled Jing Tian to eat like this was mainly because she could see that she also wanted to eat, but she held back. Anyway, there were apples there, and she wouldn't get fat by eating them, so she kept pulling Jingshan to eat. At around 5 or 6 in the afternoon, Li Hao and Su Yuan moved all the barbecue grills and barbecue racks to the front of the cabin, and then they sat together and started to light the charcoal fire, preparing for the barbecue. Looking at the well-cut pieces of pork belly and beef, Jing Tian swallowed and said, They look delicious. Do you often eat like this? It's not very often, but since I'm here, of course I have to have a barbecue. As Zhao Qingsu put the pork belly on the grill, she asked, Tianchen, do you like fatter or leaner meat? Chapter 65, Wife. Be careful of fish bones when eating fish. Looking at the sizzling pork belly on the baking tray, Jing Tian swallowed hard and whispered, There's too much fat. I may not be able to eat it. Tianchen, you don't know that girls need to have meat to look good. It's okay to eat a few pieces. Li Hao, who was standing next to him, also came over and tried to persuade him. Or eat it yourself. Although her stomach and mouth were clamoring for meat, especially roasted greasy pork belly, Jing Tian finally held back when she thought about everyone's criticism of her figure. Zhao Qingsu smiled and said, I won't eat it yet. Are you losing weight too? No, I'm waiting for my husband to grill me some fish. As a person who loves grilled fish, of course she had to save some space for it. Zhao Qingsu turned her head and glanced at Su Yuan. He had already seared the sari and was cutting a piece of fresh lemon and squeezing the lemon juice on it. Wife, your grilled fish. Su Yuan handed the hot and fragrant grilled sari to Zhao Qingsu and reminded her, Be careful of the fish bones when you eat it. If the project wasn't so huge, he would have wanted to pick out all the bones from the grilled fish before giving it to Zhao Qingsu. Zhao Qingsu took a bite happily and nodded vaguely. Yeah, I get it, it's delicious. Little foodie. Looking at her, Su Yuan couldn't help but curl the corners of his mouth and gently touched her hair. Forehead. Looking at this scene, Jing Tian's expression was very surprised. Zhao Qingsu noticed that she was staring at him and asked a little embarrassedly, Do you like grilled fish too? Then grill a few more. No, I prefer barbecue. Jing Tian quickly waved her hands, then lowered her voice and asked curiously, Qingsu, how long have you and your husband been together? Well, we've been together for more than 4 years. What's wrong? More than 4 years? Upon hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, Jing Tian screamed, Is this true? How come she's still treating you? Well, treating you so well after 4 years. Jing Tian was really surprised. She also has a boyfriend. Anyone who reads a little entertainment news has basically seen the photos of her and her boyfriend showing their affection. The two often interact on Weibo and are always said to be showing their affection. But in fact, only those who drink the water know whether it is hot or cold. During the initial period of their passionate love, her boyfriend was indeed very good to her. He would come to visit her whenever he was free and would always send her sweet messages asking where she was. The two of them were as close as candy. But after a long time, she clearly felt that their feelings had faded. He has his own life and career. It is impossible for him to give up his original circle of friends because of her, let alone give up his career. In the end, it is natural that he can spend less and less time with her. In the past, he was willing to accompany her everywhere whenever he was free. But now that she finally had some free time, he had to go abroad with his friends to attend an event, so she had to come here alone. Just now, seeing Su Yuan being so considerate to Zhao Qingsu made her envious and jealous. She really wants to have such a boyfriend. Even if I can't carefully grill fish for her, it would be nice to spend more time with her. It's always been like this between me and him. Zhao Qingsu was a little puzzled by Jing Tian's words. Does it mean that if you spend a long time together, you have to treat each other badly? That's not what I meant. I just envy your relationship. Don't be envious. You will always find the one you love. I hope so, tilde. Although Jing Tian really wanted to eat barbecued meat, she restrained herself in the end and only ate 3 pieces of lean roasted pork belly and some roasted vegetables. Zhao Qingsu was truly amazed at her self-control. However, the next day, when Jing Tian got up, she weighed herself on an empty stomach as usual in the morning. This weighing made her wake up. The number displayed on the scale is 43.5. She touched her face and weighed herself again in disbelief, but it still showed 43.5. If I remember correctly, she weighed 45.1 yesterday morning. She thought she would be heavier when she woke up today because she had eaten some barbecue yesterday afternoon, but she actually lost weight. And I lost 3 pounds. Jing Tian almost flew with joy as she lifted her pajamas in disbelief to take a look at her more obvious abdominal muscles. It turns out that apple really works. If eating that apple really can make her lose weight, doesn't that mean she can eat all the barbecue she wants? Kingsu, tilde tilde. Jing Tian got up, changed his clothes, and couldn't wait to go find Zhao Kingsu. Zhao Kingsu was in the kitchen making breakfast for several people. Seeing her get up, she couldn't help but smile. "Are you up? I'm making breakfast. How many fried eggs do you want to eat? I put less oil in the fried eggs I made for you so you can have one more." "Eat 3. Thinking of the fact that he had lost 3 pounds, Jing Tian shook his 3 arrogant fingers and continued to ask, "Are we going to have barbecue this afternoon? Don't eat any more. You can't eat much anyway. I want to make some light dishes for you this afternoon. They are low in calories and taste good. It doesn't matter if you eat more tilde tilde." Because Su Yuan and she were relatively poor before, in order to save money, they couldn't eat out every day, so her cooking skills were honed, and she can cook delicious dishes. Woo, but I want to eat barbecue. I lost 3 pounds today. Can I eat barbecue? I really want to eat barbecue tilde tilde. Yesterday, Jing Tian was afraid of getting fat, so she used all her strength to restrain her desire to eat a lot. But now that she no longer has this concern, she also wants to let go and have a good meal. Okay. Jing Tian was the guest, and since she requested so strongly, Zhao Kingsu had no choice but to agree to her. Therefore, in the afternoon, several people set up the barbecue grill again. "Zhu'er, you are so unprofessional. Where is the live broadcast you promised? Why aren't you doing it today?" While preparing ingredients for the barbecue, Zhao Kingsu opened her mobile phone to check her account. There were countless messages urging her to broadcast, which made her feel helpless. Jing Tian, who was wearing gloves and marinating pork belly, came over to take a look and asked, "Kingsu, are you the anchor?" "Yeah, beauty stuff." Zhao Kingsu put down her phone. She had no time to do a live broadcast now. You don't have to live stream beauty products all the time. It's also good to live stream your daily life occasionally. When Jing Tian said this, his eyes suddenly lit up. "By the way, Kingsu, I haven't done a live broadcast for a long time. Why don't I use your live broadcast room to do a live broadcast as well?" Chapter 66, My husband's looks are better than 100% of the young handsome guys, but he's not that great. Is this good? Of course. Jing Tian did what she said. She took Zhao Kingsu inside to touch up her makeup, then prepared the equipment for the live broadcast. After debugging it to make sure there were no problems, she sat directly in front of the camera and prepared to start the broadcast. Before the show started, she waved to Su Yuan and said, "Brother Yuan, do you want to live stream with us? With your looks, you will definitely gain a lot of female fans tilde tilde." Su Yuan waved his hands, not intending to show his face. "I'll just show it to my wife. Why do I need so many female fans? Me, let me show my face, I can do it." Li Hao, who was preparing the barbecue ingredients nearby, quickly volunteered. He excitedly brought over a bunch of vegetable skewers. "Tianchen, I see you like eating vegetables very much. I skewered these for you myself tilde tilde." Jing Tian frowned and took a look at the large bowl of vegetable skewers in front of him, feeling a little dizzy. "Spare her. If possible, she really doesn't want to eat grass every meal." "What's wrong? It's not enough. I'll string some more for you." As soon as Li Hao saw Jing Tian's expression, he immediately turned around happily and continued to string vegetables, leaving Jing Tian speechless. To be honest, Li Hao's skills in picking up girls are not very clever. The main reason why he was always successful in the past was that the girls he flirted with were generally ordinary people. A rich second generation like him who looked okay, basically as long as he acted gentle and considerate, the girls would take the bait. Ryuan, who has a little vision, would not pay any attention to him, let alone Jing Tian. "Hello, everyone. I'm Zhu'er tilde tilde. Hello, everyone. I am Jing Tian, everyone's big Tian tilde tilde." After everything was ready, Zhao Kingsu and Jing Tian started the live broadcast directly. Before starting the live broadcast, Jing Tian had already posted the live broadcast portal on his social account. Therefore, as soon as the broadcast started, not only Zhao Kingsu's fans, but also Jing Tian's fans were waiting in the live broadcast room. Fans on both sides were very surprised that the two suddenly appeared in the same live broadcast room. "Zhu'er, I haven't heard that you have any friendship with Tianchen. You hide it very well." "Tianchen, which sister is this? She's so pretty. This is the first time we meet. Two peerless beauties together. It's so pleasing to the eyes tilde tilde. What kind of makeup will be taught in today's live broadcast? I'm looking forward to it." Looking at the dense comments on the barrage, Zhao Qingsu first explained, "Because I don't have time today, I won't broadcast my makeup live. I will broadcast eating tilde tilde." De Tianchen next to him also smiled and took a photo of the surrounding environment and the barbecue ingredients. "Yes, look at the environment here, isn't it great? I'm now barbecued in a farmhouse in the suburbs of Shanghai. Let me tell you, the environment of this farmhouse is really great. You must come and have fun when you are free. It's such a pleasure to be here tilde tilde." After saying that, he put the pork belly that had been marinated with spices and onions on the baking tray and grilled it. Soon, oil was dripping from it, and there was a sizzling sound. After both sides are browned, pick up the meat, wrap it with lettuce, add seasoning and onions, and take a full bite. Jing Tian's cheeks are bulging from eating so much. Seeing this scene, the fans below were stunned. "De Tianchen, you've changed. You don't even eat vegetables anymore. Eating these will make you gain weight. When you wake up tomorrow, you will be Tianchen Pools. Wow, it's okay. You will always be my baby tilde tilde baby, baby tilde tilde." It's no wonder that Jing Tian's fans were so surprised. The main reason was that Jing Tian had live streamed her dinner before. Every time, she would have a little bit of sweet potato, a small piece of chicken breast, and then a small piece of various vegetables and fruits. Although these ingredients look very pleasing to the eye when arranged on a plate, you will realize how painful it tastes when you eat it, because there is basically no taste and no oil at all. Sometimes Jing Tian came back from a day of filming a costume drama and was so hungry that she felt dizzy and her eyes were blurry. When she saw this plate of grass, one could imagine the despair in her heart. Fans could feel how painful Jing Tian was eating dinner through the screen. Therefore, everyone was very surprised to see her eating the sizzling roasted pork belly without hesitation. Not only that, she ate one piece after another, and in a short while she had eaten 7 or 8 pieces. "De Tianchen, you are letting yourself go like this. Are you going to quit the entertainment industry?" Seeing her eating non-stop, some people even began to speculate. Jing Tian denied while eating. "How is that possible? Why would I quit the entertainment industry at such a young age? You ate so much, but Zhu'er next to you only ate 1 piece. That's because Zhu'er is waiting for her husband to grill fish for her." Jing Tian glanced outside the camera and saw Su Yuan grilling a freshly caught sea bass. It was almost done, and he was sprinkling seasoning on the fish. "Is Zhu'er's husband here too? We want to see Zhu'er's husband." "Ah, my male god, tilde tilde." Previously, Zhao Qingsu's fans were particularly interested in Su Yuan. When they heard that Su Yuan was grilling fish nearby, they all asked him to appear in the video. Zhao Qingsu smiled and said, "Okay, everyone, stop making trouble. My husband doesn't like to be on camera." "Is that so? De Tianchen, what does Zhu'er's husband look like? Hurry, tell us." Zhu'er wasn't allowed to answer, nor to do anything tricky. Seeing so many people curious about Su Yuan's appearance on the barrage, Jing Tian ate another piece of barbecue and thought for a while. "How should I describe it? I feel that Brother Yuan's appearance can beat 95% of the young handsome guys in the entertainment industry." "De Tianchen, if you were kidnapped, just blink. No favors allowed. There are many talented people in the entertainment industry nowadays, and there are endless batches of young handsome men, just like endless leaks. Among them, there are also many with amazing looks. Although everyone thinks that the man who is worthy of Zhao Qingsu must not be ugly, he will definitely not be too handsome. After all, it's okay that he's rich, considerate, gentle, and loves his wife, but he's also so handsome." "That's perfect. Perfect people don't even seem like they can exist in this world." "I didn't lie to you." Jing Tian was also a little helpless. She really wasn't lying. With facial features like Su Yuan, with a little makeup and a suitable hairstyle, there are basically no young handsome guys who can compare to him. At least among all the handsome guys she had filmed with, she felt that none of them could compare to Su Yuan. There are a few people who have very delicate facial features after putting on makeup, but after removing their makeup, they look terrible, with spots all over their faces. Don't listen to De Tianchen's nonsense. My husband doesn't beat 95% of the young handsome men in the entertainment industry. Zhao Qingsu next to him suddenly interrupted. He just beat 100% of the young guys. He's not that great tilde tilde. Chapter 67. I am most afraid of the sudden silence of the air. Zhu'er, you are really naughty. Are you happy about this? Brother Yuan is so handsome. No wonder Zhu'er is so devoted to him. I really want to see a photo of Zhu'er and Brother Yuan. It must be very pleasing to the eye. There are more and more people in the live broadcast room, and it is even recommended on the homepage of the platform. Although most people came in because of De Tianchen, when they saw that Zhao Qingsu was so beautiful and interesting, they also chose to follow her. Zhao Qingsu saw that the number of followers on her backstage kept increasing. reaching 700,000 or 800,000 in a few minutes. The number of followers increased by 4 or 500,000 overnight. She never dreamed that there would be such a day. How come all of a sudden her number of fans seemed to be approaching that of big anchors? Wife, your grilled fish. A familiar pair of slender fingers holding a plate of grilled fish was passed in from outside the camera. Although there was only one hand, it made everyone in the camera excited all of a sudden. Ah, my brother Yuan's haunting hand, tilde tilde. My brother Yuan is so gentle. I can't believe it. This hand gave Zhuer 50,000 in a single tip. I'm sure this hand must have been as perfect as a sculpture by a top medieval artist when it clicked on the phone tilde tilde. With just one hand, everyone imagined it to be almost the size of a book, which made Zhao Qingsu feel a little amused and helpless. Jing Tian smiled slightly. Don't think about it. Brother Yuan is already Zhuer's husband. No matter how much you like him, please restrain yourself. Don't talk so much nonsense, De Tianchen. Just tell me whether you want to marry someone like Yuan Ji. Of course I do. It was originally difficult for many female stars to answer the question, but Jing Tian answered it very generously. Before the fans had time to challenge her, she asked again, "Don't you want to? I won't accept hypocritical answers." Humph, De Tianchen, you are so cruel that you blocked us and left us speechless. I'll tell your boyfriend. That's right. After chatting for more than 2 hours, Jing Tian even burped from eating the barbecue. She touched her stomach and smiled contentedly at the camera. This is the most satisfying meal I've had since I was 13. After saying that, he took out an apple that he had prepared long ago and started to chew it. I know everyone must be curious about why I dare to eat barbecue so recklessly. Well, I won't hide it from you. The secret is here, see? This apple can help you lose weight. Overnight, you can lose 10 pounds depending on your physique. I lost 3 pounds after eating one yesterday. De Tianchen, you didn't lie to us, did you? Are you sure this isn't an advertisement? Seamless implantation. After hearing Jing Tian's words, most people were skeptical. How could there be an apple that is so effective in losing weight? If it really existed, how could there still be so many fat people in the world? Wouldn't everyone be fat? But after all, we are all fans. Since Jing Tian has advertised, everyone is kind enough to ask for the link. But Zhao Qingsu's answer surprised everyone. I'm sorry, these apples are grown by my husband. We don't plan to sell them to others. You can only pick them here and eat them yourself. If you want to eat them, you can come to our place, but you have to make an appointment in advance. In order to ensure a good experience for everyone who comes to the farmhouse, Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan discussed and decided not to allow more than 10 people in at a time. The conditions for coming to this farm stay are too harsh. As long as this apple is really useful, I think it's worth going there once. By the way, how much is this apple? At first, everyone suspected that the reason Jing Tian was eating an apple was because she had received money from the apple vendor to advertise. But now it seems that the farm stay has no shortage of guests, and the suspicion of advertising has been completely cleared. Moreover, apples can help you lose weight, and even big stars are eating them. So how could there be a shortage of people buying them? 50,000 each tilde tilde. Jing Tian held up 5 fingers towards the camera. I don't think it's very expensive because the effect is really good. Most of you who watch my live broadcast here are my old fans, and you know that I generally don't recommend things like substitutes to you, because no matter what, you get what you pay for. There is no such thing as spending a penny to get a great bargain. It's too unrealistic. Although everyone knows that what Jing Tian said makes sense, but 50,000 yuan for an apple, that's robbery. Sorry to bother you, I have to leave now. I'll take my leave. I am not worthy. 50,000 yuan may not be a big deal for a star like Jing Tian, or a rich second generation like He Yun, but it is an astronomical figure for ordinary people, because there are so many things an ordinary person can do with 50,000 yuan. Not only can it be used as a year's food expenses, but it can also be used to buy a Santana for transportation. Forget it. If I have to spend 50,000 yuan to lose weight, I would rather stay fat. Although ordinary fans in the live broadcast room said that they simply could not afford it, it did not prevent some people from cutting Jing Tian's live broadcast into small clips and playing them on other video websites. As a result, Su Yuan's small farmhouse became famous overnight. The next day, his phone was nearly blown up by calls from people who had made appointments to play with him. Seeing that this was not working, Su Yuan changed the online reservation phone number to a landline number. 11 more people were hired. 1 was responsible for answering the phone, 4 cooks were responsible for catering, 2 were responsible for cleaning, and the remaining 4 were responsible for taking care of the orchard. After everything was arranged, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Brother Yuan, He was just about to go look for Zhao Qingsu and Jing Tian, who were out for a walk, but Li Hao walked in with Li Guo. Li Guo bared his teeth, looking like a boss who was not happy to be pulled by Li Hao. He kept backing away, and his butt almost rubbed the wooden floor flat. After seeing Su Yuan, he immediately complained to Su Yuan loudly, feeling aggrieved. Su Yuan felt that Li Guo's accusing expression made sense, but he didn't understand. "What's wrong?" Looking at the handful of cherries in Li Hao's hand, Su Yuan asked with some confusion. Li Hao stretched out his hand and showed the cherries in his hand to Su Yuan. "Look at what Li Guo did. He actually picked 5 of your cherries that cost 10,000 yuan each. If I hadn't stopped him, he would have eaten all the cherries." Ugh. After hearing what Li Hao said, Li Guo on the ground turned around anxiously. Finally, he bit his trouser leg and pulled it down hard. I fear the air suddenly becoming quiet. Su Yuan glanced down, then put his hand to his mouth and coughed. "You are not wearing any underwear." Chapter 68. It's too late for you to call me grandpa now. Li Hao covered his face and ran away. Su Yuan did not forget to pick the cherries from his hand and put them into Li Guo's dog mouth. Li Guo was happy then, and he surrounded Su Yuan and hummed and played happily. After 3 happy days at the farmhouse, Zhao Qingsu gained nearly 1 million followers due to live broadcasts every night, a terrifying speed. The video of De Tianxian eating barbecue was also made into various emoticons and uploaded, and became a hot topic again. Finally, the most discussed topic was Su Yuan's orchard. There were even reporters who called to interview him, but Su Yuan refused, saying he was busy. But He Yun felt comfortable. The FLGA he posted on his circle of friends was always ridiculed, which made him very angry. But once Su Yuan's orchard became popular, they became really interested. "Daddy, hurry up, I can't make a reservation, can you help me? You have a good relationship with the owner of that farmhouse, right? Let me introduce you to him. I'll treat you to a meal later. You can choose any place you want. Dad, I am your sweetheart. Will you take me to the orchard to play?" Within one day, all of his major social media accounts were flooded with private messages, most of which were from people asking him about the orchard. He Yun pulled the corner of his mouth. "Humph, it's too late for you to call me grandpa now. Ancestors tilde. To be honest, He Yun felt very happy when he saw all those private messages calling him dad. However, no matter how happy he was, he didn't reply to any of the messages in the end, because basically I asked him to help make reservations for Su Yuan Orchard. But ever since he became famous, he can't even make reservations anymore. So how can he make reservations for others? Come on, Li Guo, wipe your paws. When they got home, Zhao Qingsu threw a towel on the ground. Li Guo obediently stepped on it a few times, wiped his paws clean, and then showed them to Zhao Qingsu. She nodded. "Our Li is really good. Come in tilde, you must wipe your paws every time you enter the door from now on." Awu. Zhao Qingsu touched Li Guo's dog head with a smile and was about to go to the kitchen to cook. When she turned around, she saw her cell phone light up. It was her mother calling. "Mom, what's wrong?" They hadn't talked for several days, so Zhao Qingsu sat on the sofa with her phone and started chatting with her mother. Su Yuan also sat next to her, and Zhao Qingsu simply turned on the speakerphone. "Are you two okay now?" "We are fine. What's wrong, Mom?" "As long as you two are fine, by the way, isn't tomorrow Sunday? Did you receive Ningning's wedding invitation? Remember to come." Zhao Qingsu's mother gave some special instructions. The Ningning she was talking about was a relative of Zhao Qingsu's mother. She was 5 years older than Zhao Qingsu. They had played together when they were young, but they had little contact after they grew up. During the Chinese New Year, I seem to have heard that Ningning had found a very good boyfriend. 2 days ago, Zhao Qingsu also received an electronic invitation from Ningning. She had already prepared to attend her wedding tomorrow. "I know, Mom. That's all you need to know. I'm telling you, even though you and Ningning haven't been in touch for a long time, you must pack a thicker red envelope this time. Ningning's boyfriend is pretty awesome. Even though he's over 30 and doesn't look good, he started his own business, an internet company with an annual turnover of over 10 million. Zhao Qingsu's mother said earnestly, "This is not a trivial matter. If you have a good relationship with Ningning in the future, you can ask Ningning for help whenever you need it." After hearing what Zhao Qingsu's mother said, Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan looked at each other and smiled bitterly. Su Yuan already knew what kind of person Zhao Qingsu's mother was, so he just smiled indifferently. Zhao Qingsu was a little embarrassed and could only respond, "Okay, I'll prepare a big red envelope. It's at least 10,000, got it?" After finally finishing the conversation with Zhao Qingsu's mother, Zhao Qingsu was a little worried. "My relationship with Ningning is not good. We haven't been in touch for so many years. If she gets married, is it appropriate for me to give her 10,000 yuan? Although she has enough money now, there are still some rules to follow when giving gifts at a wedding. For distant friends, classmates, colleagues, etc., 500 is enough. For closer friends, 1 or 2,000 can be given. As for tens of thousands, those are given by very close relatives, who would give so much money to others for no reason. Listen to your mother. After thinking for a while, Su Yuan made a decision. Anyway, 10,000 is just a drop in the bucket for him now. He doesn't need the money. As for what others think, that is their business and he doesn't care much about it. However, he must take Zhao Qingsu's mother's feelings into consideration. Otherwise, if she gets angry, he and Zhao Qingsu will be the first to suffer. Well, I'll listen to my husband, then tilde. After making the decision, the two of them entrusted Li Guo to Li Hao upstairs the next day and drove off early in the morning. This time, Ningning's wedding was held in a very famous resort hotel in Magic City. The hotel was already crowded on weekends, and with the wedding added in, it was extremely lively. People are easy to deal with, but the parking lot is obviously not enough. Seeing the long line of cars waiting for the hotel, Su Yuan asked Zhao Qingsu to get off the car and go to the hotel to rest first, while he planned to drive the car to a nearby parking lot. It's Qingsu. The wedding was very grand. So many relatives came. There were 50 tables full of people, including the groom's relatives and the bride's relatives. After Zhao Qingsu entered the hotel lobby, she wanted to find her seat, but before she found it, she heard someone calling her. When she turned around, she saw that it was Ningning's bridesmaid, whom she also knew and had played with before. Hi, you guys look so beautiful today, tilde. Looking at those people dressed in gorgeous attire and heavy makeup, who were considered half the protagonists of today's wedding, Zhao Qingsu also praised them with a smile. No matter how beautiful she is not as beautiful as our Qingsu, tilde. Yes, Qingsu, I'm really jealous of you. You're already 24 and your skin is still so good. I'm starting to get fine lines. Don't you have a boyfriend? Why aren't you coming with me today? Several people came up to Zhao Qingsu enthusiastically, pinched her face, and their expressions were full of envy. Here I am. My husband has gone to park the car. These bridesmaids were all very nice people, and Zhao Qingsu was willing to interact with them. Seeing that the wedding hadn't officially started yet, she simply took them together to reminisce about the past. A new husband. When they heard that Zhao Qingsu's husband was also there, one of them asked curiously. She didn't have any bad intention in asking this, but she heard someone say some time ago that Zhao Qingsu found a very poor boyfriend, and her family disagreed and forced them to break up. Zhao Qingsu has been a good girl since she was young. She thought that she broke up because she listened to her family. Chapter 69 Qingsu, your husband is so handsome. However, although Zhao Qingsu knew that the man had no ill intentions in asking this question, she still felt somewhat unhappy when she heard this. She explained to several people seriously, I have already decided on him. No matter what he is like, I will be with him. What's more, he is not poor. When Zhao Qingsu said this, her face was serious, and a cold light flashed in her usually gentle eyes, which made people feel frightened when they saw it. Okay, Qingsu, I just asked casually. I'm sorry, don't take my words to heart. Yes, Qingsu, Mumu can't speak, so don't take what she just said to heart. When they saw Zhao Qingsu's serious look, they were all stunned for a moment, but after thinking about it, they put themselves in her shoes and realized that what they said was indeed inappropriate. The girl named Mumu immediately apologized to Zhao Qingsu. Zhao Qingsu didn't like to argue, so after hearing that several people admitted their mistakes, she let the matter go and started talking about the wedding instead. To be honest, I really envy Ningning. You don't know how rich Ningning's husband is, tilde. When talking about Ningning's wedding, everyone talked about it with great relish. The hotel booked for this wedding is a famous resort hotel. It costs several thousand to spend a night here. If we book this place for the wedding, it will cost at least hundreds of thousands a day. Moreover, the wedding scene was decorated very luxuriously. The cigarettes distributed were all Zhanghua brands, not to mention some souvenirs. It looked like a waste of money no matter how you looked at it. What made everyone envious the most was the wedding dress that Ningning's boyfriend ordered for her. It was said to be designed by the famous French designer Rielly and was completely handmade. It took 4 people a full month to stick the diamonds on the wedding dress. Every detail was exquisite. Of course, such an expensive wedding dress is not cheap. A full 890,000. This is like wearing a BMW on your body. For ordinary people, even if they are willing to spend a lot of money on a wedding dress which is only worn once, they can't afford it. At most, they can choose a nice style within 100,000 yuan and make some modifications. Who would hire a famous designer to design a special dress for them? That's simply nonsense. But Ningning's boyfriend bought her a wedding dress worth 890,000 yuan. They couldn't help but feel envious. That is an opportunity that every woman only has once in her life, so of course it has to be as perfect as possible. Well, Rieli is indeed a good designer. The wedding dress she designs will not disappoint. Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly, but she was not too envious. After all, Su Yuan had already given her a dress worth tens of millions, so this wedding dress worth hundreds of thousands was nothing special to her. Hey, Qingsu, you shouldn't feel disappointed, really. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's indifferent look, several people thought that she was feeling upset and patted her shoulders to comfort her. Yes, we are all ordinary people. Not everyone is as lucky as Ningning. My boyfriend is also very poor and still lives with his parents. The simultaneous consolation of several people made Zhao Qingsu feel a little amused and helpless. He wanted to explain it, but then she thought that explaining now would seem too deliberate. Even if she really explained it to a few people, they might not take it seriously. There was really no need to waste her breath, so she just smiled and let it go. After chatting for a while, the entrance suddenly became lively. I looked at the time, and it seemed that the newlyweds had gotten off the bus. Of course, they had to go to the door to watch such a good moment. The few of them became busy and had no time to chat with Zhao Qingsu. Zhao Qingsu waved her hand and told them to hurry up, and she walked towards the door. Welcome the newcomers. Amid the lively welcome, a long line of wedding cars stopped in front of the hotel. The door of a Rolls-Royce Phantom. The lead car opened, and Ningning and the groom, wearing designer wedding dresses, slowly got out amid the enthusiastic gazes and cheers of the crowd. Although the groom looks to be almost 40 years old, he is dressed quite smartly today and is a good match for the bride. The bride Ningning happily held his arm and slowly walked towards the hotel lobby, dragging the long hem of her wedding dress. Ningning is so happy tilde, I wish I had a husband like this. This is the wedding I've always dreamed of, right? Whoever can afford to give me a wedding of this standard, I will marry him on the spot. After seeing the grand occasion of the wedding, many girls present were very envious and discussed it in low voices. There were quite a lot of people at the scene, and in order to make room for the newlyweds, several security guards used their arms to push the guests on both sides to the sides of the red carpet. Zhao Qingsu happened to be right next to them. She was pushed by the crowd and staggered, losing her balance and falling backwards. I subconsciously grabbed in the air but caught nothing. I could also hear the screams of the crowd. When she reacted, she found that a flower stand next to her was also pushed towards her by the crowd. Seeing that she was about to be hit, she struggled for a moment and used her hands to block her face. It's already this hour, and you're still only protecting your face. However, the expected pain did not come. A familiar strong arm tightly hugged her waist, and Su Yuan's helpless words rang in her ears. His words contained 3 parts of helplessness and 3 parts of doting, but more of it was heartache. Why are you here? When she opened her eyes and saw Su Yuan's deep eyes, Zhao Qingsu asked in surprise, how come you appeared so timely? Little fool, I've been following you for a long time, and you didn't even notice me. When Su Yuan said this, he couldn't help feeling a little aggrieved. After he parked the car, he sent a message to Zhao Qingsu, but she never replied. When he finally found her, he discovered that the little fool didn't think of him at all and was watching other people's weddings with great interest. Forehead. Zhao Qingsu felt a little guilty when she heard him say that. But now is not the time to talk about this, because such an accident happened at the wedding which almost caused casualties, and everyone was shocked. Even Ningning temporarily stopped filming and walking the red carpet. She came over and asked with concern, Qingsu, are you okay? I'm really sorry, it was our poor arrangement that almost got you hurt. When she said this, she couldn't help but glance towards Su Yuan, her eyes full of amazement. Because it's so handsome, and it wasn't just her. Almost all the girls around her had their eyes on Su Yuan, with little red hearts in their eyes. Chapter 70, when will you act in a TV series? I will definitely watch it. Who is this person? Does anyone know him? He's so handsome, I thought he was some celebrity. No, he's much more handsome than those celebrities. Qingsu is so lucky to be hugged by such a handsome guy. To be honest, if I could have the same treatment as Qingsu, I would be willing to be hit by a flower stand. Look at you, that crazy look. You talk like you're not a nympho. Because he was going to attend a wedding, Su Yuan wore a light gray suit today. Zhao Qingsu had put this suit in the shopping cart a long time ago. It cost about 30,000 yuan, but he had never been willing to buy it. He had been planning to give it to Su Yuansheng on his birthday, but he ended up buying it by mistake while clearing out the shopping cart. As a fashion designer, Zhao Qingsu knows exactly what style and size suits Su Yuan. Although this suit was bought online, it fits Su Yuan very well. The elegant and low-key gray color makes him look calm and noble, and his good figure, broad shoulders, narrow waist, and long legs add a lot of points to this outfit. Of course, appearance is the most important thing. Su Yuan had a very good foundation to begin with. Before going out today, Zhao Qingsu thought of Jing Tian's words, so she blew his hair dry and slightly modified his face. His face is now as angular as a sculpture, and with deep eyes and a straight nose beneath his messy hair, he looks as eye-catching as a medieval work of art. People are visual animals. Not only men but also women are obsessed with appearance. Therefore, seeing such a handsome guy, basically no woman would not be moved. "Oh, I'm fine." Seeing that everyone's eyes were on her, Zhao Qingsu felt very embarrassed and quickly tried to get out of Su Yuan's arms. But Su Yuan seemed not to understand what she meant and tightly embraced her slender waist with his arms. Zhao Qingsu glared at Su Yuan, feeling somewhat helpless. She could only let him hug her and continued to talk to Ning Ning. "Luckily, my husband is here. I'm really fine. You guys can continue with the wedding and don't waste time. He is your husband." When Ning Ning heard that Su Yuan was actually Zhao Qingsu's husband, she opened her mouth in disbelief. "I only heard that Zhao Qingsu found a very poor boyfriend. When did he become her husband?" Moreover, she never knew that Zhao Qingsu's husband was so handsome. No wonder Zhao Qingsu is willing to follow him even though she is so poor. Just based on this face, there must be many girls who would be willing to follow him. "Yes. Ning Ning, if there's nothing to do here, don't waste time here. We still have to continue with the wedding." Probably because Ning Ning stared at Su Yuan for too long, which made the groom next to him a little unhappy. He coughed and began to order the staff to clean up the place quickly so as not to delay the wedding. It was obvious that Ning Ning usually relied on the groom like a little woman. After hearing what he said, she did not dare to refute. After looking at Zhao Qingsu apologetically, she took the groom's arm and walked away. But here, Zhao Qingsu was not at peace. Everyone who knew Zhao Qingsu gathered around her and said, "Qingsu, why didn't you tell me earlier that you have such a handsome husband? Oh my God, he's really handsome." As long as a girl is a girl, she will naturally have some vanity. Hearing an old acquaintance praising her husband for being handsome, Zhao Qingsu couldn't help but smile. "No, it's just that I'm wearing something more formal today. I'm not usually this handsome." "Don't be so modest. With this appearance, you are definitely the most handsome boy in school. It's true that a beautiful girl matches a handsome guy. You two are such a great combination, aren't you? I want to sit with you guys tilde. Although the girls around were all gathered around Zhao Qingsu to talk, their eyes were always secretly glancing at Su Yuan. Although he is already someone else's husband, it would be good if he could just look at me. However, to their disappointment, Su Yuan stood next to Zhao Qingsu from beginning to end, watching her greet people with a faint smile in his eyes. After the newlyweds walked the red carpet and the MC came on stage, everyone could only return to their seats. When Zhao Qingsu finally got away from the group of women and walked to her seat, she found that her mother and father had already sat down at the table next to her. When she heard others talking about Su Yuan, her mother was still bragging loudly to others. "Yes, that's my son-in-law. My son-in-law is so handsome. I don't think many people can compare to him." Zhao Qingsu's father has never been one to show off. He just sat next to her and kept pulling her sleeves, asking her to speak more quietly, and she even hit him several times. After shaking his hands with a grin, Zhao Qingsu's father saw his daughter and son-in-law coming over and quickly invited them to sit down. "Come and sit down." "Dad, Mom, tilde." Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu sat down and greeted Zhao Qingsu's parents. The people at the table around were also very surprised when they saw Su Yuan. "What a handsome guy. He's so handsome he could be a big star." Yes. Whenever you act in a TV series, I will definitely go to watch it." Apart from Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, there are not many young people at this table. Basically, they are at the same level as Zhao Qingsu's parents. Seeing that Su Yuan was so handsome, they did not hesitate to praise him and almost praised him to the sky. Su Yuan almost felt embarrassed after hearing these words. "Tusk, what's the point of being handsome? It can't be used to make a living. I think Ning Ning's husband is better. Although he is a little older, he is honest and motivated. Such a person is a real golden son-in-law, unlike some people who are just empty shells. Some people are truly happy for you, and naturally some people will dislike you." An old lady sitting opposite Zhao Qingsu said in a sarcastic tone, and after she finished speaking, she did not forget to sneer at Zhao Qingsu's mother. "I don't know what you are bragging about. What is there to be bragging about? If my daughter didn't listen to me and insisted on running off with a wild man, I would have broken her legs long ago." "Lin Jinhua, what do you mean by this?" Zhao Qingsu's mother was a person with a hot temper. She liked to argue with others over trivial matters. Now that she was being ridiculed like this, she naturally couldn't bear it and say a word, so she slammed the table and stood up. Seeing her excitement, the people next to her quickly pulled her to sit down and said, "This is Ning Ning's wedding. Why are you angry on such a good day? Sit down and let's talk slowly." Seeing Zhao Qingsu's mother being pulled to sit down, Lin Jinhua did not forget to add fuel to the fire. "That's right, what's there to be angry about? Did I hit your sore spot?" Chapter 71, Qingsu, is this bag of yours real? After hearing what Lin Jinhua said, Zhao Qingsu's mother's anger, which had subsided a little, suddenly rose again. Seeing that the two were about to start a quarrel, everyone had no choice but to separate them. They forcibly dragged Lin Jinhua to switch seats with the people at another table. Only then was the problem resolved. That woman Lin Jinhua just has a foul mouth. No one cares about her, so don't get angry with her, it's not worth it. That's right, I think your son-in-law is so good. If I had a daughter, I would marry him just for his face. If he has good genes, his grandchildren will definitely be beautiful. It would be great for them to be internet celebrities. Unfortunately, the old man in our family is ugly. The whole family inherited his genes. I regret it so much now. Come on, have some food, tilde. After persuading Zhao Qingsu's mother for a while, her anger was barely relieved. The wedding is going on in an orderly manner. The MC on the stage first invited the Master of Ceremonies to come on stage. After the Master of Ceremonies finished reading his lines, it was the turn of the bride and groom to exchange rings in front of everyone. After completing the whole process, the next step is the most anticipated part of the wedding, throwing the bouquet. As the saying goes, giving roses to others will leave a lingering fragrance on your hands. Our beautiful bride is about to give this beautiful bouquet of flowers to everyone. She hopes that this happiness can be passed on. Now, please invite the unmarried girls present to the stage. Whoever receives this bouquet of flowers from our bride will be the next happy bride. After the MC finished speaking, many women in the audience stood up and moved towards the stage. Anyway, as long as you are an adult, you can accept it regardless of whether you have a boyfriend or not, so there are quite a lot of people coming. Many people moved towards the stage and looked towards Su Yuan. Finally, someone couldn't help it and ran over to ask Zhao Qingsu, "Zuer, why don't you go?" In fact, looking at the looks of Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, they guessed that they were probably not married yet. First of all, I haven't heard that the two of them had a wedding. Secondly, it really breaks their hearts that such a handsome guy gets married so early. Don't get married too early, it's easy to gain weight. Grabbing the bouquet is something you single guys do. Zuer is already my wife, there's no need for that. Before Zhao Qingsu could answer, Su Yuan spoke first. After saying that, he looked at her lovingly. The sweet atmosphere between the two made the people around who were paying attention to this place swallow their saliva. Fuck, I can't help it anymore, what kind of god husband is this? I feel like if he looks at me with that kind of eyes, I'll melt. Do male gods and goddesses have a built-in resistance buff? How come Qingsu is fine? Is that okay for people to watch every day? Isn't the point that he is saying that we are single? The women who originally had some fantasies about Su Yuan were all somewhat disillusioned after hearing his words. They showed their love to him, but he mocked them for being single. This is a 999 critical hit damage from one strike. Could you please not be so cruel to them? It's fine if they're just showing off their love, but they're actually doing the opposite. This leaves them no way out at all. For some reason, the bouquet tossing segment, which was originally in a lively atmosphere, suddenly became full of resentment, which made the MC on the stage a little depressed. He could only try his best to say some auspicious words to ease the atmosphere, and at least he got through with this segment. After the bouquet tossing, it's time for everyone to eat and drink, and for the bride and groom to toast. Everyone was relaxing and chatting while eating, while the bride and groom, along with their groomsmen and bridesmaids, went from table to toast. Generally speaking, in this kind of toasting session, it is enough for the groomsmen to follow and block the drinking. However, this time there were two bridesmaids who were good at drinking, so they followed along. Zhao Qingsu's table was at the back, and by the time the toast came to her table, everyone was a little drunk. After the bride and groom finished their routine toast, a waitress who was about to leave suddenly stopped Zhao Qingsu and said, "Zuer, no, I have to drink with you alone. Tell me, how come you are so lucky to meet such a handsome guy? Why don't I have such good luck?" She drank a lot, and her speech was a little unclear. However, on such a happy occasion, no one would say anything even if her behavior was a little out of line. Zhao Qingsu felt embarrassed to accept the words, and she felt helpless when faced with the wine glass that was stuffed into her mouth. Just when she was about to drink the wine to get over the matter, Su Yuan next to her grabbed her wrist. Before Zhao Qingsu could react, Su Yuan had already stood up with the wine glass in his slender fingers. With a faint smile on his lips, he lowered his head and touched Zhao Qingsu's hair and said in a clear voice, "My wife can't drink much, so I'll drink this cup for her." After saying that, he raised his head and drank the wine in the glass. After flashing the bottom of the glass at the drunkard, he continued with a smile, "You are wrong. I think Qingsu is the best girl I have ever met. Meeting her is just my shit luck." "Hubby, don't say that." When Zhao Qingsu heard Su Yuan's words, she couldn't help but feel moved and gently pulled his sleeve. Originally, the drunken girl wanted to express her envy, jealousy, and hatred to Zhao Qingsu under the influence of alcohol. But she didn't expect to be fed a handful of dog food by Su Yuan, so she had to admit defeat. Well, even though it was dog food, it was fed by handsome men and beautiful women after all, so she ate it reluctantly. "But why does my throat hurt so much?" Okay, you guys are showing off your love again, and you guys are showing off your love again. We old ladies are almost choking to death on the love." Seeing that the atmosphere was a little off, an auntie stood up and said with a smile, "Come on, you two loving couples, have a drink with me so that I can get some of your good cheer and see if that damned guy in my house can treat me better when I go home." Several people also gave face to the aunt and drank a glass each. After finishing the drinks, one of the bridesmaids suddenly pointed at the Hermes crocodile leather platinum bag that Zhao Qingsu had placed behind her chair and asked, "Is this bag real?" She rubbed her eyes and stared at the Hermes crocodile leather platinum bag for a long time, always feeling that she was seeing things. Because this Hermes crocodile leather platinum bag is not an ordinary model, but a bright red color of Gulf crocodile leather, and the price is as high as 2 million. Chapter 72, Groom. What does Mr. Su do for a living? Su Yuan, collecting rent. After the bridesmaid said this, everyone's eyes were focused on Zhao Qingsu's bag. The bridesmaid looked at her expectantly. "Can you show it to me?" "Yeah, sure. It's just a bag. Of course, there's nothing that can't be seen by others." But being stared at by so many eyes still made Zhao Qingsu feel a little uncomfortable. She quickly handed the bag to the bridesmaid. By the way, she sighed in her heart because she was attending a wedding today, so neither white nor red were suitable for her as they were too conspicuous. So she wore a black Chanel-style suit. In her opinion, the most suitable item for this outfit is this red Hermes bag. Without giving it much thought, she just carried it on her back. Who knew that this bag would be noticed and become the focus? "It's so exquisite, it must be real." Seeing that the various accessories of the bag were as exquisitely made as works of art without any flaws, and even a huge diamond was inlaid in the middle of the buckle, several bridesmaids exclaimed immediately. They really didn't expect that there was someone around them carrying such an expensive bag. "Zuer, this bag. My husband bought it." Seeing the puzzled expressions of several people, Zhao Qingsu took Su Yuan's arm and said, "My husband saw that I had too few bags, so he bought me a few Hermes bags." Saying a few large boxes was too scary, so Zhao Qingsu decided to say less. But what she said also shocked several bridesmaids for a long time. Others would save up their salary for a long time to buy Hermes bags, walk into the door of Hermes with a sacred and inviolable attitude, and then carefully and reverently carry an Hermes bag out, but she bought several at once. This answer is so annoying, isn't it? "Is this bag real?" Some of the older ladies were dressed quite elegantly. They were carrying an entry-level Hermes product. Although they had used it for a long time, they were well maintained. It seemed that they knew more about Hermes than other aunties and grandmas. She knew that there were many Hermes bags, but there were very few Hermes bags in red, especially this bright red color. She didn't believe that Su Yuan could afford such an expensive bag for Zhao Qingsu. She didn't want to ask such an annoying question, but when she thought that Hermes bags were her belief, she couldn't help but ask. It's true. If you don't believe me, just look." A bridesmaid came over enthusiastically and let her touch it. "This feels good, right? I went to the store specially to touch it before, and I will never forget this feeling." As a top luxury item among bags, this red Hermes Bay crocodile skin platinum bag not only has accessories made of platinum and very pure natural diamonds, but also features crocodile skin that is very exquisitely crafted. Ordinary crocodile leather models are made of the skin of farmed alligators, so although they are expensive, the price still makes many people want them. As for the upper layer, there are Siamese crocodiles and Nile crocodiles, whose leather is softer than the upper one. The next bag is made of the wild saltwater crocodile, which is on the verge of extinction. The skin of the saltwater crocodile is extremely rare everywhere. Because the leather is top quality and the saltwater crocodile is rare, the price has been rising. In order to make such a saltwater crocodile handbag, you must first find a saltwater crocodile cub of the right age. Take the softest piece of skin from its abdomen, process it through dozens of complex steps, and then have it made by an experienced craftsman. Only then can you finally get the finished product. Really? After the old lady touched it, she was completely conquered by its soft and delicate touch. Zooer, what's going on? Since everyone was able to attend the wedding and sit together, they all knew each other through some kind of relationship, so they had all heard about Zhao Qingsu's story. Isn't her boyfriend quite poor? How could he afford such an expensive crocodile leather platinum bag for her? Such a bag is worth more than 2 million. This is the down payment for a house in Shanghai. Forehead. Zhao Qingsu didn't know how to answer this question. She looked at her mother helplessly. You promoted Su Yuan so hard when he was poor. Why don't you mention that he is rich now? I think people may have some misunderstandings about me. Seeing that Zhao Qingsu didn't know how to answer, Su Yuan smiled and said, I know that everyone thinks that I have no money and no ability because of some hearsay, but I am just a little more low-key, but I am still willing to spend money on my wife. So that's how it is. Haha, that's what I told you, tilde. Zooer, I'm really jealous of you now. Woo. As expected, rich people are all low-key. Seeing that everyone's attention